All right, it's Friday. It's Open Comms. We did it. Another week. We made it.
Oh, we went live?
We're live. Yeah, we're here.
Happy Friday.
We're online.
Holy shit.
We do exist.
How's everybody doing?
Doing good.
I know I've been kind of gone for a few weeks, so it's good to be here.
Yeah, where have you been?
I had my
Touching
birthday
grass and
bike
shit?
ride. Yeah, and then I had a niece's graduation. Then we had a wedding, all out of state. So
Nice.
yeah, it's
Ah,
fun.
well, happy late birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, what? Everyone's birthday. Like it was someone's birthday last week, wasn't it?
Hi, Redland.
Liara's,
There's
I
birthdays
think.
every day.
Yeah,
I wish it was my
Zayara's,
69th,
Dom's,
I
and
guess.
then my birthday's 2 weeks from today.
Well, there's something fun about statistics there too. It's like I think it's if you have at least 21 people, the odds are significantly high that at least two of them will say will share the same birth date.
With only 21 people.
Yes.
Hmm.
I'm
Just-
math
Here,
guy,
I'll
so
I'll,
figure
fi- I'll
out that.
find this, but I'll find the specific statistic.
Is there like just 21 specific time frames that people just like to get down?
I don't know. That sounds
I
good.
saw some TIL thing on Reddit the other day that said there's a day exactly 9 months after February 14th that some country calls like Child Day or
It's
something like,
middle of the-
whatever.
Middle of the harsh winter is the
Yeah.
9 months
It's like
prior.
essentially
yeah.
when like Valentine's babies are born.
Oh, yeah.
It's
So-
funny because okay.
30 people in a room, you've got a 71% chance that at least two of them will share the same birthday.
Huh.
That seems too high, but I'll take your word for it because I'm not a math.
I feel like he's reading
Yeah.
it, so I think.
I double checked myself. to
Yeah,
make
but you
sure.
got
you
got
go up to
lies, damn
40.
lies, and statistics.
No, I read somewhere that 85% of all statistics on the internet are true.
But
This
it's gotta
is
be true.
this is something that I actually like had to do as a math problem in school at one point.
That
Oh,
definitely makes it untrue.
It's like his,
School's for
public school?
losers,
Come on,
bro.
man. Yeah, they're losers.
My younger brother is he's 3 years younger than me, but his birthday is the day before mine.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, fix the names.
Me and my
Jesus,
best friend,
Brady.
both of our
Well,
little
we
brothers share
we
the
figured it
So-
out. My younger brother and my birthday are like 9 months and a day after my mom's birthday. So
Listen,
Yeah.
that's kind of how that
So-
works.
That's-
out.
Sucks.
Where I was getting my number from is it takes 23 people
Train.
for the probability
Ah.
to go over 50%.
fix the names.
Oh right, yeah, we're not who we say. We're not who we are. Nobody's
And
name is right except
we should-
Skyhawks.
Wow.
Oh, Akros looks okay.
Mine's
I'm
right.
usually
No,
pretty consistent, but
true.
I was out last
Oh,
week.
I guess.
My name is also correct, as it turns out.
I know your camera's working beautifully tonight. I like it.
Yes. I'm working on it, all right? I'm working on it. I'm
Good to hear
working
your
up
voice.
to it. It's
Welcome
good
to the
be
world,
heard.
Red Line.
So, I hope everybody's had a great couple weeks. Let's get the show started.
No.
We got Akroth here with us tonight. What are you drinking, Akroth?
Old
Taking
Faithful.
over Drain while you're doing your thing.
It's got the old one.
Good
Dom,
job.
what you got?
I got Captain Morgan. I've been
Captain
fucking
Morgan.
taken. Oh, I gave dog.
I heard it.
sorry.
Yeah.
Captain Morgan. There you go,
Captain
my
Morgan. Captain Morgan. I
Got my
got
sea legs.
some vodka and whatever this blue Frostbite Mountain Dew shit is, and then the Lion Kugel's Summer Shandy. These are pretty good.
Yeah, those are pretty.
Malkath, Coke,
And they're seasonal.
Yep, having a
Skyhawk, Red Line. Which one?
So tonight
Kayak.
I'm 2 weeks in a row not doing wine, and
What the
I
hell?
am still doing nuclear brewery beer.
Excellent.
You feeling okay, man?
Oh, you,
It's summer.
Two cows.
I gotta drink
Two
my
cows
spotted
good.
cow.
Spotted cows. There we go.
Spotted
There you
cow.
go.
At least it's not a
Um,
spotted dick.
This is not. I thought it was like
Oh.
Tip the Cow. That's a good beer too. You should try that one.
Red Line, what do you got?
Oh, it
I've,
is a
I've got some Truly. I've got some Truly
Hell
to
yeah.
be drinking.
Why do
here.
I? Why do we
Some
even ask
fruit
you?
punch Truly? Because it's summertime. You have to ask me
Gross.
what I'm
It's
drinking.
light.
It's summertime. We drink the Truly in the summer. That's how it works.
It's still
Not how it's
spring,
supposed to
bro.
work.
It's
Okay,
still
whatever.
spring.
That's not
We got some people missing. LB is in a cabin in the woods somewhere, I think.
mountains. I thought it
Excuse
I
me.
think
Mountains
his
is-
words
horror movie,
were,
right?
"Fuck you guys." I don't even
He
care.
has access to the. I think it's just through his phone though. I don't think he's got enough to jump.
Now
on.
that he's got all the money to go to FanFest, he doesn't care about any of you guys. That's what he said. He said,
He
"Fuck
doesn't need
all
any
of
of us.
you."
Yeah.
anymore.
That's fair.
Then we got
Just like me,
Delana
it's
and Rain and Vlad and all them are down in Vegas. That's going on at the moment. I think they're doing the big main dinner thing tonight. probably like right now. So
In-
I'd
Where you
asked for
at?
some pictures from people, and I got a. Discord
some
that-
pictures.
There's nothing posted, so I didn't say fuck it.
not
I
in
saw
the Vegas
some
Discord.
stuff in the eVegas
I
Discord
didn't see
earlier.
it.
I saw it.
Yeah,
hanging.
eVegas. I don't know if anyone's posting it in the OPC one, but yeah, the eVegas Discord, people are posting. Range servers got some stuff posted, mostly dresses and pool shots and feet. So there's the.
Well, of course, feet. Did you pay for them?
Now
No,
we
they
got
were
we
You
got
got
freebie.
them for free?
Got a freebie in there.
Wow,
Free
she
feet.
must not be down the job.
Nice.
And a free stealth pick of boob.
Of what?
Boobs are great too.
Those are my boobs, though.
Little
You know
life
that, right?
givers.
Oh, the
No,
statues.
they were Liara's.
Oh. I didn't see that.
LB, there you go. See, I knew you'd listen.
I think you're talking about the statues in Caesars. They went to Caesars and were taking a picture of there's like naked statues all over in there.
Oh, I forgot about. Yeah, there were pictures of those too.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whose knee because it's a knee, right? Fucking sexy shit. dude.
But yeah, so Vegas is going on. Hope everyone's having fun out there. And then
Yeah, I
hope
hope so
they're
too. I wish
not.
we could have been there, but it just
They're having
didn't
a
work out.
terrible
yeah, it's just too close to
Had too much shit going on. Yeah.
yeah, it's just too close to the previous vacation. Then we got some stuff dropped, some info dropped about this video spaceship game, internet spaceship game. I mean, it's
Well,
video.
Star
Yeah.
Citizen.
We can talk about Eve. Okay.
Yeah, we can dive into some Eve. I don't think there's too much small stuff. There's like the community beat. There's some artwork, watercolor
Plenty
thing
of
by
big stuff.
yeah. The big stuff is the Viridian. The more
We're
information.
saving that for the last.
We start with the fluff first. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
fine.
well, I was just say like there was a
that's
watercolor of a Macarial, looked pretty sweet. Then there's some. I think that's all I saw in there. Elby, what's up? Elby, did you hear there's some like new Eve stuff? There's some Eve information that came out this week. Some pretty big
Pretty
updates.
massive Eve information.
Yeah,
in
a
fact.
lot of it. I didn't even get to the
Big
module
if true.
changes.
We haven't talked about Vegas. Oh, we did talk about Vegas a little bit, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean none of us
Yeah.
are there, so I don't know what's going on there. Like,
Vegas in June. Who asked? I'm just
They'll
kidding. I'm
they'll
sure
talk
they
about
all
it for
have
3
them.
weeks after they come back. It'll be fine.
Maybe
That's true.
I hope so.
they might not. They might not.
I'm not gonna live in fear of that. So we're
I
gonna go
might
with
cry,
they
though.
will.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
we should talk about Viridian because LB doesn't hate. He hates us now. So
yeah,
I,
I mean,
just
we-
can't believe it's
I think he's on another
barely.
podcast right now. I think he's
It's-
on doing another stream. He just
It's
doesn't care about us.
it's probably been a while since you guys have had the caveman MER, eh?
I mean, does it
We
got
can do
numbers
that
on
for
it?
sure. Later,
Numbers
yeah.
and graphs, and they're high in the Forge.
I like that one.
Sure.
I would be
Caveman
interested to
idiot.
see what the destruction losses are in Tribute and Pureblind, though.
Well, it just so happens that I can.
It just so
pull those
happens you got
numbers
some
for you
information
right
on
now.
that. Oh
I can
shit!
pull those numbers for you right now. You said destruction and tribute.
Tribute and Pureblind. It's kind of in both. Probably more Pureblind than Tribute. I think
Well,
that's what
half a
most of the fights have been.
trillion.
Most of the fights have been in Pureblind.
There's been 1.2 trillion in Veil of the Silent in May.
Yeah, I think Frat's over there doing stuff. Well, I mean, that's like where Frat's
Pureblind,
sitting a lot. Like, isn't that where
One-
4H is?
1.23 trillion in Pureblind.
Hmm.
I said half a trillion in Tribute,
Yeah.
3/4 of a trill in Venal.
Yeah, as I say, like there hasn't been that many fights in Tribute. Most of them have been going over off in Pureblind. So yeah, 1.3
It's-
trillion. You said?
Yeah, something like that. It seems like that whole thing's kind of been fizzling out, though. They
Doesn't
have
it?
fights every so often, but It's
There was a
just-
couple
it's
weeks.
sameness, yeah.
There's a couple weeks where I guess. I mean, I'm new to the whole thing up there, so I don't really have any kind of gauge to judge on. Because I don't
You're
know
an
what
American trade. and you
I
can
don't know
judge
what
anything
was
you
going
want.
on like a month or two ago as far as concentration of fights up there. But
the same thing's going
There
on
were
now.
pockets of time where there was some good fights going on, and
Here and there.
I mean, there still
there
is. It's
were.
just, I mean, goons aren't really up there very much anymore. Initiative is here and there. There's
I
still.
mean, we do have
Other-
people up there.
I
right?
guess you guys have a sig up
we
there.
have
or
stuff
something.
up
Other
there, right?
big
Yeah.
news, skipping any other news, the initiative has left the Imperium. Can you believe that?
Yeah, there
Did
was that
they?
announcement.
What?
Yeah, well, they announced
real
they're
this time.
they're
For
leaving the
real.
Imperium, but they're staying blue. They're staying in Fountain, and it's like, okay, so business as usual, just technically not in the Imperium. We'll
It
see.
just means they want to do something that they got turned down on.
Yeah.
So they're
Yeah,
gonna go
and then,
dick
of
off for a
course-
minute and then latch back up at the hip.
And of course,
Damn,
we do
thanks
have
to the
new
resub, man.
expansion. The new expansion drops next Tuesday,
That's right. We're working our way around to the
Just-
bigger stuff.
just in time.
Time for
No.
what?
You know what?
Chicken butt.
I don't. Wow. Am I that high
Hey,
already?
dude, Dominarch, make sure you're around at 9 o'clock Eastern.
When?
Just saying. And it Tuesday.
What night?
Anyway, Drayden, where do you want to start? The Eve stuff.
Well, we're just gonna hit the Viridian stuff. The corporation thing came out first as the announcement, so we can just do the corporation stuff. That sounds pretty good. Hype train. Oh shit, Rayo, thanks for the resub.
Thanks, Eric.
Skyhawk for this resub.
bless.
Dom.
Give money.
I
Resubscribe.
am.
How do I give
Yeah.
money to Drayden?
You can subscribe, or there's a donation link down there if you don't want to give half of it to Bezos.
No, I want to make sure Bezos gets his cut.
No, I actually heard they had to turn off his air conditioning, so we need. to
There
get
was
him
some
money.
update to Twitch as far as ad stuff, and I haven't read through any of that. I don't know what that.
Oh, it's
The whole
okay. It
thing
all
is-
got backtracked.
Okay, I was
Not
like, they're
all
like,
of
oh,
it.
we were making changes to ads. I got an email. I'm like, okay, what? And they're like, it's in our terms of service. You can go read it over here. I'm like, I'm not fucking reading that whole thing. Nope.
But you need to provide the
It
changes
was
to
a
them. Yeah,
clusterfuck.
exactly.
I hate reading TOSs and shit like that. I just scroll
Oh,
down
hey,
and
guess
I just
what?
scroll down and accept and hope that I don't get in trouble for something.
Guess what I just learned today? I am a subscriber of Amazon Prime, and thus I have a free Twitch Prime sub that I can give you, Drayden.
Hell yeah.
Congratulations on your money.
That's taking some of the money back from Bezos and sending
That's
it this way.
right.
That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
fuck Bezos. You got soundboards on or what?
Well, I mean the thing is
Wow.
the thing will pop up. Oh yeah.
That's perfect. That was perfect. Wow. All right, sorry, I got
Yeah,
distracted.
we'll send it all
Distracted
over to it's all getting sent to LB in what, August, so we can go to FanFest.
All of it? Damn, how
Mhm.
much? No, I'm not gonna ask how much it is. That's rude. Anyway, so the corporation stuff.
Yeah, corporation
Have you
stuff.
Have you
So
looked through
projects, is that what they're called? I kept calling them like goals and achievement. I was like, I don't know what the fuck were they projects. That's what.
Project, yeah.
It's pretty cool. Like, so corporations, they can set up different projects. There's 5 different kinds. You could set up a shooting NPCs, and you basically set a goal for your corporation. It'll be in, I'm assuming directors and CEOs will be the only ones that can mess with it.
Probably.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Or-
Director CEOs. That's what it
Okay.
says.
And so you could set a goal and you can customize it however you want, like this many NPCs killed, and you could set specifically what system, region, where, or just anywhere. So you can kind of have goals like, hey, we want ADMs up in this system, this system, this system. So you can set a goal like, we got to get this many rats killed in these systems, and then people work towards it, kill stuff, and it sets a not license red line.
The question I got about this, so right,
Yeah.
and I can't find it anywhere. Maybe somebody else has seen it. Does it cost the corporation to set up a project?
No, you just
There's
set
no
it up.
fee for it at
Yeah,
all.
it's
Okay,
just a
fine.
tracker essentially, and so you can, and anyone in the corp can look at the progress, see what projects are set up, see what progress has been made on them, and so you can just be like, oh, well, this is getting access to a whole bunch, and then this one over here is not being used very much. So that's what they're saying, that you could like, oh, well, I guess I can go help on that one. So it's kind of nice because it lets people just kind of see like, what does the corp need, and they can just go do it without having to be pinged and told, you know, hey guys, we need you to do this.
But you don't get anything for it, right? There's no.
Not for
reward
that one.
system?
I don't think there's any rewards that you can
No, no
set up through.
rewards.
I think, but you can't. But they
So
can
that's
track
maybe
like
informal
who
still.
does what. I think it's not. I think they can track
Yeah.
and see like who's, maybe there's like a, oh, this person killed the most rats, so maybe
So maybe have a
corporations will
corporate
give
reward.
out like awards
Yeah,
for
corporate
that.
reward. Exactly. Yeah. This is
Um,
your personal. If any,
Yeah.
if
You
there's
mean
any
like
rewards for it,
medals?
it's coming from you.
Well, medals or
Right,
just
medals.
like ISK payouts. Like, hey, you did the most ratting this month to help the corp out with ADM, so boom, here's like however much.
I'll also
is-
be able to use it too.
But that's
hey,
up
I
to the
didn't see
corporations.
You participate at all. You know, you can use it both ways.
The other
Get
thing.
Yeah.
fucked, bro.
So there's
I,
the
for one-
NPCs. There's the, oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I hate that this is a tool that's gonna give people the a better ability to track the things that I don't do in the video game.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna get to that
But
and
I
say,
bet
like,
that-
this is also definitely a thing where people could be like, so what have you been doing? You know, like an actual
So what would
activity.
you say you do here?
Yeah. What is it you say?
So what
Yeah,
do you-
actually.
I deal with the goddamn customer.
Well, Bob,
I'm good with people.
But I'll tell you why.
I have good people
Engineers
skills.
aren't good
What's
at
wrong with you people?
no, but so those
I
products,
log in and undock.
That's
they
fucking
are
funny.
they're very similar in ways to the Eve Pandora project. You remember that? You guys remember that one? That's what it's
I do.
called.
I
That was
don't
a
remember the
website thing,
Where it was
Pandora
like-
one.
Is that with
a
the
third
helping-
Where
party.
it was like players set up missions and there was like a broker. It was Eve Pandora or whatever.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's
I
like a third-party
didn't,
website that
Now I have to
people were
Google
using.
it.
And
It sounded pretty cool.
But yeah, so like I'm assuming these can be used to also track activity. Because it's not just like, oh well, they can track like who's been in fleets, with
Woo.
whatever systems that people use. Oh, Dom, thanks for the
Keep that train moving.
Fine.
Whoa,
Oh,
all-time record
All-time
Shattered it.
Ooh.
Guys, you don't want broken glass.
Shatter
Let's
a
clean
record?
it up. Level 5 hype train's a big broom.
Fuck.
Boom, boom.
The
What? I broke something?
But I'm just wondering, they're going to
record?
probably be able to make it, because it's going to probably show up in the ESI stuff, so they could probably have something scrape the info and find out, like, all right, so you're not going on fleets, but you're also not ratting, you're not mining,
Yeah, Alliances,
you're not doing
most big
anything,
alliances
so
have
yeah.
this tool.
they'll
Yeah, but
probably
then
be able
they
to
can
find
just
out who's
search-
just completely inactive and just
But they can-
loafing around.
But now
then they
even
can just
small
search your name
alliances
in
can do
Discord,
it.
right?
Of course.
Yeah.
But then they just search your name in Discord and see, oh, you spend all of your time playing EVE Online through Discord. Got it.
Yeah. I mean, it's up to the
That's-
corporations on what they want to do with activity or something. But it can be used for that essentially. The other thing though, another category was that's against NPCs, but the non-capsuleers, what they call it there. And then there's damage versus capsuleers. So they can just basically track your PvP. Although it doesn't do anything with like reps. So again, Logi are just, if you're a Logi pilot and don't fly DPS, it's going to look like, oh, you're just not really going on fleets, are you? It's like,
Well,
I
we keep
am.
track of
I'm
that.
just not killing
What?
shit.
Why the hell we keep track of that? That's dumb.
Well, it's just because,
No one. Nah.
I mean, like, I mean, if you're in a Logi, sometimes you get some warriors out there and you could like apply some damage here and there. But sometimes it's like, well, that fleet's 80 kilometers away. My drones have a 60-kilometer range. I'm not getting on anything. So it's like, as far as they know, you're not doing, but whatever. But the thing is, like, with the damage versus capsuleers, you can track also, you can specifically set goals like, we want damage against this corporation or damage against this alliance. So you can track people that are actually fighting that group, or a specific pilot. You can, just be like, I want to track. I want to see us do 250,000 damage to Dominarch, and then like it's basically put it's like a court bounty on your head for the court members to go blow you up. And
Can you
so-
seriously
Does it
do
get
that?
that
If that's
specific?
going to be the case, then fuck yeah, I'm on board.
Yeah,
That's
you
the
can
one.
you can
Yeah.
set individual
It's not
pilots.
specific,
Yeah.
is it?
No,
I'm
it
just
says
wondering-
you can set individual pilots, corporations, alliances.
Hell yeah.
And you can set it in certain systems. Like, I want you to be blowing up this alliance in this system, not just in a random wormhole somewhere. So that you can customize it very specifically, like what you want.
There's no way it's that intuitive.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
wonder if
that's
there's
like
a
looking-
summary page.
yeah.
like,
So
truncates
it's.
it all,
I
so you
was.
could do, like,
Nothing they do
campaigns,
is
more or
ever
less.
this intuitive.
Yeah, I was like, this is kind of like you could almost use it as like a revamp on the bounty system, but you can only track it for
Yeah.
people in your corporation, so you can't do it for outside sources, which is hopefully that eventually, because like right now the bounty system is it's
Gone.
meh, like it doesn't do
gone.
anything.
It doesn't exist anymore. They took it out.
Oh, they did.
Completely?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's true, yeah,
That's
I've
basically
noticed
reinforces what
someone-
we're saying.
I mean,
So
it wasn't really
they
doing
did-
anything before
they
either.
disabled
Like,
the
you get in a
service,
fleet and you kill someone that had a bounty. It's like, oh, I got 4,500 is cool,
That's right.
Right.
Because it split it up between all the pilots that shot him, and like his ship's worth 30 million, so it's only paying out 2 million of the bounty. It's whatever. But yeah, so it's but this is like a way where you can at least have court bounties to like go find certain people, and if someone gets them, you could like pay out shit for that. So I hope that they take that system
hold on.
and expand it outside the corp to where you can set bounties for specific people to go do damage to them, and maybe you could like hire actual hunters.
Hold, I got a question.
So that you're not just having alts of the guy that you're trying to shoot them, just like, like the old bounty system where they would just shoot themselves with their alt and collect all the bounty
I like that.
for themselves.
Valamir makes a comment here. What does he mean? Lost 7 trillion, like he had in bounties on him, or like bounties he had to get paid out? I need to know.
Well, bounties did encourage
Probably
ganking, but the thing is,
had
like, unless you were
on
solo
the-
ganking, the bounty payouts were usually really low because they would only pay out a percentage of the ship's value that you blow up,
He did. Oh my.
and
God.
then it would also get split between the pilots that were in on the bounty. So, I mean, if you blew someone up in like a, bling fit marauder doing missions, and it was like 4 billionist fit ship, and they had a billionist bounty and you get like 400 million payout on it, then that's fine. But chances
Yeah,
are you're
kind of a
blowing up
shitty
frigates and
system, wasn't it?
cruisers, and
Yeah.
you're not gonna get like any like ISK worth of value. So it's not. It kind of just made the bounty system meh. But I would like
Were
to
they
see a
also
bounty
putting
system
this
that
new system
works.
in air,
I
like
think
in
I
the
did see some
opportunities
sort of
for
link to
the
that.
the
I'm
air
not sure.
stuff?
What?
Because it looks like it.
The
It looks
career
like
program.
Maybe.
You tried to
they're gonna
segue?
attach to that as well. Yes, I am. I am really excited about this stuff that's coming out next week.
It's pretty
Yeah, the
cool.
corp stuff looks really neat.
It's been very rare that I've been excited about Eve, and I am.
Yeah,
If-
it looks really
yes.
cool with some of the stuff. The other one is mining. You can set up like mining. You can set up specific types of ore, specific systems to mine in, all that. And then there was a fourth one. There's 5 total. What was the fourth? Oh, I forget. There was like ratting, capsular, PvP,
Delivering
mining. Well,
items.
delivering. That's the one I was getting to last because that's got some cool thing on it. There's a
Oh.
fourth one.
There's a manual, so you can create your own task, basically.
Yeah. But yeah, the
It's-
item delivery thing was
It's a-
cool because
it's a
that
communication thing.
that's something. There's going to be a hangar, so any citadel or station that you have an office in, there's going to be a project hangar for the corporation that directors and CEOs have access to.
But that's
Yeah,
not
like,
manipulatable. I
It's
think
not
that's important
manipulated.
to know, and it's
CEOs
smart.
and directors will have access, and you cannot restrict it. So,
But you can other members you can't give them access unless they're
right, and you
Yeah.
can't.
I like that
yeah,
because that's an
yeah.
easy way to fuck.
And then
them.
all members have access to drop in, but only directors and CEOs have access to look in and pull stuff out. But that's going to allow for to where it's like, okay, we need this much, we need these PIs in this station, and we need this much ore. Like you can set up the delivery stuff that way, and it's cool because then the corps have buyback programs for PI and minerals and various shit like that, Moongu and shit. This is a way that they can set it up without having to do like the whole setup contracts in the game thing. Although you can't set, I don't think you can set rewards up through this system. So I don't know. It's still going to be, as far as I can tell, it's still going to be on the directors to
I
look
think-
at who dropped off what and then end up paying them for it at some point. So I don't know how that's
I
going
think
to
so
work.
too. I think it'll
If
be
they want.
if you have a reward program with the buyback thing, right? It would be really hard to use the delivery thing because then it puts all the effort on the CEO and direct.
Well, it would
they
be
got to go in there and figure out who dropped what. Where,
right, and then they
pay
have to
them
figure out
for it.
prices. Although I kind of wish they
The
would
way
have set
we
up a
do it,
system like,
it's
hey,
on
we
the-
need this, like we need transmitters PI in this station. We
I
need
believe
1,000 of
that's
them, and then they can set
exactly
like
what
for
it's
every
for.
one that someone drops off, we pay them. It takes this much out of the corp wallet to pay them, so then they can just drop it off and get paid immediately. And then
Or
you
if we're
don't have to do
expecting
buyback
donations or
programs. You just have
whatever, yeah.
drop off programs where people drop it off and get paid on the spot automatically. You don't have to worry about keeping track of stuff. That would have been nice if
But
it
I
was
don't think that
implemented like that.
happens. Yeah.
Hopefully, I mean, I can't, I don't understand why they wouldn't have set it up that way because it just makes sense that it's like they even said like this will help corporations with buyback programs. It's like, yeah, but if you don't have the buyback system automatically incorporated, it's
if you
still
got
going
some
to put a bunch of
jackass
work
who's
on.
mad at his corp, and he delivers a whole bunch of items to like drain the fucking
Yeah.
wallet, right? That's why.
Well, but you put a limit. It's like,
there's jerks.
well, I know, but it's like you put a limit to where it's like, okay, the corp wants 3,000 of 3,000 robotics. Well, if you try and drop off 20,000 robotics, you're only gonna be able to drop off 3,000 to get paid for, and then the other 17,000 you're just gonna be hanging on to. So you can't overload the wallet. The wallet's gonna basically be accounting for
As long
what's,
as somebody set it up correctly, right?
yeah, maybe
Somebody set it
have
up-
like an escrow, like all the stuff you set up for payouts. You have to, the corp wallet has an escrow thing where it's set in there. So, I mean, it all seems simple to set up, I would think, but I just hope it goes
You
that
could
way.
definitely do
We'll
that because it'd
find
be
out
just like
soon.
having
Yeah.
We'll find
a
out
buy
real soon.
order out. It'd be the same thing. Yeah,
Very
they already have they already have the mechanics in there.
Yeah, but buy orders
The
could be
point-
filled by people outside the corp.
correct.
the
You just
This
point
could
make
be
it
a
though-
way
so
for like to only
But you-
be spending money on corp members.
The
What I'm
point
saying
of
is
this
the-
is to bring this type of thing into the game, right?
Right.
Yeah,
'Cause
instead of
this,
making people do
this
seed
kind of
and other
stuff
shit, yeah.
doesn't exist except for third-party tools.
Yeah.
But now it will exist within the video game itself, which is
Yeah.
the point. So it might not be as good or as
It could be
fancy.
implemented on.
It's not a monster spreadsheet, but imagine this: like with the deliveries, it's gonna pop up in a spreadsheet copy and paste format in the game.
Yeah.
You can just put in a spreadsheet if you
Well,
want
and
to.
someone will make a
track
third-party
everything,
tool to
pay out
track and see
everything.
what I need to pay. Who
You got
who do
you
I
got
need to
the
pay what?
Excel coming through, like
Yeah.
the Excel plugin, perfect for this probably.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be dope.
Yeah, no, I'm glad the tool is getting in there. I'm just hoping that they do implement some
Changes.
QOL,
I'm-
QOL
yeah,
features along with it, like I was just saying. But
I'm happy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna agree with you, Drayden. I hope they do. And to me, this seems like this is step one of a lot of court management changes they've been talking about over the years. So it looks like they're finally pulling the trigger on some of it. So hopefully we'll see some more.
Thank
Loyalty
God.
points. Haha. See, segue.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a
Or
great segue, Dom.
corporal
That's what I was gonna do.
management.
also,
Loyalty point income for corp.
yeah, taxing. That's the other big
Taxes.
patch is the taxes. Now, a lot of this I didn't.
Passive income for corps.
Yes, LP is going to be taxable for corporations now. So, with except for Evermarks, because that's already a 1-to-1 payout to the corp. So,
I like this change. Here's why. Because forever, the only people that really get taxed when it comes to activity in the
Ratters.
game have been ratters, right? PvEers. Now, not all loyalty points come from PvP, but some do. So now this is a move to the PvPers are going to get a little bit of tax on them. I think this is a good move. It's a long time coming.
well, or a lot of people that are like, oh, well, I don't want to pay taxes. So, especially now with the thing they did with the faction warfare, where you don't have to leave your corp to join faction warfare. It's like I'll just go down there and just farm up LP, and then,
Yeah, this is a-
evade
this
the
is a good
tax
move.
man that way. Well, now you can't.
No, but I don't think anybody's gonna throw a fit about that though.
Mm-mm.
I don't think so. They'll-
I think
yes,
this is
there will.
something that-
There'll be a few
I mean,
people
sure.
that throw a fit
couple
for
people on
whatever
Reddit.
fucking reason. Yeah, you have
No,
them in your Discord. So I mean,
But I feel like for the most part, this is something that's positive. Like when you join a group in the game, you want to contribute to that group meaningfully, and this is a way to do it automatically, which is fantastic.
yeah, the Evermarks ratio is cool. I mean, it's all good.
Yeah, here Maxim is saying it'll drive down faction warfare LP. I don't think it will, because it's not like the LP is being lost. It's just instead of the player
It
getting
is.
100% of the LP, they're gonna get.
It
Let's
is
just say the
lost.
corp sets 10%. They're gonna get 90 LP, and the corp's getting the other 10. So the same amount of
Not
LP
the value
is,
of the LP, the actual LP. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
So
not
the
really gonna
same
drive
amount
the
of
LP
LP
down.
is being paid out. It's just it's splitting where it goes, and then the
It may-
corporations can use the LP to buy faction ships and
But you
stuff
do
like that.
kind of have to face that a lot of corps won't use that LP at all.
Well,
You're
I
right.
mean, if anything,
And
that'll
that-
drive
that-
that'll
A lot of it
drive
will
up the
just be
value of LP,
lost.
because now there's
Right,
less stuff
exactly. There's less
going on the market.
No, if that's what he meant, he's right. There'll be LP out there not
I mean, I
used
don't know
for sure.
with
I have tons of it. I have like 80,000 LP in one thing, but I've never used it.
I mean, we'll
I
get to
don't
it, but
know
like,
that.
didn't railguns get a buff? So maybe Vindies are gonna be
Whoa,
real
whoa,
fucking
whoa. Whoa,
spicy. Anyway,
jumping?
yeah, we're jumping ahead. Anyway, no, we're not. I
No,
was for a second,
We
but
can. There isn't a whole lot with this, unless there's a.
yeah. Well, there's some other tax. So there was other tax stuff.
Does anybody think that passive income is bad?
I like some passive. I like
As long as it's not, as long as it's not income. I mean, like economy destroying passive income, it's fine.
as long as it's not too much. But I mean, like some passive income is fine. 'Cause-
Also, there really isn't anything else in that bullet point. That's
Well,
pretty much
is
it.
it?
Well,
is
no,
it
there's other
really-
tax stuff,
Is
though.
it really passive income if player activity is still having to generate it? Like,
Yeah, like PI isn't completely passive. I mean, it's very minimal effort, but you don't get the payout that you do with ratting.
Well, and I mean, like you actually have to still pick it up, haul
yeah, you still have to go
like-
pick it up, haul it. You still have to like set your nodes and reset the cycles and all that shit. So
Or
it takes some effort.
you
but-
can use it to purchase ships that are doctrine ships for your alliance and contribute them to SRP, which means you no longer have to contribute ISK to SRP. Right?
Yeah. What?
So we could see some more usage of the faction battleships that are getting
Oh,
some
like Navy
buffs.
stuff. I see what you're saying.
So here, they didn't say anything about research points, so I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, there was some more tax information
What
real
is a
quick.
resource point?
So some of the basic
He's
tax
talking about
stuff.
data cores, Dom. He's talking about using your LP to buy like Navy holes.
Yeah, no.
For
Herm
for
asked in
doctrine.
chat if they're taxing research points, but I don't think that's part of this.
Gotcha.
I don't.
No.
And those are
No.
for
Didn't
like
make that connection.
researching blueprints. You have to
No,
do.
no, that's not tax. It's just so
Getting data
there's taxing on.
Data
So they're going to add taxing for corporation or for structure owners. So taxes for not just the market but also for industry. Instead of I didn't know how the taxes worked with the Citadels, but apparently it was saying that like half of the tax income
drink.
was taken by the SCC.
Yep.
Whereas now it's just going to be a flat 0.5% taken instead. So the structure owners are going to be able to keep a lot more of the tax money that was taken out, which means that now it might make it more lucrative for them to open up their structures if they're not free ports in various areas. I mean, obviously,
Well,
Nullsec's
so
not going to do that, but
what this is going to help out is like smaller to medium-sized alliances that say they've got a market in their Fortizar and it's a low volume market. That would it might actually make it so the structure turns a profit for them potentially, depending on
Some
what
of
their
their
market
indie
volume
structures,
is, versus costing them 600-700 mil ISK a month for just the fuel for the market, because the market is a fuel hog.
yeah. Well, and not just that, so the market and also the industry, it might make it to where they can possibly lower their taxes and still make more money than they were before, so they can be more competitive with pricing and tax pricing and stuff. So
People do not understand how the taxes work. Largely at the moment too. I've found.
I don't fully understand. It was going into the numbers on the
well-
patch thing, and I was just like, all right, whoosh. I don't.
Well, so people see. So say I set on my Sodio 10% tax. People see that and they go freak out. They're like, "Oh my god, 10%! Like you're gonna tax from 10% of the value of my build." But what it is it's 10% tax of the job cost, and the job cost is calculated based off of the system cost index for that particular activity,
right. Yeah.
which itself is tied to the global activity. There's a formula that's tied to global activity versus the system activity to see what share that is, and then that's the formula that
They're getting rid of
calculates
that, I think now.
Yeah, so
Different thing, different,
but
but they are related. Yes,
yeah, it's all related, but
you're talking about system index and
yeah,
and
overall,
and then there's a cost index.
they could really use with
Cost index is
making
state.
it simpler in a way that people more intuitively understand, because it's not something that's easy to explain to most people.
I mean, you can't explain regular taxes to most people either, so I wouldn't stress about it.
But yeah, I mean,
That's just one of my
super
biggest I hate fielding.
super
Yeah,
simple
no,
summary is structure owners are going to get a lot more of the tax. So it's not like the taxes are going up unless they decide to raise them, but they probably won't. It's just that of the amount that's being taxed, the structure owner is getting the vast majority of that tax instead of half. So they can make more money. So now owning a structure may not cost money if it's.
I gotta ask you a question.
Frequented
What's
enough,
this
it might
fee for
actually.
the alpha clone mean? If you have an alpha clone, you get taxed.
Huh?
Hmm?
Alpha clone. That's one of the things that they're talking about. That's taxed at 0.25%. What the fuck's that mean?
I wonder if alphas pay higher taxes.
I don't have an alpha, so I don't know.
Alpha clone
Yeah,
tax applicable to alpha clones set at 0.25%. So there must be a separate setting.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it if there's a different tax rate for alphas. I have no clue.
But it makes it sound like we can set that. Is that true?
I've never heard of anything like that, so I don't know.
Well, I just read it.
I
so
mean,
you did
feel
hear
free to link it to the class, bro.
It's in the fucking thing you linked. What are you talking about? It's in the
I didn't link
video.
anything.
Scroll down in the text, the formula. They're talking about alpha clones.
Which link are you looking at right
With the Viridian expansion notes.
Yeah, the formula, the general formula changes to TIF, which is something EIV. There's a bunch of
total installation fee, estimated item value.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I was like, there's a bunch of variables. I don't know what they stand for.
Yeah, look at the last one. What's it say?
Yeah. It's facility tax plus SCC plus alpha. SCC is the system tax, basically. The general, what do you call it?
Okay, hold on. Maybe somebody didn't hear it.
Scrolling down, see if I can find out.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm wondering if.
I bet it's higher for alphas, Rayo. That'd be my guess.
I'm on the corporations enhanced thing. Is that not?
It's higher. So yeah, I can't say that. Trooper says it's higher. I believe him. He seems like a smart dude.
Tax applicable to it says down there tax applicable to alpha clones set at 0.25%.
So you can't rape them anymore, which is ridiculous.
Whoa, guy.
Okay, financially rape them. Sorry. You can still probably physically do it, but it'd be weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're the one talking about this stuff. You're the expert.
I said I knew the basic summary of the tax stuff. I don't know getting down to the nitty gritty numbers. Fuck, I
The
don't.
nitty gritty.
That's more math that I want to get
Taxes.
into for stuff that I'm not a structure owner. I don't pay
Do
attention.
you know what
like,
they need to implement? Like doing your taxes. They have a 1040 form every fucking corporation
Oh,
owner
God.
has to fill out every year for Concord. That'd be awesome. Add more tax stuff to the game. I'd love it. That was sarcasm if you didn't know.
Sure.
Like I blew Drayden's mind.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a drink. We
I
haven't drank
do.
much.
I
true.
gotta. Oh no! I gotta make one.
Okay, pause the show. Nobody have any
Yeah.
thoughts?
Pause. Everyone.
No chatting.
Well, no pause because
What's this temporary sales tax holiday?
You got what?
Next.
Temporary sales tax holiday. The previously mentioned changes will have an impact where the short term, the installation, blah blah blah. To counter this impact, we are temporarily lowering the sales tax for all market transactions. Reduce sales tax for all market transactions by 50% from 8 to 4%. Temporarily. So, I guess when Viridian comes out, taxes are going down. Hot damn.
Yeah.
Temporarily.
Because it's the money expansion. Green, Viridian.
Got to
Dude,
That's
I
the
sure
whole
hope they
point.
make
Like
money.
we're worried about having a fucking another Boston
Need
Tea
to bring
Party.
back some
maybe.
abundance.
Oh, we were
And
gonna. What are we drinking to?
then everyone can
Minecraft,
spend
what are we
all their
drinking
money
to?
on T2 dreads.
Oh, we're
Let's
just drinking.
drink-
Might never get
Let's
used.
Online.
drink to the
Greatest game ever
super-
made.
The super Kerr-induced nano-coding resequencers.
Yeah, why the fuck did we skip that?
Dude,
The
Dom would love
Skinner.
to
I
drink
actually have something very
Skinner.
special that I
Oh.
would like to take a drink to as
Yeah.
well.
Is
There
it
you
not
go.
the Skinner?
No, it is the simple
What?
fact that it is 101 days until I take off for FanFest.
Then that.
Yay!
Well, what-
FanFest.
Ziggy and I,
can't do that.
we gotta lock down our room and shit. We were looking at an Airbnb.
When are you flying up, Malkuth?
He's not
Sorry,
listening
I
to
was
us.
distracted by real life. What was the question?
Oh, FanFest. When
Too
are
late
you
now.
coming in?
I fly out, I think, the 19th, which means I get there the morning of the 20th.
Okay, cool. You'll come right the day after me.
Yeah, I'm kind of aiming for that similar window.
It's either that or I leave the 18th and get there the 19th. I don't fucking remember. I got a calendar reminder somewhere for it.
Oh well, I fly out night of the 18th, arrive early 19th.
Skinner.
Something about a Skinner, and then he said he's gotta be right back. So we'll never know.
The Skinner is the. I think we talked about this last week. It's the structure skins. It's the thing that will let
Yeah,
you edit the.
We did talk about last week, but a question was answered that we asked last week.
What did
It
we
is
ask?
It is temporary, not permanent.
Oh
Yeah,
well,
you-
no,
you-
we knew that
you-
it,
Oh,
there
yeah,
was
we knew
30
that.
days, 90 days, and
I was like,
180
what?
You guys
days.
didn't talk. Okay,
We
maybe
did.
I
We
was drunk.
mentioned it last week. Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah. So 30 days. You said it for use your skill or what are those things? Evermarks. I was like, God, too many.
That sadly says to
Yeah,
me
like
that a lot of
the
people are gonna do it
corporation level.
once with whatever they have built up, and then they're just gonna let it expire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Evermarks are hard to get.
They're not hard to get. It just
Yeah, they're
takes
hard.
actual
Just-
like effort. And
yeah,
no-
you
You
just
gotta
gotta
go places. And that's
I don't
just
think a lot of
awful.
people are gonna put in that effort.
To
Yeah,
go
you
places,
gotta
yeah.
log in and undock.
And go places. Yeah, I don't like it.
Well, then for
Yeah,
null
not
You also
doing
have to
that.
like go
Don't wanna
into
dick around and
high
hide
sec or
and
low
stuff like
sec
that.
or something, and
Well, I can't go to high sex. I have to do low.
and
I wonder how
I
long
think there's a
till,
low.
like-
I think there's low sec ones, but things like I mean, a lot of the null sec people are not going to bring some ship that could get ganked on a gate just to go bring it to a thing for some Evermarks to put a logo on their ship.
Oh, you underestimate morons.
I know people will, but most people won't.
I wonder how long till somebody's jumping jump freighters or whatever. If they're all high sec, I don't know where those Paragon stations are. But
Oh, I did get a reply
just
back about
seeding the
mine.
local market with all the different ships that you can turn in for the missions, so people
Dude,
can
there's-
literally just sit there in the station.
There's
and do it.
literally one in Jita.
Is there really?
Oh,
Yeah,
is
was
it?
it?
you just buy the ship and dock it.
Buy
in
a
the
ship and
station
turn it
next
in.
Door. Yeah, that's
That's
all
ridiculous.
it is.
Oh, it's the Jita 44, the not
The
the
other one?
not the trade hub, the other one
The
that's
Qatari like business
It's a little
bureau or
further
Business
away
something.
than
Tribunal or
next- it's a
something.
metaphor.
Yeah,
It's like an AU away or something like that. I don't.
yeah.
But it's in the
Uh,
same
Okay.
system.
So the
Oh.
loyalty points can be transferred from corp to corp, but the Evermarks cannot be. Is that what I'm reading?
right.
Correct.
That sucks.
I
Was
thought
it-
they said that the Evermarks could be transferred to the holding corps. I think that developed,
Maybe.
didn't they? Because people are like, nobody's going to be able to do this because
Yeah, I think I remember something like that.
most big things are held with
I think
holding
it-
corps, and holding corps aren't going to have anybody running Evermark missions.
It
I
just
thought- I
says
thought
you
that got
can't
announced this
use,
last week.
You can't send Evermarks between individuals, not groups.
I think I'm pretty sure they addressed somewhere in the last few days that you will be able to funnel them to your like holding corps and stuff like that. Like that's been worked around.
Yeah, I think I
Okay.
remember that.
Alright, cool.
Because I do think that was raised by quite a few people. They were like, well, holding corps are holding on the keep stars. That's what we would want to paint, and shit like that.
So it'll be interesting. So it says that Evermarks are excluded from the whatever the loyalty point things, but they're granted at a 1-to-1 ratio for corporation
Yeah,
members.
you don't.
Are they going to retro that to all the Evermarks we've gotten for free?
That has been happening. Your corp's been getting 1-to-1 since Evermarks existed.
Oh, since it existed. Okay.
Yeah, my corp's
So
got a
this
bunch
isn't
of them,
new
and
then.
I didn't know
Oh,
that for a
Castro's
little
here.
bit, so I just, hey, what's up? So I was wondering one day when I was looking at the corp wallet, I was like, why the fuck does the corp have so many Evermark? Like a lot of them compared to what we were given for free.
Okay, yeah.
And
Castro's
somebody
got the
told
thing.
me
He's
the
saying,
one thing.
so Castro's saying corps can send Evermarks to corps in their same alliance as long as they've been
Boom.
in that alliance for 30 days. Boom.
Yay.
Thanks for that layup, Kestrel.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Kestrel. Yeah, did you
Yeah.
you got stuck with us, didn't you?
Yeah, Darwin must be out for the night. Like,
So you drew
welcome,
the
man.
short straw. That's funny.
does he want to hop on? He can.
Welcome to.
DM him,
But,
that way he's not on the spot publicly.
But like, because it's Suetonia. Suetonia knows a ton. Like, he was always big. in-
Antonio does know a ton about what's going on.
Yeah, it's, especially when it comes down to like stat breakdowns and everything. So he would
Yeah.
know a lot of this shit.
So Tonya, tell me about taxes and how those work. I'm kidding. He starts going into it. I'm like, no, my American taxes. How do those work?
They
Oh,
have-
Darwin is here. Oh man.
Yes,
Oh,
Darwin
we're
and
getting-
Kestrel.
No, now I
But
feel like
Darwin,
we're
you
getting
guys
judged.
got
Are we
two
getting judged?
CCPers?
Yeah,
Oh,
we're in
we got
trouble.
Two?
We're in trouble now.
I feel super judged. Oh no,
Do you?
I do. I'm really fucking.
Um,
Yeah, I do. Fuck
Lancer
it.
Dread. We talked about Lancer Dreadnoughts last week, or the week before, I think actually. So I don't know if we need to like really hash into those, but those will be coming out.
I mean, that is one of the bigger changes of
Bane's
Iridium.
pretty cool. The Kararabaru.
I think there was a little more talk about
Karura?
it today on Reddit, but I'm trying to remember what it was about.
I mean,
There was some
my thing with these new
clarifications.
dreads, in all honesty, I think they're going to be a flash in the pan. I think they'll be. Fun
I
at
think there's.
first.
I think they
People are
have a
gonna figure
use,
out how
but
to-
it's gonna be
They're gonna
super
figure out how to
niche.
counter the shit out of them right away. I mean, that's what There's a big battle right now between all the smart people. How can we
Yeah.
use them? How can we counter them? I have a feeling these are going to get countered really fast.
I
They seem
think-
too niche.
Well, I think they are niche, so I don't think they're going to get countered. I think it's just that you're not going to just drop these every time you're dropping normal dreads. If you're gonna drop one of these things, it's going to be for a specific purpose.
Yeah, that's
to
kind
do
of how
what
I
it to do what it does, because it does less damage than a normal dread. So you wouldn't bring this over a tech one if you're just wanting to burn something down.
Well, it depends on what you're doing.
It's
yeah,
also way
for
more
sure.
expensive. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're going to bring this in, it's probably to use the Lancer module for its specific purpose. So it's probably going to be for like ganking, things on like Titans on structures and things like that.
But that's what I mean by flash in
Or
the pan.
possibly
There's going to be
fighting
such a
Skynet
small
and stuff
amount of
like that.
uses for it that I just don't think we'll see them that often.
I think you'll see some people get them, but they'll just be like one of those kind of, like I said, it'll be like one of those niche ships that they
I'm
just
gonna
have
get one. Of
sitting
course I'm gonna
around,
get one,
and then they'll
but
just have it in case it's needed. But it's not going to get called on very, very often. I don't think.
I agree. That's what I'm trying to say. I think it's going to.
They do get T2 resist, but the thing is, like, they're so expensive, and those T2 resists
We
aren't
don't
worth
know
the
how
extra
it's gonna
cost.
stick.
Because it's like you could actually just, for the cost of one of these things, you could probably just buy 2, maybe 3 regular dreads and have more DPS, more overall resistance. I mean, you'd need 2 pilots for it, but I think I would assume these are going to probably be, I would guess,
I think
upwards
these are
of
a
like,
tool.
after the
and
price
people are gonna
settles,
use
I
them
wouldn't be
accordingly.
surprised if they sit somewhere around like 10 bill, give or take, fit.
But the
so-
T2 Lancers are like a DD, except they're not really for damage. They're for
They don't really do damage.
debuffs.
Yeah, it's meant for the
It's like
debuffs.
UOR, essentially.
Yeah, you get and I think the no tether and no docking debuff is decent, but I think the 50% reduction in reps is the main thing you're going for.
Also, no warp, I believe.
Yeah, so it's no warp.
No
Yeah,
warp.
it's 1 minute of no warp, no docking, no tether, 50%
It's
incoming
one-
reps.
It's 1 minute you are stuck on this grid, and you're not able to get away.
Yeah,
Did we answer the question? Maybe
but
we did,
that's what I'm
'cause I
saying. Like,
drink a lot,
it,
but does it detether you?
no,
It
you
stops
can't.
you
No,
from tethering. It does not.
It
detether you,
prevents
right?
tether. It doesn't. Yeah, you can't because you can't target someone who's tethered. Oh, I guess you just aim these.
You don't
but
need
yeah.
you don't need to
Yeah,
target.
but
for the lance,
no,
that's
it's you,
important to know.
you can't shoot someone if they're tethered. It won't do anything to them. So, so you'd have to get the. That's what I'm saying. Like it's going to be used for ganking someone. Jumps a
Skynet,
Titan in,
counter
and
Skynet
it's
efforts.
before their tether comes on. Because when you jump in from a jump drive, it's like 30 seconds before you can tether or something like that. So things like that, like I think, but honestly, I would say even more than the tether and docking thing, I think the rep debuff is the big major part of the. I think that's probably the strongest part of it. Honestly, you're gonna hit capital with this, and then you're gonna be able to burn it down through fax reps. Ideally, I mean, I could just be talking shit, but
I
that's
think you
what-
might be onto something.
I think that's going to probably be the strongest use of them is just, hey, we need to burn this down. And, you could do a dread bomb, hit them with one of these just to get that debuff. And then the dread bombs will just eat through the fax reps because they're only going to be coming in half as much. So
Is there
I think
a
we're
limit
gonna
to
see
the number
these
of
used
targets it
on-
can hit?
Skynetted situations where you got a bunch of carriers or supers all sitting on their forward or their keepstar trolling their fighters and fighter bombers and whatever over to another structure to bash them. If people drop a good enough Sino near enough and then drop one of these guys that lance all those carriers and then drop, a dread fleet, you could see a massacre just right on an end dock.
yeah.
Yes.
So
I don't know if that's
I-
going to be the only use case or the main use case. A lot of people are suspecting that people are going to
Hey,
be, hey, read the
Nerdy D'Angelo, thanks for the
Uh,
raid. Welcome to the show, everybody. We are spitballing and talking about the patches or the upcoming patch.
most
for
of
the
the
raid.
sky is falling
Do a shot.
crowd is talking about how, oh, absolutely.
Thanks, a nerdy Neanderthal. What a fucking great name.
Yeah, one of these days the sky is gonna stop falling and finally just hit the ground, and we might not even notice it.
Because it's air, right? So we might not even
Yeah.
notice it.
I'm
It's just
not
made of
gonna
air.
fall. I don't know what you're talking about.
It might have fallen already. It went right through us. Bounced back
Yeah.
up. We don't know.
Goodness.
What are we
But yeah,
talking
I've seen a lot of chatter about people are worried about jump freighters getting
Yeah.
into high sec. Apparently, that's a pretty big
Cheers, I'm doing a
school
shot.
of thought.
Oh, so like them sitting at a regional gate waiting for him type deal?
So-
Yeah,
so
something
the
like that.
issue-
or
so the
sign in at the
issue-
last moment or something.
So the issue with jump freighters actually is coming out of warp on the gate going out, like going from like low sec into high sec. That's what the concern is,
Sure.
because you get hit with the lance, you can get hit while you're coming out of warp. So you're still in warp.
It
And
looks
then,
like smart bombs.
then that prevents
Yeah,
you from
that-
being able to take
I've-
the gate, and then you're fucked. You're
That
just
would be
fucked.
so. You'd have to the timing on that would have to be so perfect. But
I don't think it's got to be
it's-
all that perfect.
It's
and it won't take people long to
well, the
figure out
spool
how to
because
time
it's like
it.
what it's a 10-second spool up time or something like
I
that
think
on the
it's 15 or so
Lancer.
to
10 or
spool, and then
15.
it's 10 seconds of effect, I think.
No, it's 1 second of effect.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I think so. Unless I completely read it wrong, but I'm pretty sure I was looking at the Lancer
Mm-hmm.
weapon chart, and I pretty sure it said 1 second duration of effect. And so it's like if it's only like a 1 second long effect, that you're gonna have to like really hit that. But yeah, Militar Trooper. Yeah, that was the other thing that I think was being mentioned when we were talking about a couple weeks ago is the Skynet counter. So
15 seconds damage. Boom.
15. Oh, is it?
Yeah, it
Okay.
applies.
Guys, Drayden's in
it
PL and he
applies-
doesn't know shit about
I
shit.
don't.
So what
Kidding,
it does,
kidding.
Drayden,
I don't
is
use
I was
capitals
looking it up too because I
applies-
figured he was wrong.
My
I was like,
capitals
yeah,
are
yeah.
suitcases, man. I don't fucking fly those things.
what it's doing, Drayden, what you read is it's applying damage and it's doing those things every second for 15 seconds.
Okay, so it's 1 sec. Oh, so it's like every second it's applying damage for. Oh, okay,
For 15 seconds.
got it. Okay, yeah, I didn't read the rest of
Like
it.
a beam.
But yeah, so
I
so that
didn't
makes
read the rest of it.
well, I don't. There was a lot of
Reading is
stats.
hard.
There's a lot of stats on there. I didn't like look at all of them. But yeah, so I mean that makes it easier for the gate thing, but also yeah, the Skynet thing. So if you got a super sitting
It's
over on
going
a
to-
on a Citadel, and its fighters aggress somewhere, you can then hit it with this thing, and then it's fuckerinoed. If
And
you
so
if you
So
get
as-
a-
we're not going to
as it
no, we're not
currently
glossing over this.
stands,
We're
it-
drinking to I didn't read the rest of this.
yeah,
That's the greatest
Well,
statement I've heard
just-
in a long time.
Where do
I'm
you see
just-
this?
Drink.
You're- Good one. However, I just want to say though, they are right in that this is going to completely fuck up the logistics as it currently stands. It's
Wait,
going to
wait,
be
wait.
interesting seeing how it actually
This
plays out.
could. Let's go with
It's going
could.
to.
It's not. We can't guarantee
That's
anything in
that's
this
the
life,
that's the prediction that I am making
but it
on
could
this.
fuck up logistics, or it could just make them harder, and it may not, but it probably will.
It's going to depend on how many people actually field these, but if stuff is
I
going
want
to
to
have
see
a
some
good
Nix
time.
in one. I want to see some a few snuff pilots. Can't think of any names right off the top of my head. There's definitely some people who
Yeah,
that's what they're
I
good
think
at.
people there'll be people that'll be like drive by in with these things, doing stuff, and then like I said, I think there'll be. I mean, a lot of the bigger alliances, there's gonna be dudes that just have these sitting around because they want one, and there might be eventually be a use figured out for them. But it's
I mean,
not it's not you're not gonna see a fleet of these. If they're gonna use these, you're gonna probably have a regular dread fleet, and then you're gonna have like up to a few of these coming
speckle
in.
some of them in it.
I mean, if anything, like because what the effect lasts a minute. The debuff.
Oh,
So
no.
like it's
So
a
you
five.
need a shot.
You only
You
need
gotta take a
one
drink.
to grab a freighter.
Well, right. Yeah. I mean, if you can kill something fast enough, but if it's something that's going to be alive for
Like
a
in a
while, like
battle.
maybe a Titan, it's a minute debuff time and a 5-minute cooldown on the lance weapon. So like you would need at least 5 of these
There you
to
go.
sustain the thing continuously if you need to. And that's if you time it perfectly. So, but I mean, you might just have like a few of these.
I'm quite sure that
coming with regular dreads or supers.
the brilliant capital and super capital FC minds of the game are already pondering on use cases, even if
Oh,
they
for
haven't
sure.
figured it
Yeah,
out
yeah.
yet.
That's what I was trying to get at.
There-
It could be
there's
We're
counted
gonna
some
see
off
these
the
in
meter.
there's some
escalations and
hunters
counter
that talk-
escalations, and somebody's gonna do something like, I mean, thinking about like goons with Operation Inho, we're gonna see something real crazy out of the box come out of these for sure.
Yeah.
From one of the
Someone will
big
figure out some
blocks
crazy.
that's like, I
Klaus
think
is
this will be
correct,
good for
yeah.
this situation. They're gonna set up a little set piece battle on a keep star, so whatever. They're gonna create an environment for it, and then they're gonna try to see what these things actually play out.
I now the hype for these is over. No, I mean it's a new ship class. I mean it's
for
it's
sure some people are
cool.
gonna get
I
their
like
hands on
it, and there's
It's a step in the right
definitely a
direction,
bunch
yeah.
of people getting them. But I do like the fact that they made it have a specific role as opposed to just
yeah.
here's an even bigger, badder dread.
Yes.
Like
I agree,
Yeah,
because
it's
there's
an
not a
because
reason
if it was
for
just
most people
like
to go get one.
there's like the regular dreads, and then they came out with the faction dreads, and it's like here's a Tech 2 dread that's just more damage. It's like that would have been pretty boring.
It would have just been straight power creep. There's not a good reason for most people to go out and get these, like run down to the corner store and get one of these when they drop.
Yeah.
Other than the few people who want to learn how they work and really want to try some edge
And
stuff,
it's
or just like having new toys.
and the
Like, you're not
utility.
going to miss out by not being one of
The
these.
utility of the
friggin'
Lancer
Lancer
is
dreads.
cool because it's not something that any other ship has that ability. Like no other ship has those kind of debuffs, so
Right.
it's pretty cool that they put something like that in the game. But again, yeah, it's not going to have a super prevalent use. It's going to be here and there uses, but it's a tool out there. So
especially in the EU time zone, I absolutely guarantee you're going to see, once these get built, some groups fucking around on the usual transit gates that most logistics have to go through to get to Jeddah, and some other popular hunting areas. You're going to see them get used.
I think you're right. They'll get used.
I'm here for it.
yeah.
I think it's cool.
But they're not. They won't be the most common.
Well,
They're
just
not the
what-
common
what-
ship on the field.
I
but
don't think we're going to
it's
see
just-
doctrine fleets of them or
Yeah,
anything.
oh,
it's
the
just-
other thing is, did
but
you see the did you see the skills?
These are going to be a Molotov cocktail or like a wild card, some sort of thing that you throw into the mix when shit's going crazy. Sorry.
So
No, I
so
got you,
there's
skills.
there's new skills with these coming out. So there's Lancer Dreadnoughts is a skill. That's a 2.5 billion skill book.
That's it. Oh, okay.
I mean that's
pretty high compared to Capital Book.
That's
know,
pretty
I'm
high for a Dreadnought book. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty high.
I mean,
Like what,
I'm
500 million for a trade book?
I've been considering if I want to spend the ESC on buying a Titan skill book for another character. So
yeah,
it's
disruptive.
Sure,
well,
but
and
that's
then,
a Titan.
dis-
That's a huge
disruptive
jump up.
lance operation. So that's what you're going to need for the Lancer weapon. 500 million. So basically, if you want to fly these, 3 billion ISK for the skills, and then if you want to build them, it's a 500 million ISK for advanced capital ship construction skill.
God damn. So okay,
There's a
the
new
only
there's a
thing-
new skill if you want to
God,
build them too. Yeah,
I have 2 perfect indie tunes.
they're not going to be
You-
perfect
you're gonna
anymore.
Be perfect.
They're not going to be perfect anymore.
Wait, you said there's a new skill for building them as well?
Yeah, advanced capital
missed
ship
that.
construction.
Oh, you.
It's an X16 skill too. So
Well, so that's the
Oh my
point. I
God.
didn't expect them to
Perfect.
do that.
Is it just a time
because-
reduction? Surely it's
Well-
just a time reduction. You can train
I,
one and
I
just
would
knock
hope
it out.
that
and
you
be
would only
fine.
need level, being that that's the only thing the
So-
skill book
so what
does. I would hope level
surprises-
1 lets you build it, and then maybe
I'm
time
guessing
reduction.
so,
Yeah.
time reduction. Yeah.
I don't believe they made a special skill that you needed for building jump freighters. Because at one point I was building those left and right, and you didn't
think
need
so.
What
to,
if
like,
they
train an
changed
extra
the
thing.
skill now because that's technically an advanced capital ship too?
Yeah, like that would make
What
sense.
if they
to
make
me.
it where all the people building jump freighters have to train this new skill to keep doing it? I'm not suggesting that CCP. I just
Oh
think
yeah.
it'd be
What if
funny.
what if they put building
I'm
jump
not
building
suggesting
jump
that.
freighters? You have to have level 1 of this thing. Building the lancers, you have to like level 4 or some shit.
Freighters have always fallen in a weird place when with consideration to capitals.
Jump freighter, like for
Yeah, 'cause
regular
people-
freighters, yeah.
yeah.
Jump freighters are quite solidly like a capital in
I
my
suppose
mind.
you're right
'cause
there, yeah.
they're- 'cause
Jump
they got
drive
the jump
issue.
drive. But standard freighter,
It is
yeah,
kind of a
they're-
weird gray area.
it's in the
I mean,
weird in
technically, an orc
well,
is a
so-
capital too.
Is it?
Orcas even.
I think
It's
it's got
an,
capital
it's
construction
it's an
parts in it,
industrial
maybe?
capital. You have to have industrial capital ship to
the
fly
way
it.
that I
Is that what it is?
I think so.
industrial
I thought that
command
was a
ship.
damn.
Oh,
industrial
command.
construction.
Oh, I thought it was
command.
capital. Okay.
Industrial
Standard?
capital is
Industrial
for the
capital is for the rotor.
So the way
Orca
that I
falls
look
really
at-
close to a battleship.
the
Sorry,
way
go ahead.
that I
Hey, it's the
look
cannon.
at
Thanks for the reset, mate.
the way that I look at orcas and freighters is they're both right in like this weird
Okay.
middle gray area between being a capital and not. But an orca is slightly more on the side towards being a sub, and
I
the
feel like it's a
standard
sub
freighter
cap.
is
Yeah.
more on the side of being a capital.
It is like that. It's not. It's like bigger than a hauler, but it's not a freighter. Like so it's kind of
well,
like
like
this.
an orca.
Orcas
you
are
can't,
damn near battleship stats.
you can't put an well. You can shove.
But
a
the size of
battleship
it's way bigger than a
inside-
battleship.
You can shove a battleship inside of a Titan. You can't shove an orca inside of a Titan.
That's no. I'm just saying stats wise.
Not with that attitude.
They
Well, but that is a
they're
stat
very
right?
comparable to a battleship compared to like most capital ships or something. They're
Oh yeah,
closer in my
bowhead. I
opinion,
always
than
forget
to a
about the
battleship.
bowhead. That's another capital.
Nobody needs to
like
remember the bowhead exists.
Hey, Mike Azariah uses a bowhead.
And more
This
power
is
to him.
true.
Him and 4 other people, and one of them every few weeks loses it, moving their incursion
Yeah,
ships.
that's a ship like you see if you're flying around high set continuously. You might see like one of those a month. I feel like they're just not really.
burn your rigs. It's fine. There's people who make rigs all the time just to
Yeah,
stimulate the economy.
It's so much safer and easier to just do that. I mean, unless they're like it depends on.
I love this salvage.
But I mean, if you're
Just
putting in a
burn your
freighter,
rigs.
it's not going to be a capital ship. So it's like I mean, burning Tech 2 large rigs. It's like it's still probably cheaper to just do that. Move ship it.
Yeah. Dude, salvaging a field after a
Oh,
big battle.
Nerdy
see all
Neanthro.
that tech
Okay, he's got
so
4 bowheads.
good.
That's
Ooh.
half the bowhead market right there.
Screenshots or shut the fuck up. No, I'm kidding.
BPOs for the Lancers will be able to be found. So BPOs are going to be $500 million for the Lancer. No,
Wait, what?
that says for the. Oh, right. The Lance weapons. Yeah, the Lancer
it's
weapon
okay.
is $500 million for the
BPOs.
BPO. Obviously, the Dread you're going to have to invent off of
Yeah, I know a lot of people
And
are
that is
BPC.
pretty standard for like capital sized module BPOs. That is just a normal cookie cutter price. It's nothing
Yeah.
special.
I think I saw some not hobo leaks, but I think it was either on CC or on I think it was actually somebody mentioned it was on Thunderdome. Some of the like recipe stuff around some of this new stuff.
Okay,
People
I
were
was
getting an
wondering.
idea. On Reddit, people were talking about like estimations of the cost and like what it's going to take to build them and things like that.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who dropped.
Yeah, so it's pretty standard materials. Like it doesn't even require any.
Talking about to build
So-
it.
Yeah, there was some fear, at least
Yeah.
in my camp,
Doesn't
that
even
it was
really-
going to take new shit.
Yeah, it doesn't
compared to, like-
require like really any PI or anything. It's just minerals. Oh no, it's just the Tech 1 Dread and then T2 components and
So one of my
more
alliance
fight
mates-
construction blocks and RAM Starship Tech 100.
One of my alliance mates has all the like capital BPs, but then he also like on occasion builds jump freighters, and he was hoping it was still going to be those advanced, the basically T2 capital component. And so I'm hoping that it actually plays out that way for him, that it's not a bunch of new things that people need to buy and
Well,
research, because
I mean, at this point,
I
they
still
said
haven't bought
anything
the
about new
last batch
stuff,
of capital
so-
shit that they added, like all the core temperature rigging. Like I think it also all told it was like 20 something bill of new blueprints when like to continue building capitals when the last changes rolled out.
I agree with you there. And I think they will. probably use the ones that are already in the game. Maybe add new ones for like some of the specific stuff to like T2 versions of
The
Dread, because
turret
that
hard
might make it.
points or
Yeah,
whatever.
like something along like I
something
could
like
see
that.
that.
Yeah, that doesn't
But
exist for Jump Freak.
there are also a handful of capital like advanced level capital component BPOs that have no current use in the game, and they've been in the game for years.
Really?
Yes, there are still prints that just literally have. I bought them at one point when I was a completionist and like was just wanting to have
What
them
are
in
they?
my library. I'd have to go and like actually
Castro,
look it up, but yeah,
surely you know.
there's a handful of component
Is
BPOs
this like that
that are
one
not
skill
used.
book that like tells you in the description that it's like purely for, just fun? It's like astronautic engineering or something like that, and it's like, if you have this, it
it
doesn't
used
do
to
shit.
exist. and
I
then
know
they
it used to
removed
do
it,
something, and then they whatever
Then
they call it, moonlighted it. I don't know.
the other thing is, so I mean that's the Marauder.
No.
There's some changes going to Marauders.
Well, Trooper
Changes
made a
come to
good point
Marauder.
about the dreads, though.
Ah.
Right? This is gonna put a heavy burden on the dreads because now you're gonna be going between the Navy and the T2 to make them. Right? So you need a dread to be sacrificed to make a Navy or a T2.
So there's definitely going to be at least.
Oh, I didn't know
market
you had to sacrifice the
vacuum
regular
on-
for a Navy one.
Yeah, you need a T1 variant to build any
Ah.
T2
Any
product.
capitals like that. Well,
Okay.
not
Any
but yeah.
any T2 product needs a T1.
Well,
input.
T2 I knew that, but I was thinking
it's
like
a
T2
a lot of
dread?
faction ones you just build. You just got to get a blueprint from like LP stores.
Faction's not T2.
Yeah, T2.
But the
is
faction.
Well, I
dreads,
know
you
that's
have
what I'm
to
saying.
have
Like you were saying
dread
that
one,
the faction dreads, like the Navy dreads, need a T1 to build.
Oh, do they?
That's what isn't that what
I
you just
thought
said?
so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the,
No,
Na-
I'm
the
sa-
Navy
I'm saying
dreads require a
T2s.
Tech 1 hull
No, the Navy
didn't
ones
know
do
that was
also.
blueprint
Yeah.
to make.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, I haven't built capitals ever, so I was like, I thought the Navy and faction stuff was just
I've never built it.
you get the blueprint and you build it.
Yeah,
And it's
so
just
Grox
more expensive
Rogue
than a
just-
regular ship. But
Thank you, Grox Rogue and chat. Capital laser focusing crystals is one of those BPOs. I
It
think
does nothing?
capital. I
does
think
fuck all?
capital acceleration coils is another one I want to say, or
I
something.
could swear
along
I've
those
used that
lines.
for something.
There's
Okay, yeah,
I've used that for structures. I've used that for
there's
structures.
there's something along. I'm probably getting the name slightly wrong, but
Citadel.
okay, yeah.
Navy dread.
And
BPC,
Kess was saying like the Navy dreads, you don't need a Tech 1 dread for the build. It's just
Get
sure?
wrecked.
I
yeah,
thought
it's just the minerals for it. I'm assuming it's a little more expensive to build than a normal Tech 1 dread.
Ooh,
But then you got to get the BPC for it from
that's kind of cool
wherever.
that you could turn in a T1 and like with the LP store and upgrade to a Navy.
Oh, okay.
T1
Yeah.
and LP. That's
There
kinda
is an LP offer where you can trade a T1 dread for a Navy dread. Is it the ship for the ship or is it the ship for the?
cool. Ship and LP for an upgraded ship.
Oh, okay, that makes
Oh,
sense.
that's maybe
Or at
what
least
I'm
that's
thinking of
what
then,
it looks like. I'm sorry.
See, faction war like the whole LP thing. Like I've never done anything with LP.
Yeah, me either.
I've been
Well,
like
it
I've
used
been
to.
a nullsecker for life. It was like 3 weeks after I started this game, like 11 years ago. I've just been nullsec the whole time.
It used to be more.
I don't know how
polarizing,
low.
like,
I don't even
there's-
fucking know how lowsec works. It's weird shit out there.
There's definitely less excuse for us not to try it at this point because it used to be something you couldn't do in your regular corp or alliance or et cetera, et cetera. I still don't like the fact that I guess faction police are going to hate me potentially because I do want to go dick around with it. You know, we did that friggin' stream that time where we were just going and play with it on CC. Like, I'd like to try it out just to see what's up, but I don't
I
like the
believe
idea
you,
that on the
Dirty.
rare occasions I touch high sec that everything's going to get pissed off.
I believe you that you got some bowheads. I never disbelieved it.
Oh, I disbelieved it.
Oh, that was Akrath. Oh, okay, he's
That
got
was me.
proof for you.
I said screenshots.
Ah.
Shut the fuck up. That's what I told him.
But yeah, so
Picture
there's
didn't
there's some Marauder changes coming up.
Nani?
Yeah. Because basically they're saying Marauders are too OP, so they're doing some changes. Although I don't know if it's like necessarily a nerf on the Marauders, but the Bastion modules. So they're removing the E-War bonuses that
Are
the
they
Bastion
fully moving or are they dialing them
says
back?
removed the electronic warfare bonus or resistance
Well, you
bonus to
just linked
sensor
this.
dampener, tracking disruptor, and target painter. So your sensor damp, target painting, and tracking disruption war bonuses or resistance bonuses gone. Don't get those.
Will you link which patch note thing you're looking at? 'Cause
I'm
I know
on
there's a
the
few.
Scroll down a little bit farther
Viridian
from-
expansion
yeah.
patch. So it just got to scroll
like
way down.
5 in the last 2 weeks. I don't know which ones you're looking
Oh,
at.
okay. I'll post it in the chat.
Because I thought I was following along. I could not find the math thing y'all were talking about earlier. So
Oh,
I
you
was
beat
definitely
me,
on the
you
wrong
son
one.
of a bitch.
You might be on the corporation one. This is like just
Check
the
that one
actual
afterward.
Viridian patch. I put it in the chat.
Okay.
And so
Okay,
you,
cool.
you gotta scroll way down to the Marauders thing. The other thing is, so it's saying like duration increased from 30 to 60 seconds. So I don't know what
Yeah.
that is.
So
Like,
Bastion mode. Bastion's like Siege for Dread.
right, but I didn't it. I thought it lasted 5 minutes like Siege.
No, Bastion and Marauders 30 seconds. Now they're gonna bump it to 60.
Oh,
They're
okay.
doubling up
So
on
so
the
you
time.
get longer Bastion mode, which does lock you in
It's gonna
place
put them-
longer, but
Yeah,
you
it's gonna
don't
put
get
them in a little more
the
risk.
you don't get the E-War bonus or
Isn't that
resistance
what it
bonus.
used to be? Didn't it used to be 60?
I thought it was like
In
30
the
seconds
very
seems so
early
short.
days, I think it might have been.
I thought it was even longer than that at first.
I think it was 60 in
Yeah.
the very early days, and hopefully
Yeah.
Kestrel's not
I'm just
gonna
wondering because, like, I mean, on ships that do tracking, like, freaking,
The E-War bit
like
makes
the
me a little
paladins
sad.
and like the Kronos and stuff they're coming up with. I mean, what's the, not the crew, like not the pilgrim and stuff like that, but like what's the arbitrator? Maybe just get like some cheap ass arbitrators and just fucking spread tracking disruption shit on them if they go into Bastion. Cheap ass cruisers and fuck up a bunch of marauders. Maybe, I don't know. That might not work well. But it's not only that, so that's the Bastion thing, but then they're kind of switching up some of the ships. So the Kronos is
So apparently the Golem just sucks because they're not giving any, they're not taking anything away from it.
well, maybe
does
maybe
not,
it's
actually,
maybe it
though.
doesn't suck. Maybe it's just
Well,
the
why are
most
they not taking
balanced.
anything away
It's
from it?
it's not used a ton. I think part there's a few reasons.
Because it sucks. Yeah.
The Golem does not suck. It's a very potent machine.
I got Concorded in one. They fucking suck.
Okay, yeah. So okay,
That's your frame of reference?
it was
Yeah.
originally 60 seconds on
Fucking get good,
Bastion,
man.
and then they were
couldn't
gonna.
take Concord when I fucked up, so it sucks.
So it was originally 60, and then they were gonna push it to 90. They got a bunch of flack for it, so they dropped it to 30.
90
And
is
so now they're
severe,
putting it back
but-
to 60. But yeah,
That's
so the
unfair.
Kronos is none of these are like losing stuff. They're just changing them. Although the Kronos is gaining a mid slot, losing a high slot.
I don't
So
think
it
it's
loses a
got
single utility.
8 guns.
Uh,
anyways, so
yeah, and
No,
then
they do
it's
the
getting
double damage
some
for
it's
guns.
getting some more
Yeah,
armor and
okay.
losing some structure. Varker is getting
Which
a low
makes sense, it's
slot,
still a
losing a
tank.
high slot.
Which is
so-
interesting.
So more tank, I'm assuming.
But yeah,
or
it
more
actually
damage.
increases armor
Wait,
and
Tank or
the
damage.
tank spot.
I was gonna say or tracking.
Or
Tracking.
tracking.
There's
yeah.
a few different ways that can go,
Yeah. It's losing some shield, gaining some armor.
which is kind of interesting, but not a huge.
And then
It drops some
a
shield boost
reduction of
amount.
shield boost and armor
and
repair
armor
amount.
repair amount. Yeah.
Yeah.
Paladin is just losing optimal range. Paladins do OP, so it's just getting a straight fucking
In
nerf.
fleet fights.
So what did they do? The Golem? What they? Oh, they didn't take anything away from
Yeah, they
it.
did. The Golem is just apparently balanced.
The
The Golem is balanced. They're not changing.
Is it balanced or is it just?
Dude, we're gonna see so many golems
It
coming
won't
up.
be
It's the
after
only one that
this.
didn't get touched. It was just like slightly worse than the others, so now it's gonna be like
So you
shining
admit it.
above
You
them.
admit it. You admitted it. Slightly worse.
Actually, hold up.
I
it
know it's
did
worse.
get-
Dominarch,
it
I
did
hate
get more
Kaldari.
mass. It got more mass.
And not the least amount either. So
Oh,
you're right.
what about this though? Okay, so the
Oh,
battle,
because they all got more
battleship
mass.
changes. The Roke is getting a mid slot, losing a low slot. That's actually nice. I feel like the Roke, it was hard to
Stay alive?
fit enough shield tank on it and still have tracking and shit like that. Because I don't know. I think that's fine.
Man,
Drone
Kaldari
bandwidth is up to 75 from 50, so more drones.
Okay.
Drone bay is getting increased from 50 to 125.
That's good because I think that's a little more respectable
Yeah.
battleship loadout size.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. So I mean, you could like what put
It's
three.
not egregious. But
If you're
it's-
going
it's
rail, and railguns are getting a buff too. We'll get to that in a bit, but so railgun Rokes, fucking, it's back, baby. Can't stop it. So, and then it's getting a CPU increase, which makes sense if they're giving it a mid slot. Got to have the CPU increase. So
I like that they're making a pass at some T1 battleships. This is nice.
yeah, Maelstrom shield boost bonus is going up to 10% per level. Interesting. It's gonna be faster with more scan resolution. I don't know. I don't know how. I mean, are people solo roaming in maelstroms, like repping maelstroms? Like I don't really see it, but
I haven't seen anything like that. In
I mean, I
the-
haven't really seen many Maelstroms except for in larger fleets, and they're just buffer tanked with Logi. So I don't know about the.
Well, and hopefully, I mean,
The
we're seeing
2.5%.
Maelstrom and Rogue reference. Hopefully, they're going to start being seen a little bit more.
I mean, we'll see, but
Well, no, because it's not a. No, I don't think you'll see him anymore.
No?
Not
I
big
don't know
fleets
if you're
anyway,
going to
there's no point in
see
it.
No, I'm not necessarily
Maelstroms.
saying in big fleets, just at all.
The scan
You don't
res
see
is
either of those ships
nice.
in quite a few years now. And
It's been a long
Yeah.
time. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I think the Rogue is just gonna be similar as far as like long range alpha with the railguns. So I think the Rogue is just gonna be better than Maelstrom.
I can't believe you'd say that, and I disagree.
Hey,
I mean,
I
we
love
use, we use the Rogue.
The
in
Maelstrom is one of those
Imperial
ships that I had a very
Color
fondness
sucks,
for
bro.
back in the day when alpha males were a thing. I loved Maelstroms, but I think the Rogue's going to be stronger, especially with the large railgun changes. 15% bonus to tracking speed and 15% bonus to rate of
Oh.
fire. Fucking A, dude.
Giggity.
Yeah.
We might
dude,
see. So with that
Sniper
too, though,
Nagas, or Sniper
I was going to
Nagas?
say we're going to see a return of Nagas and Talos.
Yeah,
potentially.
Nagas and
Talos is I love
Oh
them.
man.
and Talos. I feel like Blaster
Which
Talos
sadly
is
we don't have much like opportunity for whaling anymore outside of a little bit of crab beacons. I guess is kind of maybe the new era of whaling, potentially. Not even so much because people felt more comfortable doing.
The only real
work was
problem with
outside
this
of
bonus to
umbrellas.
the railguns, that rate of fire, you better have good cap skills.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hey, you get an extra mid slot on
It's
the
gonna
Rogue.
hit it.
Then just fucking throw a cap injector in there and you're set. I mean, you
love
probably
that
are
they
going to have one
Kronos'
anyway.
Railguns.
No, you're gonna need to if you're a railgun.
Kronos is want
rogue,
some,
but I mean,
some
yeah,
blasters up in your face.
I love blasters so much.
Yeah. Well, that's
fine,
what I was saying. Like the Kronos, like Bastion mode with these railgun changes. Kronos might be
pretty hot. Which
Kronos.
I
Kronos,
actually,
Kronos might be a hot item.
I'll give you my single qualm with this, and this is something that's very near and dear to me. And I don't think Ziggy's even still in channel anymore. But so Ziggy's been flying a Kronos a lot lately. I've been flying a trusty Vargur for the last few months. Vargur's got a great application range between like hail and barrage or whatever. And the Kronos is really it shines up close. It can't project to long range, which I respect because I think that there's a certain tool for each job, and so we work together a lot. But like if it's a long range target, he does kind of get shafted. I don't love the idea that every Marauder needs to be capable of being a really good long range Marauder. I do like that there's like a little bit of specialty currently. I'm sure it'll be fine. Like I'm not gonna lose any sleep over this. I'm just saying that it was kind of nice that some ships have a super specialty. Like his Kronos is a beast up close. He just can't do anything at range. Well, I may not be nearly as much of a beast up close in the Vargur, but I can reach out for quite a while. Things like
Right,
that, or
and
even
that-
like with the Golem and.
Because that's what I don't know if Rail Kronos, but I mean, because Kronos is usually Blaster, right? Because you want to get on top and get that web.
That's what I'm
bonus, right?
saying. Like I'm sure we'll see some applications of it, but like I did like that there was a little bit of different specialties depending on which race you were going.
Yeah. But
If you
I don't
see
know. Maybe
Kronos, you're not
just
assuming he's gonna
go
try
with
to
the Kronos
snipe
and just go with the
things.
rails because I mean Kronos could be tanked up to shit in Bastion mode and like
Oh, Ziggy is.
What's wrong with the Golem? Can't we use that one?
Oh,
I mean,
you know what's wrong
you
with the
can.
Golem.
I mean, well, Fleabag was saying like missiles should have a
See,
longer
Ziggy
range.
loves
Like there are
Golems.
some ships that have. I mean, Navy Raven, Serb has really long ass missile range. I mean, you can get a Serb
So here's the thing, Drake.
shooting up to like almost 200 kilometers with.
You remember that in this last year they did the hack nerfs or balancing pass when they did the Munin changes and everything like that. Serbs can't. As far as I know, anyway, Serbs are not those snipey boats that they once were. I think.
Well,
they can
no,
still snipe
and the thing is, like, it
at
takes a
about the
lot.
same
The problem with missiles going out that far is with the
travel
speed
time.
of missiles. It's like it takes a long time for your damage to apply, and oftentimes you will get you'll overshoot, right? Because like you're like, oh, we gotta shoot this guy. Like he'll die, and you've already launched like 2 or 3 volleys after that. So like you've wasted cycle time after a person that like it's weird because yeah, the damage application is very delayed.
Sure.
And also you have smart bomb wall, like firewalls or whatever people call them. Yeah,
We're not
like,
seeing a ton of that anymore, though.
yeah,
That's a kind of
and like they
finesse
did change the
tactic that I
defender
don't
missiles,
think we
but like
see
I
much
don't think defenders are like no one's gonna be. You're not gonna stop if a whole fleet of long range missile ships are shooting. Like defender missiles aren't gonna do anything
Do
unless
defender
your
missiles
entire
work
fleet is
against
just.
missiles
Not,
as well as bombs.
I thought so, don't they?
Possibly.
again?
Don't
I always
defender
thought they
missiles
were
work
mainly
against
for
other missiles, or
bombs,
is it
but-
only bombs?
but I never.
Bomb.
Really
I think
flew with
bombs
them
is the
much.
only thing
Bombs,
that people.
just bombs, and not Citadel bombs either. Just bombs.
Oh, just bombs.
Okay.
Okay. The old.
I appreciate you guys
didn't
being
the,
here.
didn't
Dude.
the
Drayden doesn't even
old
play
US
this game.
Defender missiles, like before they changed them, didn't those work against other missiles? I feel like they did.
Think so.
I
I
don't
think
think
so.
so.
I feel like they did, but that was
Dude,
back when Defender missiles were
long
shit because
time
it's like
ago.
you had to go
Different.
1-to-1, and so it's like unless if you had a fleet of missile ships,
Right.
unless your entire fleet was nothing but Defender missiles, you weren't gonna.
You're like mitigating damage.
Yeah, you would
maybe.
have to essentially fit your entire fleet to just make it a wash, which is stupid. So I think that's why they changed them to just be bombs. But yeah, so
Which is helpful.
I feel
Which is
like, but
nice.
yeah,
I do
with
like
the
them,
with the
yeah.
firewalls, I feel like missile ships are
I'm just saying I don't think you see it as much anymore.
in
It's a
small game
little
PvP.
finessey.
There's a lot of times people aren't prepped for that, but in larger fleet fights, like in nullsec and stuff, you do
It
have.
might still be happening.
I mean, if they know that you're bringing a missile doctrine, it's they may bring some smart bombing ships just to firewall you out. So
I agree. They probably would.
0 point mass entangler. What the fuck is that?
Okay, I
That's
thank
what I'm
God I'm not the
curious.
only one who.
What the hell is that? Is that something that's
Was
been
that
in the
thing
game, or
where
is
you
that
make them
something that's new?
small to fit through wormholes?
Something that was inherited from the older Hick modules. I don't-
Oh! This
it's
is
a
that-
rig.
yeah, this is a thing that lets you roll holes faster. Like you don't have to
Something like that,
doing
right?
it with capitals. You can fit this on a sub cap, and it will
Oh, it's not a rig,
massively
never mind.
increase
I think
its
it's only
mass.
on a hit.
Only on a
I
hit.
do remember this now. Yeah, it
Yeah,
made the Hick
the-
really,
okay.
really
I'm
big.
probably wrong,
for-
but I
no,
Yeah.
you're right. It made Hicks really, really big.
Yeah. So
Because
you can
there
so you
used
can
to
roll holes in a
be-
cheaper ship than having
It
a
used to
capital.
be, yeah, it used to be with Hicks.
Is it the
You would
opposite with
use like
Hick?
the actual bubble module itself because you could activate it right before you went through, and it added mass. And so they took away the ability for that specific the bubble module to be able to do that, but they added this other module to the Hick that
Mm.
added the same kind of functionality.
Okay, so it's a fair thing.
Yeah. Which is nice for like wormholes that are too small to have capitals in. So
Still, fuck trying to roll with frig hole.
It's a fuck
Yeah.
train.
well, yeah, 'cause-
Rolling frig holes is annoying.
Did you call it a fuck train? Is that what you said?
Oh, I said fuck trying to roll them.
Oh,
I mean, you
I'm
could.
gonna call it fuck trains
I
from
think
now on.
fuck train works.
I think
That
it
wor-
does
I mean,
too. Fuck
Wait, what are we
trains, God.
what are we
Works for
using that
many
as
things.
slang for?
Everything.
Just I mean,
rolling hole?
any-
No, rolling holes.
Yeah, rolling holes.
Join
on-
the fuck train. We're gonna go
yeah,
roll
yeah.
some holes.
We're gonna
baby.
go roll some holes on our fuck train and
Stick your shit right in the hole. Let's go in a fuck train.
Ah, damn, the hole collapsed on me.
You know what's bad is
Hate
I've
when that-
seen
hate when
You
that
go the other
happens.
hole.
what's bad is I've seen grinder profiles with more direct statements than that in their profile name.
Called fuck train?
Oh my god.
You know somebody called fuck train. Are you serious?
What?
What?
What I said?
Choo
What I
choo,
heard, sorry.
bitches.
What's Daw's name again? I don't know. What is my name?
it's fuck train. Are you gonna?
No.
Are we starting
That's
this?
fuck mountain.
I don't
That's what
know.
you're supposed to call me.
Tamber did it. Now I'm
Oh
distracted.
yeah.
What did he do? What did Damber do?
Oh shit! He's taking my money. Fuck my OC coins.
Good job, Ackroth. You know what? Let's drink this. Somebody who did something. Bam.
Yeah. All right. So what's the next thing
I'm
down
so
here?
low.
We
I used to
got-
be the king of this hill. I want you to know.
Fuck
Yeah.
your hill. It's not.
Yeah.
Even, it's not even a
Drayden's
mountain.
in the
Oh.
top spot, I'm pretty sure,
I
for
think
like
I
9
won
months now.
I won like half a dozen all-ins and just got very rich very quickly.
I'm actually.
I
I
got
just
to an
pulled
area
up-
that's very unassailable.
Yeah, like I had like
Well,
30
I
or
just pulled up
40,000
the
all in
leaderboard.
someone, then all in someone, then all in. Like before I knew it, I was at like 400,000. I'm like, fuck, I'm on the top. I'm Jeff Bezos now.
And now we're
Drayden
serfs.
has 390,510 points, and number 2, who is Commander Brute, who the fuck is that, has 101,750, followed by Dominarch in
Woo.
third.
Would it be done?
Yeah, because I don't fight anybody. I hoard my points.
Fuck.
Hey, pacifism is respectable, bro.
I'm like
fucking coward.
My luck is
Switzerland.
gone. So now we're getting to the home front shit.
Okay, let's go.
This was the other thing that is going to be coming out with. It's going to be in the air thing, which is it's funny because like it seems like they're not using the agency for everything like they used to. Now they're really pushing this air.
Is air not an offshoot of agency? Like
It's an
Sky
offshoot, but it's a
Data?
separate window. It's a separate thing you
Like a
open up.
separate
Yeah,
UI
so
kind of
it's so it's like you have the agency and air now, so they're two different things. So you go into air, and the home front thing, I think it's high sec only, but there's different, essentially, mission. They're like little mission. They're not quite like a mission. They're kind of like an anomaly almost, but they're designed for, I think they said like 5 to 6 people, and you go into the air thing and you can find groups. It's essentially like there's going to be a group finder, I'm assuming, of some kind, where you can find a group, get into a fleet, and go and do these missions. So it's a way for people to just not have to be in a corporation, not have to know people, just kind of queue up. It's like, WoW with like just Dungeon Finder, something where you just queue up with random people, go do these things, run it, make some money. And
I would love to see how their queue is going to work.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the
people
specifics on
closer
how
to-
that's going to work, but
yeah.
it's kind of cool that it's a way for people to just get in these things. It's like an instant action, not instant action, but it's a way for them to, get into a group and fly some stuff with people that they, it can get their toe in the door. And then maybe they go, the idea that CCP wants for this is that you get into the fleet, maybe you click with the people in there, it worked really well, and you're like, oh cool, let's run another one. And then maybe you end up joining these people's corporation. Like, hey, we have a corp if you want to join. So that helps with new pilots, but also just people in high sec. This is like an easy way for them to just not have to run missions by themselves. They can run and do these things with other people, and it's quick and easy to get into them.
Here's
Is this
one
like
issue- here's one
NPSI
issue with this.
PVE?
It's PVE, like kind of NPSI,
Like
but
NPSI, like
yeah,
but even
it's
less
like
formal?
except for not purple shoot. It's essentially, it's like an NPSI style thing where it's a pickup
like
group.
public available.
Yeah, it's like
The
a public
one big
pickup group
limiter-
where you go in PVE in high sec.
The
with them.
one big limiter to all of
Which
this
got done.
is the fact that they've, and I know it's a long time ago, but they took out in-game voice. It's going to be hard to join a group with people and perform any
with
of these
Discord
tasks.
nowadays.
Well, but you're joining people you don't know. is my
Yeah,
point, right?
there is still like
There's
an
gonna be
onus
some-
for somebody to be like, I have a server or something.
Sure.
Yeah.
Somebody
But
actually
that's not
organized.
in the game, right?
Right.
That's
No,
still
I
No.
agree with you there.
outside the
That
game.
would be a-
This is the
a
one
boon.
you
limiter.
can
I
also
see
just
with
run on
this.
broadcasts and stuff too, though.
Well, yeah,
Like-
you're gonna have to do that.
and
You have to have
there's
chatting.
fleet
Talking
chat.
text.
There's also
maybe
fleet chat. So
maybe they're planning on adding in-game chat again.
I doubt it.
Why
'cause
would they
that's
have
a
that?
pretty
They can't even keep local working.
well, that's
Here's-
a pretty big.
Maybe
load-
that's
a
why local hasn't been working.
It's a
They've been
pretty
working
big
on that.
load on their servers that's unnecessary because no one really
It's
used it.
necessary now.
Here's the thing,
They
though. It's
changed
not
it
on
to
their
make it necessary.
servers anymore. It's on AWS. So, granted, yes, local has had issues, and,
Oh, that's right, yes,
that is what it is. But like, if they already bifurcated the chat server, what if they bifurcate the voice server too? Just run
Yeah,
that
but
shit
I
on
mean, the thing is, like,
AWS or whatever.
The
It's not
reason-
going to affect us that we use Discord or TeamSpeak or.
But it's not just
Mumble
us, because I
or
mean,
et
when they
cetera.
looked at it, the reason they got rid of the in-game voice servers is because 95% of people didn't use it.
They didn't have stuff where people were trying to collaborate with just randos and
Correct.
HiSec.
True.
I'm just
terrain
saying.
has
I'm not
changed, right?
saying
Yeah.
it's a huge like effort they should put into it, but it would make a lot of sense in that sense because there are some people who play this game very casually, but would do little pickup matches like you said.
Yeah, and voice.
I
I mean, they
don't know.
might. I don't know. It's
If-
Well,
if
maybe
it's not
maybe
put
they'll
into
do a
actual-
Discord.
If it's not put in an actual draw on the main servers anymore, which as far as I gather, they figured out how to bifurcate those systems. I don't see why it would be a big deal to just tick the box again and be like, hey, this runs.
I was
through
being conservative,
AWS
Kate.
too.
Uh,
It's probably a terrible
But,
idea.
I
Don't waste
mean,
any
that-
effort on CCP. I'm sorry.
it's hard to say, but I mean, you can get by with broadcast and just typing in the fleet chat too. Like I'm
That's fair.
sure because these things are designed to last 15 minutes or so. So it's like getting a whole server and everything set up just to do a quick run on an anomaly. That's probably just a cut and dry, like just get it done and run it. I'm sure you could just handle it with in-game like fleet chat and broadcast, but
Why do you got to be like that?
I'm just
This
being
is-
practical.
this is
like
aimed at
it's
new
like
people,
designing
right?
a
We wanna
super
keep these new
expensive
people. This
system
is-
of in-game voice chat for this thing that people probably don't need it for. I don't know.
I don't know. This to me seems like the right move for new player experience. This is the
Yeah.
right move. Now you don't limit it to like, oh, I'd love to be able to do this, but every time I do, 3 people are talking together and I get left out, right? Don't limit it to that. This is a move. They got to be careful here.
Yeah, the cool thing that so there's I think there's like 5 or 6 different things that this Homefront thing does, which is cool because especially for again this is high sec stuff, so it could be newer players or it could just be people in high sec running missions. But the nice thing is that some of these missions are designed to like it's almost like they're designed to kind of teach core fleet skills to people. So some of the different missions, like one is like where you got to keep a ship repped up and fight off attackers of it. So you get some logi experience with that. There's another one where you have to point, like tackle and point enemy ships and keep them from escaping from something. So now you're getting tackle experience. So it's like there's all these different missions that are teaching fleet skills.
And this is also one of their efforts.
So
that
it's
they
kinda
said they're
neat.
going to be doing of trying to get people to join groups, right? They said that's one of their goals, right? To get everybody talking to each other. This might be a move that way too. Here, putting you together. Now you guys need to figure out how to talk to each other.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's kind of neat that it's not just here's some anomalies of rats, shoot them. It's like here's this specific instance and you're gonna have to do this objective to win it type of thing. So it has goal driven stuff and can help enhance new player skills.
And all
if
of them
they-
are
if they do
different
these
stuff.
things. So-
It's not just straight combat. I mean, if you read the description of them, some of them you're boosting people, some you're stopping people from getting E-word.
Yeah,
Very cool.
and then
Very
newbies
cool.
got a point. I hope people don't do that, but you know what? I bet there will be people that do that. Get these new players in the fleets and then trick them into turning their safeties off and get them to do
that'll
something.
happen.
Get them to do something stupid and then blow them up and steal their shit. But I mean, if you're doing that to new players that probably don't have it, like
You're a
they're-
jerk anyway.
if
right?
if they're a brand new player, they don't. It's not like they're flying expensive shit. They're gonna be flying some Tech 1 destroyer or cruiser with like benefits. If you're that shitty that you gotta like trick someone into blowing up their 20 million-isk ship to steal their like 1 million-isk of loot, you're a dick.
Well,
So-
yeah, but there's a lot of them out there.
yeah, people will do that, but I hope that it's rare. I hope it's just people run these things to just make some money and group up. I think it's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I didn't know that about alphas either. I'm glad that's a thing. That alphas can't change their status in HiSec.
Oh, okay.
That's good. That's a protection, right?
Well, it's actually not just that. It keeps people from just making burner high-set ganking ults.
Suicide alts.
Yeah, suicide alts that can just not give a fuck about TOS, get their account banned, and make another one, and just
It's a
break.
good protection for.
Yeah,
other
so
people.
it's fine. Ecosystem industry changes. Oh, right. This is actually, dude. There's a lot. Holy shit, LB is missing out. Did anyone tell LB he's missing out tonight?
And I'm going to point out something amazing. We've been pretty much talking about Eve for an hour and a half, almost.
I
Probably
know,
hour,
because
an
they've
hour
got
and
some
15
good
There
minutes.
was
shit.
a there was a lot of stuff tonight. Where did Red
Fuck
Light
yeah.
go?
Be bored the
He
shit
said,
out of
"Fuck
it.
y'all."
Oh,
Went back to the Laker,
my
whatever he was
guess.
doing
I
up
mean,
in Michigan.
I'm
Sorry,
Pretty
up
sure
in-
we're not very excited.
but yeah. So I didn't even read through all these industry changes. I did see a few of them. So when it comes to productions, like it's not going to take into account anymore the status of the system, the industry index. I don't think, or something. It's going to ignore all that now. And there was also
Completely?
some hidden stuff. Like there was like that hidden index number that was
based on the fact that they had a faction fort or not,
yeah. That's
or
That's
you
all
know,
gone.
The stations that became faction.
yeah, that's gone. That's going to be
Yeah.
out of there. So I think
Scrolling
it's all
down
going to
the
be.
side. So you skipped over blueprint changes, I assume, which most of you guys.
Blueprint. No, I haven't got there yet. I'm on ecosystem and industry changes. Blueprint change. That's where we're at. So
Whoa, wait a tick, real quick.
Huh.
Jump freighters already required certain input materials when building the Tech 1 freighters. We're removing them to both lower the cost of jump freighters and lower the demand.
Yeah,
for these
yeah.
items, so they're more...
You no longer need a freighter to build a jump freighter.
Is that what that's saying though?
Read it again. Where are you seeing this?
no. I think they're removing some of the cost of
I think
production.
they're removing some of the things from the Tech 1 freighter.
Yeah,
build
they're
to
removing
lower
some
the
of
cost
the
overall build.
like they're removing
Not the
UC
Tech 1
trigger
asset.
Neuralink conduits. They're removing the auto integrity. They're removing the Tech 2 components that you get from like wormholes and shit.
Yeah, that's how I'm taking it. I don't think they're removing the Tech 1 input.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
it's like it's all the like stuff that you get
I'm
from
reading
like
it. No, you're right. It tells
wormhole
exactly
gas,
what
like
they're
the
removing.
wormhole shit and like the gas.
Because you're
which
already using
stuff-
those on the other one, right?
And
That's why.
this honestly,
should
this
lower
really
the-
needs to happen. They need to make the freighters cheaper. So a Providence in Jita right now is 3.2 billion.
What the fuck,
Freighters
dude?
have gotten silly
Oh
expensive.
man,
It's
last time I was
stupid.
even fucking around like 2 or 3 years ago. fuck,
Especially since
they were
you're
like
about to
a
jump
bit,
freighters.
like 1.2 billion. That's what I was saying. I was like, oh man, my arc was gone. I was thinking, I was like, I could maybe sell it for like 8 billion, and then people were like, no, that shit's worth like 13 billion now. I'm like, what the fuck? No, I really. Oh,
And
I got a thing back on my ticket about the arc.
Oh, what'd they say?
They said they couldn't find it. Is there any way? they're like, we couldn't find you destroying it or anything. And I was like, well, here's the characters on my other account. Did they do anything with it? and we'll see what
Is
happens.
it possible you didn't have one, sir?
I know I had one. I just don't. I don't remember selling it, but maybe I did. And I don't remember destroying it, but maybe I did. But he's also like, if you could give us a better time frame, that would really help. I'm like, I don't know, man. It was a long time ago, so I might just not get it back. It's fine.
I would actually
Dude, you're
write
gonna be
them
rich in
back
no
and
time.
apologize.
Well, I did. I told him at the end, I'm like, hey man, like if you could just check these other characters real fast and see if they did something with it, that'd be cool. But if I don't get it, I don't get it. That's fine. I know it was a long time ago, and
Did you tell them you're a highly known member of the streaming community,
no.
and that not
You're a
only do
big
you know
deal, Jordan.
Matterall,
Can I
but
just
you also
get-
know Matani.
That's
And
not. I wouldn't
Pornstar
use that as clout these days.
Well, yeah, I know. I just thought it was funny. Based on the whole Matterall,
Yeah,
and the Matani thing, I was
got
like, but
the-
you're 2 degrees removed.
I got the I'm friends with Matterall sticker on my computer still.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but that just means that your computer is friends with Matterall, not you.
Good
Oh, that's
point.
a good point.
Yeah. I probably won't get it back, but that's fair.
Matterall
'cause
seems like a guy who's nice
I tried
to
looking
you,
back, and
so-
it's like my contract history and my market history only goes back like 2 or 3 months, right? Unless you go and
Well,
parse
but
it through
see-
some other third party program. And it's like this was like a year and a half
That's
ago.
my hope. Is their end is the actual fucking servers and database. Like,
Well,
they've
they
got-
have the full logs. They can look back through,
potentially
but
they have logs, right? Like, we don't know for sure. That
I
they
was
don't
just
purge every
hoping
now
they
and then
could
to
just
free
do
up
a
memory
search,
or
like
whatever.
search for Arc and see all interactions with Arc that my characters had, because it would be
Sure.
like, what's the most recent one? Because that's the last thing that person did with it.
That
which would
sounds
be,
way more difficult than you think, dude.
I know, but
Look, I don't deal
That
with
sounds awful,
databases.
actually.
but yeah.
Can we go back to the ecosystem?
Yeah,
I wanna point
yeah.
something out.
Sure.
This is a huge one that kind of pisses me off because I've suffered under it, but it makes me happy because now I can take advantage of it. The reduced volume for the capital ship components. That's
Yep, yep,
fantastic.
Yeah.
From 10 grand to 2,000. Fuck, that's huge.
Dude, you could
That's
haul that shit
huge.
around in like
Back,
a.
red line.
You could haul that around in a Teyra.
Hey, thanks.
So you could use 2 different systems now to game cost index if you were so organized. That encourages something like that. But also,
Hey, Rhythm.
there's a few items in the market and in the ecosystem that don't often get hauled to JITA. And won't have a respectable proper value in JITA based on that. And one of those is capital components, and the other one, in my opinion, is structure components. Neither
Yeah.
of those weigh a reasonable enough amount to build them and haul them to JITA. You either buy them as ingredients or you buy them as a finished product. Like that's what I've seen for years and years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's outliers for everything, but you know what I'm saying? Like it's by and large, that's the way those operate. This might actually like encourage a market for them, which is kind of interesting because I've had plenty of people post in, an Eve Appraisal or a Janus or whatever your local appraisal app is, that they'll try to do, a sale of some sort. And if it's things like capital components, you're like, well, between the logistics of moving them from where the fuck that is to here, and the fact that they're not priced correctly if they're using a JITA based pricing because people don't haul them to JITA. So the price was always real skewed.
Oh, shit. I didn't think of that.
You know what I'm saying? It was
Yeah,
almost like
yeah.
market manipulation, but it wasn't intentional. Well, for the most part, it wasn't intentional. It was just the market was never represented correctly because people didn't create a healthy market there because nobody hauled huge capital
Oh, no, it
components
makes
there because you
complete
can't
sense,
you can't build them in JITA
Hmm.
necessarily anyway.
I got a
PI.
bunch of capital parts trapped because of a fucking, what's that called? What's that called? Something safety. Fuck, I'm drunk.
Asset safety.
Asset safety. There
Yeah.
you go. Now I'll be able to go get them, right? Because otherwise it was nightmare because they're in not a very
PI
good spot.
volume of PI reduced 50%. That's nice.
Some of the PIs
That seems
is
huge.
very, very heavy.
That's-
Some of
that
it's
is
not, right?
huge.
the
that
lower,
seems
yeah. I feel like the lower end it is like P1. That takes up a lot of room, especially P0.
It
The
all is
higher
heavy.
up, yeah. I mean, it's all heavy, but like
It's all heavy.
the higher up you go, the less space it takes.
Sort of. I mean, you're building it into
Each
smaller
tier
and
goes
smaller
down.
I mean,
packages.
if you have
but
like
it
a
still takes up
if
a
you do like a
fucking
3-day cycle of P1 material, it's gonna take up way more space than a 3-day cycle of P2 materials. But
Either way, it's
Sure.
a big chain.
It's
PI
a
is
big
very
change.
heavy.
Yeah.
And I think this is healthy because they've added PI to so many recipes in the last couple of years.
yeah,
It
Yeah,
used to be
and
just
the
in a
size
few
of it
things,
is
mostly
actually
like
a-
structures and stuff like
which
that.
I kind of
Now
like
it's
because
in
it
so many
actually it's
recipes.
brought up the cost of PI, which I mean that
I
makes
agree
ships
with-
it makes ships more expensive, and other things more expensive, but it does
Provide
make
income for
PI
people.
actually worth doing even in high sec. I mean,
Right.
if you have
Anything
max.
that adds value to PI, I agree with.
I mean,
I
if
don't
you
do
have
it
command center
currently.
upgrades 5 and 6 planets in high sec, even in high sec, you can make a quarter bill a month with one character on that. Just doing
I
P1, just doing P1 materials. Like,
I respect anything that adds value to something that a newbie could easily get into, which I think PI is one of the more approachable things. I wouldn't encourage people to go out and set up PI in high sec necessarily or anything.
It's
But
not very
I did with
lucrative,
my
but
alts.
as you're
but it's
new,
like
you should go ahead and
exploration and
start, yeah.
PI, in my opinion, are two very newbie friendly if they so choose directions. And adding value to PI, I agree with.
It
Yeah.
is really not a passive income because you do have to work it.
It's
right?
it's low
And
effort
it's not.
though.
It's,
It's
low
very
effort.
low
It's
effort.
low effort, but it's not completely.
It's
passive.
like
Set it and
every.
forget
Like,
it.
I mean, like
Depending on your setup.
because like my non-alliance alts that just they used to be industrial sinos, but now that I don't have a jump freighter, they don't do anything. They just sit there and do nothing.
What happened to your
So.
jump freighter? I'm kidding.
Wow,
so
man.
they're
Too
just
soon.
yeah they're
That
just
was
sitting in
cool.
high
Also-
sec. So I just
Shut.
had them set up some planets. And it's like the four of them just sit there and do, and like high sec planets don't have much on them, but you could do just P1 production, just mine this, produce this, and I mean
It'll sell.
it's like
will.
I said, it's
Yeah,
about a
but
quarter
nothing else,
billion.
it's more
It's about a
likely
quarter,
to now.
quarter billion a month per character. So like all four of them, it's about a billion a month. And all I have to do is like every 3 days log in, restart my things, and then like once a week go
Oh,
pick
yeah.
up the materials. But now that the materials are gonna be 50% less volume, now
might
I
be able
probably
to
only
fit
have to
more
go
You
like
just
every.
lost about
Launch pads or
three
whatever.
quarters of the player base because you said log in.
Well, I'm just saying like
Oh, shit.
now I'm only gonna have to move or go and pick up the stuff every 2 weeks. So it's like go pick it up
you still
twice a
have to-
month. And
but if you do
set
a-
a thing every 3 days, like just like restart the extractors.
You still have to
every 3
restart them.
days.
Yeah, okay. Because I was
But
saying
that's
you-
easy.
you
I
do
mean,
the-
you rarely have to move the nodes very much. I mean, most of the time you're just like you might tweak a few of them. But if you're trying to like really min max your PI, then you do have to move them around. But like I'm just like fuck it, just start a new cycle. If it doesn't make quite enough, and some of my industry
That's
things
a good
are
point.
running empty every so often, whatever. Fuck it.
Well, trading, if it's half as heavy, then yeah, just run it for twice as long now. Run it 6 day cycles.
Well, but you get less per cycle the longer you have the nodes set. So I have it set to like 3 days is
That's what I was
nice.
just gonna
But the
ask.
thing's
You
like
get
I'm
less per cycle. If you
I'm
have it,
logging
like,
in every
way out there?
day, so it's
Yeah.
like I just
shorter the better.
I'm logging in every day, and it takes like literally like 2 minutes on each alt like twice a week, 2 or 3
That's
minutes
good.
each,
That's good.
like, to go
But like
do
you said,
that.
now you don't have to do the hauling as often. which
Right,
is awesome.
and then like yeah, I'm basically having to haul it once a week, but now I can haul it every other week if this gets reduced by half. So that
I
makes
think we're
even
going to see
less.
a
That
big
makes it
uptick
even
of
less
people
effort.
doing it.
And you can haul more at a time to Cheetah. 'Cause
I will say that's-
I'm like just a few jumps from Cheetah where I'm doing all my planet shit. So it's like it's a quick jaunt over, and you just like take your what are they it's not the Miasmos. What's the fucking PI one?
Epithel.
Yeah, you just take your Epithel and just haul it, and I mean they're starter school alts, and no one's gonna just tornado gank an Epithel on the gate. Hopefully,
Full of wet wares? Absolutely, they will.
well, no, full of like
full wet wares.
no, it'd just be like full of oxygen
I'm
and
kidding.
water and plasmoids and
Some
shit like
P1
that.
shit.
Yeah, a bunch of that. No one's gonna do that.
So, I have a hope that this will cause an uptick in people doing PI because I think it's kind of lowering some of the stress of it a little bit. But I also think that it's the whole total of what the change, it's likely to drive PI prices down a little bit for anybody is actively doing PI. I think there is a chance that it drops in value a little bit because it becomes more accessible and a little bit easier to do quality of life wise. But I think you're going to see, I don't know. I think volume wise it'll probably
Whoops.
turn out fine.
What'd you do?
I was typing. I could just answer. Midland Tark. As of right now, no, you cannot remote take stuff out of asset safety. You have to go to where the asset safety can is and then drag the stuff to your
And I hope they
hangar
don't ever
and then
change
pay
that.
for it. So you can
Yeah.
see what's
that's
there.
what
You can see what is where in asset safety search, but to get it actually out of asset safety, you have to go there.
Oh, that reminds me, I have some stuff in SS Safety that comes out tonight. Boss came and shot one of
Well,
our like
so
Astros
okay,
in Aurora.
Militant Arc. Is your complaint about Masaba that you die when you go there?
Whoa. That's not in the Mars space, right?
It is. Yeah, it's right.
Like
it's-
domain or
It's literally one jump out of Pravi.
You still live in Pravi?
Ish.
Why?
I know
Why not?
Trooper. I've had the same problem before.
I like
What I
living
usually do is
in
I'll just go
Provi.
out,
I
just take a
like
day, take a
Provincetown.
shuttle, go bring it back into the station, then destroy it because it's usually in such a fucked place that I can't get it out anyway.
Does
I'm not,
Provi
like
still
the
do
I'm
the
not
loose
selling it
nerds?
to people for like, yeah.
Provi's like the Wild West.
Well, I was saying, like, does Provi still do the nerd stuff, or is that like
No,
back?
No.
that's
That's a
we,
back in the past.
we took that out back behind the barn and shot it in the
Okay,
face.
I was
I
like,
heard
that
it's coming
that,
back.
that,
No,
I heard it's
Yeller,
coming back.
no.
that was an old CVA thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which CVA last I saw was trying to make a resurgence with Try a little bit, which
Yeah,
kind of
it's
seemed
like,
like,
is
like a cool little pairing. I don't know what the
So-
I don't
fuck
even
they're
know.
doing
I don't even know
lately.
who's in
I
Provi.
wanna-
Is Severance still down there? They're not there anymore.
No,
Are they?
they've
I haven't seen
Yeah.
a ton
they're
of them.
gone.
They do a
So,
little bit of roaming.
Red Alliance is in Provi, I think.
Militant Art, the thing that you're complaining about there is about how like there's other players that are there that are making it difficult for you to go and get stuff out of asset safety. That is actually the entire reason why the mechanic works the way it does now, where you have to put in some amount of effort to go in and try to get your stuff out. Because yes, I get it, it's frustrating, but like there are ways to get stuff out of there. For example, like, go if you're able to right after downtime or right before downtime in a few minutes, make a bookmark that's an instant warp on the Masaba station, like within the docking radius, and like you're able to get stuff. If you can do that and sacrifice a Sino ship to get a jump freighter or something in, and then undock,
They're
jump
gonna
out.
get you jump
There,
there, bro.
no, well, you've got 10 seconds of invulnerability when you undock and you're in low sec, so no bubbles. So like as long as you know how to do it, which is literally undock, press nothing other than jump, they cannot grab you.
Is Misaba one jump from high sec though?
Well, I mean, you
Or do you have
can't
to
let
go
someone
through
right
multiple
there,
low
but-
sec systems? That's probably the issues.
Well,
I think it's a border system.
I mean, you got to know how to get around low sec to get stuff out of
well,
asset
right,
safety
I
in
know,
low
but like,
sec,
yeah, that's probably the hardest part about asset safety is it's like, okay, well,
I just
got
well,
my
but-
stuff, but now I gotta like what
Here's
take
the
it through
thing,
3
just
jumps of
sell
low
it.
sec, and it's like, okay,
well,
Just
so
sell your shit.
I've got stuff. I've gotten stuff out of Misaba myself, so like I've dealt with the same frustrations that you have. I don't have to deal with them now because I'm currently.
If you
with
have
people
2
that live there,
accounts-
but that's another thing.
yeah, if you have 2 accounts, scouting if you're taking shit in a hauler or something,
So Trooper, I don't know if you caught that.
scout it
but
out
Skyhawk just said
with a
he's
shuttle.
the one fucking with you.
Just scout it with a shuttle, and if you
No,
like jump
my-
through and there's
I
no
just
gate cable on
killed
the
the
other side,
guys
just
that
jump your
You
hauler
were
through,
through to him.
and then just immediately go
Well-
to a station on the other side, and then just do that gate to gate until you can get through. But
Thank you,
and that's the
Rainbow.
thing. If you have a bunch of ships, I mean, you can flight ship one by one. I think sometimes it's like cut your losses and go if you have a bunch of fitted ships. Strip the fittings, repackage them, scrap the rigs, and then just toss them in a shuttle, like
Oh,
or not a shuttle, not a shuttle. I mean a hauler. Just put a interdiction nullifier and a warp core stab on the hauler and take it up as best you can and scout it with a shuttle if you have one. If you have another
Sell
count,
your
just
shit.
scout it and just
So,
like hope for the
the-
best going through the gates.
The 2 ways
Take
that
an
you can-
appraisal
there
of
are
all
two
your
Undone.
ways-
shit,
Self-destruct.
There, I'm gonna
hack off about
sees you fucking
30%,
all right. So
put
there
it
are
on
2
contracts,
ways.
and advertise the fact that it is under buy, and just say I'm walking away from it.
That's
Just
what I do
sell
with a lot
your
of my
shit
stuff.
and buy new shit somewhere else.
Go ahead,
There,
Scott.
there are 2 actual ways with mechanics in the game where you can get your stuff out of Masaba Station or any other station in low sec without issue. First way is like what I was describing before, where in advance get yourself a
What happened?
bookmark where you can warp
Insta
in
dock.
and light a Sino
And
for an
insta dock.
instant dock. Yeah, you just need an instant dock bookmark. You're gonna lose the Sino most likely, but that's the price of getting your shit out of there. Then when you undock with your jump freighter, you don't press anything other than jump and make sure you jump out within 10 seconds. You'll be completely invulnerable for those 10 seconds. They can't grab you. The other way is to go in advance again in like a travel scepter or something and make yourself an instant undock bookmark below the station or whichever direction off the station undock you need to be depending on the station type, and make it like 3 4 5,000 kilometers out, something that's off grid, and then also with an instant dock bookmark you can sneak in and out of there with like a blockade runner, no problem.
There's
Yeah,
a lot of
there's
different
different ways to
ways
do
to
it.
skin a hair.
There always is
And-
also like what Zippo's
I don't
saying.
respect everybody's
I mean,
approach.
is Black
Half of them are gonna die. Maybe
is Black
3/4.
Frog still a thing? Are they still doing shit, or
Yeah.
is there? Yeah,
Red-
I mean, you can always
Is
like.
Red Frog still around? Because they were like the
Well,
only ones that were safe
yeah.
to use.
I thought
Everyone
Black
else
Frog was
Black
the
Frog,
JF
push
one, and Red Frog was the high sec.
But that's
That's right.
the big
Yeah,
one is
yeah.
Red Frog.
Yeah. So
I think
Bla-
Blue Frog would do low sec, and then Black
Oh.
Frog would
I-
do
I
some
forget
like
which
NPC
colors do
and
what.
That sounds
yeah,
right.
so-
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm probably wrong. It doesn't matter.
But
Yeah,
Blue
one
Sec
of
has
the
also the highest
one of the
value.
there are
frogs.
ways.
I don't actually
with
see color.
mechanics.
They're all
My
just frogs
point
to me.
though for Militant Trooper is there are ways with the mechanics to get it out of there. I promise you, and it's actually not that.
Unlucky.
bad.
What's up?
You just
Hey,
some
hey,
effort
hey.
is required, and you have to know what.
Millen, he's trying to bait you, dude. He
Yeah.
he hangs around with Rocket X and them.
What, man?
They get off on bait.
It's
people down
it's
at the
Ronald
second.
McDonald you need to worry about over there.
I'm gonna do a shot. Thanks for the raid. 47 coming in.
Yeah, I'm not-
Welcome to the
I'm
show,
being
guys.
Yeah,
serious.
sure, yeah. It's
Skyhawks,
good to
man,
Mr.
that's
Unlucky.
cool.
Got a
He's
battle
trying to bait
report.
you.
I was checking out Unlucky stream before the show.
I always did. too.
I missed they got in a fight and they killed a group of Ikiturses previously.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, they got what was it, like 6 or 7 of them or something like that? And
Okay.
and then like I was watching and they I was like getting some stuff set up and I look over at the screen, I'm like, oh, and there's just like I think they caught a Praxis not paying attention. Like a Praxis just like in a bubble off a gate, so they fucked him up. And then they caught a what was the thing on the Ansiplex? They caught something else there. Not a Vargur, but a Tempest maybe, or it was something. Myrmidon, that's right. It was a Myrmidon. Yeah, Myrmidon was on the Ansiplex. And the thing is, like, he could have got to the he burned in close enough and he could have jumped through, but he aggressed, so he got fucked. It's like, well,
Oh,
if you're gonna try and crash the gate, you can't shoot people at the same time. That's not a
immediately regret
that doesn't work
decision.
out. But you know, yeah. So they got him.
Wow.
You made an aggression time.
Why are you so happy about it? I think those are my allies. Come
well,
on.
probably.
What the hell? Maybe,
I-
you know
I
what?
heard-
I'm gonna drink to the loss
Tom,
of my allies tonight. There you
I
go.
heard that you told them which gate to go to. That I'm not gonna say who told me that, but I did hear that.
It was
Oh,
a-
I did.
oh
Like,
wow.
you pointed
12,
them in the direction of the is it a guillotine? Yeah.
12.5 bill in Nickies? What? Are they that expensive?
I told Unlucky or I
A
told
lot
the,
of
the
fucking
Green
Icky.
Fleet.
Triangle hacks.
Wow.
Oh,
'Cause I told them
uh,
both. I get bad influence
they-
to the Greens and, yeah.
well,
Maybe both.
wait, are they the no?
Yeah,
the,
hack
hack,
neutral.
the hacks are the Vedmax. What's the Ikitursa?
It's the
It's a
hack.
It's a triangle hack.
Vedmac is just a cruiser. They
Yeah,
can
it's
turn-
the-
Oh, okay. I
Vedmak
thought
is T1. Icky
Yeah, you can
is
turn
the-
scissors
Oh,
hack.
gotcha. Okay,
Triangle hack.
I thought the Vedmac had the assault damage. Okay, so yeah, they killed. And these are not cheap ones. They're the cheap ones are a
Ikitursis
bill,
are
and then
expensive,
there's
yeah.
like a half of them are fit up. It looks like over 2 bill fit. So
Oh,
Yeah,
wow,
Ickies are
yeah, yeah.
expensive.
Who's feeding?
very
them?
nice. Oh, I didn't see who it was.
Novak.
No, it was a fucking hell
Novak
of a
and
fight. And they
Peregrine.
went back and forth. There was no feeding.
Yeah, yep.
Mm.
Did it
Sounds
go
like
back and
something
forth?
someone who fed Ikiturses would say.
I wasn't there.
It
I
looks like
would've
it was
been,
Novak feeding some Mikaturses. I don't know if they. I don't know. It looks like they got caught pretty wholesale.
Yeah,
And
the-
all
I
the
think
way
I think
down.
the EOS was the only
I don't know
one
if
that
this was their total numbers.
the
that's all
EOS
I'm
is the only
saying.
thing that
Like,
lived
I
to
don't
tell the
know
tale, I
how many got out.
believe. So yeah, so I was gonna do a shot.
Yeah, what were we gonna do too?
Welcome back,
just
Redline.
shots
Let's
for
do
the
a shot
raid.
to that.
Hey, thanks. I'm glad to be back on the Open Com show talking about EVE Online.
Yeah, we actually
For
have been
almost
talking
2
about
hours
Eve
now.
all night. Can you believe it?
So it's
wish we had,
LB's
like,
fault.
an-
It's
And
So it's
weird.
LB and Manic are the ones that get us off track. What the fuck?
Oh,
We're
yeah.
the
No,
pros
El-
here.
That's a good point.
Anecdotal
I don't know,
evidence
Dom, you
proves.
do
Yeah,
a
I mean,
pretty good job
it
of
does
getting
help
us
that
off
we've had a
track.
lot of news coming in for Eve.
What
Yeah,
did you say
no,
bad
this
about me,
is-
Redline?
Yeah,
Not a
fuck those
thing. You're
guys.
perfect.
Pace
But
yourselves.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what though. Having a lot of news for EVE Online is really good because
It is
that
nice.
means that it might encourage people to come back and actually play the video game.
Yeah, like
think we're
me.
gonna play
That's
more
the other
Eve?
thing.
That means
It
all the
also
news
probably
is-
helps
is
that
for
I'm
the
actually
year
playing
as
Eve
well.
Online now instead of not playing Eve Online and trying to talk about it.
I don't believe you.
Are you just like undocked in space talking to your friends? logged
Dude, I
into
saw him
EVE
shoot something
Online?
just a couple of days
No,
ago.
no, no. I'm actually like going on fleets and then doing other shit. I'm like going on
Getting
fleets. doing-
fights?
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
I mean,
Nice.
I have not yet done much solo stuff, but I'm trying to ISK up. So I'm like, if I'm not on
Continue,
fleets, I'm trying to re-ISK up because the doctrines are expensive, and when you go out there with no ships and have to, I think I've spent like 18 billion in the last 2 weeks on ships, and so I'm trying to like ISK back up because I'm down to like 2 billion. I'm like, fuck, I
Well,
gotta,
no,
I
actually,
gotta get some,
wanna-
I gotta
wa-
get some crabbing in before I go and spend money on throwaway shit. So
Drayden, I know
want
you
to
haven't
call a
used it in a while.
shot.
Just sell your Jump Raider.
I would like to call a shot. I would like to call a shot to Drayden's kill board. He killed nearly. He
Oh,
was on
shit.
kill mails for nearly 10 billion ISK worth of shit last month, which is the most you've been on since October of 2020.
yeah, and the funny
Okay,
thing is, all those
okay.
kills, with the exception of, I think there's one fleet.
Pandemic.
I think there's one fleet where I was in a. Yeah, there's one fleet I was in a Redeemer, and then one fleet I was in a Legion. But other than that, all of those kills are like just Warrior 2s from my Logi ship. So
Hey, that's
Oh
a
yeah,
kill.
Drayden's
Boring
Logi,
health.
bro.
yeah, I'm like
See,
perma
that's why
Logi
Drayden's
pretty
so
much.
nice.
that's how you know true friends when they fly Logi frequently.
Well, it's just, I like Logi, and it's like,
Those
what
are
do
good
you?
people.
95% of fleets you go on, what do you hear? Guys, we need more Logi. Guys, we can't undock till we
Shut
get
up,
more
Redline.
Logi. So it's like I just like fuck it, I'll just get into Logi every time.
That's what they say in your fleets, right?
That's what I hear. Shut up, Redline.
Drayden,
Yeah,
you have
so-
a big heart, and that's why you fly Logi.
But
Know
it's
that
like
much.
Logi's. I think Logi's fun because I
Me
don't
too.
really care about my kill board, so I'm not worried about how many frags I got. I'm just. It's like I just like going on the fleets and having the fleet be successful. Like that's fun to me, and like the actual Logi, it's like it's more involved than lockup F1. Lockup F1.
It's a fun little mini game.
It's a
It's
bit
whack-a-mole.
more. Yeah, you gotta
Like
you
you're
gotta
trying
sit
to
there.
preempt things. You're trying to stay on top of things. You're trying to watch spatially and like, oh, it's,
Yeah,
it's
you
a
gotta
whole
find out
different
like
game.
who needs reps, and then sometimes it's like, okay, well they're splitting fire, so I gotta put 2 larges on this guy. I'll throw a medium on that guy, and then I got this this raptor that's flying around here that's taking some shots. I'll throw one over there. You know, it's like you gotta balance your reps. Then you also gotta watch
It's
your
true.
cap, unless you're in a cap
I'm the
stable
one in
ship.
the
But
Raptor.
generally,
Stop
scimitars
broadcasting for reps, NT.
scimitars tend to not be cap stable, but then other ones
Scimitars
are.
are cap stable. What do you mean?
Not
Oh,
if you,
scimitars are amazing.
I mean, if you fit it,
Are you
Your
like
scimitars
perma
are
I
cap
thought
cap on or
scimitars are the ones
You
that are
can-
cap stable.
you can fit. I mean, you can fit it to be cap stable, but I
Your
like
scimitar
it.
needs to be cap stable, Drayden.
I think
You
you get
like
a little
it
bit.
not cap
It's like if you
stable?
just
What the
manage your
fuck?
cap a little bit, you can get a better tank on there, which is better, I think. But I mean,
Wow,
like
not-
even
not
if
very
it's
much
even though it's not
confidence
it's
in
not
your fellow
even though it's
Logi,
not cap stable, it's like it's rare that you run out of cap on a scimitar. Like even with the
I love
MWD running
scimitar.
permanently, like I've fucking been in fights where it's like MWD on for like 5-6 minutes straight, and it's like still didn't even get below half cap because just. Also, it
I
helps.
like
Well,
It doesn't
and-
hurt that I have like a
and
million of those boosters from the login rewards where it's like, oh, what's this one? Oh, like 6%
I
cap
love
regen.
those
I'll fucking
boosters.
take it. I just pop those boosters because they're
dude,
just
it's
free.
so nice having just a big queue of boosters.
Yeah, it's just like shit. It's like, oh, what's this one? Like ship agility,
Make sure and just
shield
hit one of
rep
your random boosters before the
percent.
fight.
If
Sig-
you actually grab your login rewards every day, you're always going to have just a
yeah,
decent
you just got a ton of them. It's like you get like as soon as
Not
you pop
always.
most of it, it's like,
If
oh,
you
this is
PvP
boosters.
regularly, you run through.
Trust
them.
me, you can burn through
Oh,
those
yeah.
without
Yeah, you
trying,
run
'cause
through
I
them.
Yeah,
just do.
yeah. It's like
I
this
don't
one's
want them
booster
I've
slot
run out.
14. This one's
Well,
booster
I-
slot 5. All right, pop both of those in.
I'm
Why
They're
not?
select-
all over the map
I'm
on the slot.
I'm selective about when I actually burn them. Yeah.
You don't PvP. Don't lie to me.
Well, it's good. Yeah, exactly. I'm selective. It's only when I actually go in a fleet.
All right. We weren't done with this expansion thing.
That's right. We were talking
were
about
we
the
at?
ecosystem. PI commodities got reduced.
Whoops.
Now, next one down is the Yttrium. I don't know how
What
to
you
say that
doing,
word.
dude?
Ethereum?
Ethereum.
I don't know.
So
It's-
does
Asteroid
this
count
this
increased by
change
9%.
actually equate to okay? The
Tuesday?
isogen issue is not a problem anymore.
Okay, so I don't know what the isogen
Does
thing.
anyone
Like
know?
there was a bunch of people talking about. So Ethereum. That's where isogen's coming out of, right?
Correct.
I don't think
So-
And
that's going to
isogen's
be.
been the bottleneck for a
the-
while now.
Right. Well, they're
don't think that's gonna
increasing.
be the light.
They're increasing the asteroid count of those by 900%.
Yeah. So it's-
So that's gonna
Yeah, but-
drive
but the-
isogen prices down, which is gonna
but
make
the
ship
loss of
costs go way
isogen
down.
may have been 18,000%. I don't know. So you know what I mean? I don't know.
Well,
if this
but I
I
mean,
don't think this
regardless,
is going to
or
be
not.
the light switch.
this isn't gonna
think
fix
it
it,
is,
I guess.
Minecraft?
But this
It might
is
throttle it some.
this is definitely gonna drop the isogen price, though.
That's the thing is, how many people are out there mining Yttrium or whatever? That's
Well,
not a
no, everybody's
super
hitting the other
common thing.
one that has. more
Well, I
isogen
mean,
in
if
it.
isogen's that expensive, they will until it drops in
If
price.
they can find it, that's what I'm suggesting is that's not one of the super common ones. That's in, I think, maybe like the rare border systems or whatever. Am I wrong on that one?
I don't know. I don't know much.
Oh,
about
those blue ones. Yeah.
AO
Blue
Blue
Star
Stars
things.
maybe,
Yeah, I
but
know
I,
what you're talking about.
I do some like
they also add
casual
the-
weekend mining like once every 3 months maybe.
so they added the high sec to low sec or high sec to null sec drop off systems. There's rare belts in those systems as well. I think that might be kind of one of those things.
But
I think
and I'm
I think
tell
that is
you-
all the same thing, right?
to tell you the effect, I think they are estimating that like T1 dreads will be like 3 bill or less. I can't confirm
Currently
it.
about
Because
what?
of the,
Currently
because
about
of
what,
this
5?
change.
Not maybe
Four,
Or a combination of the
4 to
Yeah.
4.5. I think is what
I
you're
guess
seeing
there's a few
holes
changes.
for, like on
Well, 'cause
markets, unless you get like
some of this
bro
stuff
prices from an
uses
alliance or
right
corp to build one for you. But
I think they reduced a couple different things throughout this, so I think that
Yeah.
that is reasonable to
well,
expect.
yeah, like didn't they reduced a lot of the PI stuff and then reduced the like wormhole component stuff.
I wonder if this is
I
a
just-
direct thing to try to boost the number of people making the new T2 dreads. We got to lower the cost of the regular.
I don't know
dreads
if they'd make
so
a change
people are
like
willing
this
to
just for like a single ship
T2s.
launch. I think
Yeah, I
that
don't think so.
I think it's just more like the industry has been skewed and prices of ships have gone up so much because of
I
this
think
stuff.
dreads should be more.
They're
expensive.
probably trying to
Why do you
It's
think?
not just
mitigate
dreads,
the
though,
cost of
everything
stuff.
that
Yeah,
uses
it's
ice.
not just the dreads. Every ship. I mean,
Why do you think that, Dom?
I don't know because I don't want other people to have them. I've got them.
That does
I'm a
pull the
dick.
ladder
That's not
behind
very
you, which
fun.
is pretty stereotypical.
that's
of the
that's an
Imperium.
honest answer. I don't know if it's a good answer, but
I'll accept that. It was honest. That's yeah.
The last bullet point I see on this thing is a graphics one.
graphics. Oh yeah, they're doing the whole cloud stuff. So some of those home front things are gonna have the big old clouds.
Whoa,
and that-
whoa! We skipped something.
No,
Molecular condensers, right?
What?
Does anybody know anything
Okay.
about that?
Yeah, I was just saying, I don't think any of us know about that, so that's why. I was
Because
looking.
I have no clue what that is.
adding it to they said they're adding to factual warfare loyalty point stores. Where do you get them currently? Does anybody know?
What are they?
I think it's a drop.
I think that's my question. Is what's
No, it
about
says making it more affordable and available.
what is a
So it means
molecular
you get to buy it.
condenser?
I don't even know
Molecular
what it is.
condensers, I
From
believe, are
somewhere.
in Navy ship building.
Oh, that's
Looks
it.
like
Oh,
ghost
Oh,
sites.
okay.
Ghost sites.
You have to be able to
I
buy
don't,
them.
I don't know
somewhere.
about that. I've never
I
seen
would
them
never
in
go
those,
into a
but
ghost site. That sounds scary.
Yeah,
not?
fuck those.
within 2 minutes you get in and out.
Okay, and then here's the other question: what the fuck are they used for?
Yeah, I don't.
I think they're built using
if it's
Navy.
okay, if it's a faction component, maybe then.
It's not. They're adding
But I
faction
think
warfare.
Also,
just to
at
make
one
them
low
point I
more-
sec
think it was-
data site.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it comes from like some data sites as well as ghost sites. haven't found what they're used for yet.
Oh, it's probably like the type of salvage that you build components then for ships or something. I don't know.
Well, hold please.
We could
I'll
just simply
look
look it
in
up.
game.
If only there was this tool like that connected the whole world that you could go and find answers on.
Or just like.
Fuck do you think
logging
I'm trying to
into
do?
That's
it
a
and,
good
like,
idea, Drayden.
yeah.
We should do that. We
Just-
should
could,
make it
could
too.
you imagine?
Nakaroth
fucking
over
brilliant.
here.
I took
Industry
that
tab.
idea from Al Gore.
Oh, he did come up with it first, didn't he?
Yeah, he did invent the internet. I think.
No, he didn't. I fucking did. Al Gore stole it from me.
Bruh, you weren't even born yet.
Yes, I was.
I was like,
How
man,
old
I
were you
was like,
then?
but am I a
Eight?
boomer for even making that joke?
30?
Like, there's a bunch of people nowadays like, who the fuck is Al Gore?
Yeah, I think they're used for building Navy ships, is what I'm seeing.
Okay.
So, okay,
Oh man.
All right,
How do you
I'm
get
gonna
oxygen by
actually, I'm
radium?
gonna head out
Yeah.
here in a moment, guys, and I may not be here next week. We'll see. Next week I'm going to Cedar Point,
Nice.
riding a bunch of roller coasters and having fun. I
We're
might be
gonna
back.
play-
in time, you know.
How are we gonna play the games without you?
Wait, are we
What
playing games
games?
today?
Doug
What?
Games. I don't. I
The
don't
prop
know.
hunt? The prop
we doing
hunt?
the-
yeah. Sorry,
tonight?
we were planning
Are
on
we
playing
doing
it
that
next week.
tonight or
Sorry.
tomorrow? Or
I
don't
mean,
know
if
anything
you're not
about
gonna
that.
be
Next
here,
Friday,
you're not
yeah.
gonna be here, I guess.
We'll see. I might. It depends on when I get back. Anyways.
Oh, now
have
he's gonna
a-
be here. I see how it is.
Well,
I
But
love
I was
you, buddy.
talking about tonight, though.
I don't know.
Uh,
Maybe.
well,
I
that's
don't
what I
Stay
was trying
awake.
to add.
Check back with
I'm
us.
always thinking about the next thing. See, we're doing this while Drayden is getting ready for the next topic. He said,
He's
"Look
got
at
a
him think.
serious look on his
Look
face.
at him
We'll
doesn't he?
see.
think.
Very
He's
serious.
thinking
I got the
about
thinker
how
on.
he's gonna jump
I
got the
in.
thinker
usually
on.
when
He's
I
gonna
say I'm
jump
getting
into
off,
the
I'll
topic.
usually go and just watch for a little bit and then go to bed. But
So
if I
you
can't
hear us talk
sleep
shit
before-
about you.
I
every
like to
time.
watch too
So
sometimes.
if I can't fall
Oh.
asleep though, maybe I'll come back. We'll see. But either
Oh,
way, I should go to bed because
Jess?
I
fuck
work
you.
in the morning.
Go.
What
Get
on a
going.
Saturday?
Bye, bitch.
I gotta
Get
see some
out.
Albino
Good night, man.
tomorrow. I'm staying.
Have a
Yeah,
good one.
good
Here,
night.
Skyhawk.
Oh, I
No,
hope you
but-
heard me tell him to have a good
He
night
left in
after I said
rage.
get gone.
Because all
He
those
did, man.
mean things you
So
said.
Ma-
Wait, he
so
says
Redline,
he
turn-
normally listens afterwards. though,
Turn
so
your fucking
Skyhawk, we
camera
love
on.
you.
Come in and join.
But
take
it'll
a
be a
spot.
moment before he
Turn-
reconnects. He's
no.
not going to hear any of this.
Let me know.
I don't want
Unless
to
he already
turn
had
my
it loaded.
camera on.
Unless he already had it loaded.
Map marker colors for save location. Ah, that would be cool. That would be like a what's Karker? That'd be a Karker thing, right? She still does the QOL stuff.
But the thing is, they already have this mechanic in the game, right? Because if you like look in space and have your the overview on, it shows you in space where you're.
Right? No,
if
he's
you're
not
sitting
saying
right next to one.
Talking about
No,
the
that's
trail
what I'm
for
saying.
autopilot?
he's
They can
no.
just take that, and put it on the map. They have the
for weight?
tools to do
No,
it.
no,
They
no.
usually do this.
He like the saved locations or anything, but he's saying like color. You know, like that you can color code your watch list and stuff. He's saying like, and you can color code your broadcast list. You can.
Oh,
he's
that's
saying
even better.
color code
Yeah.
your bookmark list where you have this is a. You can have like
I thought he meant on the
gate
map.
ping
No,
bookmarks
I
be
like that.
red and station bookmarks or safes be blue, stations be green. I could see that being a neat implementation, but yeah, I would recommend if send a thing to Karker.
Absolutely.
She
That's a
does. I think
brilliant
she still
idea.
does the QOL. She was doing like the little things. She was doing like, a bunch of QOL changes. I don't know if she's still doing that or if she has time or not. But
Team Little Things was
I'm
pretty
actually a little
badass.
mad at CCP. They don't have that right now. That's
And
I mean,
maybe
there's
we
a
just
bunch of
haven't seen it.
there's a
yet in
bunch of
the game.
convenient things that would be nice to add. But I mean that seems like
you
something
know what?
that's
You know what
totally
that means?
doable.
You know what it means? Take a
Working
drink.
on big
You gotta
things.
take a drink.
Oh, okay, that's a good point.
I'm gonna drop off too as well. I'm getting a damn headache.
I
Oh,
know.
damn.
Listening to me does that.
Dude,
I
A
get it.
bunch of coke will do that too. you
No,
gotta be careful.
it's this damn light.
Dave.
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 Oh, I will
Yeah,
throw. a
play the
Dave.
Dave.
You have it.
Yeah.
Malcolm has it.
All right. Yeah, I don't
He's
even
got
have the. I need to set up the. No, because don't you have to have Nitro to set up Discord
Fuck, I
soundboards?
don't even know.
I think so.
Or
Somebody
no,
added
no.
WoW
I-
for me.
I think you only need the Discord Nitro to be able to play. It's like the same thing with emotes to use soundboard things from other channels or other servers.
What, Tamara? What do you mean? How to say you're an old man without saying you're an old man?
But I
Back
think
in
we-
my day.
I think we can set up soundboard stuff on the Open Comms Discord that's usable on that server.
Oh, Malcolm. Do you know I got really sunburnt last weekend? Right? But I've been taking Viagra to try to get to go away.
Viagra.
Sure.
It isn't working, but it is keeping the sheets off my legs.
Okay, that's nice, yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
It's an important tent pole.
I just remember that.
it was very smooth. At first, I didn't know you were telling a joke. I was like, wait, what? I don't think that's. I don't think that's what you're supposed to take, man. But you know what? You do you.
That's the joke.
That is the joke. I get it. Yeah.
It thins his blood a little bit, keeps it pumping. It's all good.
Gotta keep the sheets off your legs, baby. It hurts.
So molecular condensers. That okay. I still don't know what those do.
I don't
Graphics.
either.
Hey,
don't
no one
care
ever
anymore.
told us. We talked shit about looking it up in game, and someone
None of us
"I'm
did."
gonna look it up in
Well,
game."
I think we
And
all
no one
expected someone
no one
else to
said
look
who
it up, and
was.
none of us looked it up.
Did you skip
No,
the fact that I literally said it was for Navy ships?
Oh,
yeah, true. Akrov
I did
did
actually
say
skip
it.
that.
I
Did you
did
say
look
that?
it up in game. I'm
I
in
heard
game
you
right
say
now.
it,
I
and
looked it
then
up.
they were talking about still not knowing what it was, so I just fell in with that. So
Man, you
Are you
just threw
sure?
that. You threw us all under the bus.
yeah,
You
I do
were
that.
You know what you did? You made us look
pretending.
bad.
I was
Because-
only
because
we
pretending
looked
not to
bad.
know.
Yeah, that's bad.
Real quick, molecular forging tools are cutting edge technologies developed by leading corporations, blah, 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 blah. Inevitably, da, 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 da. Now, where's the description? This is the Navy.
So like
This hasn't
Navy
helped us at all.
battleship.
Like it's
What are you
right?
talking about?
they're cutting
So I'm
edge,
Just reading the
Dominant.
Dominar.
description
Battleships?
wherever I saw the thing about the
What
The
kind
Navy
of
ship.
ships do they make? Not just Navy ships. Is it like all of them?
So
caps,
originally I was looking at the
everything?
description
This
for
is
a
strong.
hypnagogic Neuralink enhancer.
Oh yeah, those.
It says the
Yeah.
use of the
Hypnogen.
Neuralink enhancer is particularly
Hypnagogic.
favored by the Imperial Navy in conjunction with military capsuleer Neuralink technology.
So
I
it's for
inferred
implants.
Navy shit. That's
What's
all
the-
I did.
What's the goddamn thing called?
This
I bet
one's
it's
called
for
a
implants.
hypnagogic
Electric
Neuralink enhancer.
Hypnagogic. I actually just like that word. It's
If we had a
Yeah,
shared
you do
channel
too.
in game, I would share it with you. but I don't
Um,
know how many people like it.
all right. So while you guys look at graphics, we could go to
Like-
graphics. I don't think these
Hold
are.
up, is
I'm playing
the
potato.
the Cogni emotive Neuralink enhancer? Is that it?
The what? No. HYP
Not hypnagogic. What
A.
are you talking about? Come on.
Hypna.
Well, it's
HYP.
Hypna. That's a whole
NA.
different level than Hypno.
No,
Yeah.
this is just a Hypna. We're not.
I'm with
Hypnoing.
you. I'm with you. So far, I'm good.
GOGIC. Hypnagogic. Just
Hypnagogic.
search that in game. Hypnagogic Neuralink enhancer is
Hypnagogic
the full name.
Neuralink enhancer. Great.
They're used to enhance the
So,
integration
they're
of
used
specific
to
capsular
make
Oh, you bastard.
UC trigger Neuralinks.
It sounds like it's something for implants to me, but
I think you're wrong.
I could be wrong.
No, I think he is
But
wrong.
I mean,
But
Could be
he might be
something.
right, though.
But he might be right. You never know.
I don't know.
I do know.
yeah, I was like, because it's
Because it
something to do
does-
with
it does
volumetric
say
clouds. Aren't
neuro.
those the gas clouds?
It does say
Oh no, no, no. The
Oh,
volumetric
which
clouds are the.
indicates
never mind.
So-
brain.
No, the volumetric
Black.
clouds are
It
the
makes
graphics thing.
things. They're
And
like
this is where we
Aeon-
fucking lose it.
Aeons, apostles, archons. Basically, a lot of ships use the things that these
Capitals,
molecular
then.
whatever.
Okay,
things.
so it's a component.
not
for,
just capitals, but
It's
other
a
things.
construction
It's
component.
probably a bottleneck, is what it is.
It's one of those
Like, I'm
super
not an
off the
industry guy,
wall,
but I'm guessing
randomly
it's a
named
bottleneck.
Like a glass
construction
bottle?
components that
No,
you don't
I
even know
mean,
they
kind
exist
of.
until
Like
you
there's a
need
lot
it.
of liquid behind the bottleneck, but because the bottle's so thin, you can't get out. That's
Yeah,
what
I don't do much industry. I actually
Hank has a narrative.
so I got a I was
Something not to
I was
notice,
ratting
something.
I was ratting in drones and I got one of those like X dash whatever chipset things. I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's worth 20 million.
chip or a Nestor chip.
It was a
Stratios chip.
Stratios chip, yeah. It was the Stratios chip. I didn't know. I was like, what the fuck is this? It's like actually worth 20 million, so it's got to be something because like it wasn't like the advanced drone AI little things that are like maybe $1 million a piece, $500,000 a piece. And I was like, I don't know what this is. And I had to like go online and look it up. I'm like, oh, I can turn this in for a Stratio. So I fucking
Did you do it?
I got it and like went and all took it all down. And then I was a little disappointed, although I should have known better because if I was thinking I would turn this in and get a Stratios hull, I didn't think I was
Maybe
getting a
BBC.
blueprint.
Yeah.
I was like, if it would just give you a Stratios hull, it wouldn't be worth 20 million. It would be worth like 300 million or 280 million, of course. So I was like, oh
It would
fuck.
be
Well, I was
compressed-
like,
it would
then
be
I'll
worth
just
more because it would be a compressed Stratios.
yeah. And so I was like, oh fuck. Okay, well. I was like, well, I got a Stratios blueprint, so I took it over to Jita, and I'm like, well, this is my guy that used to do industry back in the day, so fuck, I'll just build this, I'll just buy the stuff here in Jita and build the Stratios and then sell it. And I put up all the buy orders for everything and got everything pretty quick, except for the most expensive ones that are like 28 to 30 million each, and you need 4 of them. I don't remember what they're called,
What are
but
they
Is that what these things
it's
are?
like wormhole components that you get from like gas sites and shit in wormholes.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
no,
sure.
And like
It's
I think it's like a mixture of like gas and sleeper salvage or some shit like that. But and it's like fuck, and so I was like, that's the one thing I have all the components to build the Stratios except for the 4 of those that I need, and it's like the buy order is like 29 million. I did the calculation. I'm like, okay, if I get them for 29 million a piece, that's fine. But the sell orders are 34. If I buy it for that much, well, like I'm already only looking at like 30 million profit. So if I buy those at sell price, then I'm looking at 10 million profit over the initial 20 million I could have just sold the thing for. So I'm like, I'll just fucking put the buy orders up. And then some dude overcuts me. I think it's someone trying to bait the market up higher to sell stuff to, because like it's normal to see people overbid you by like, 10, 100, even 1,000. This guy like overbid by like 2.5 million. I'm like, all right, you know what? I'll let that guy buy the things he needs and I'll just like let it trickle down. I'm not fucking, but now I'm just sitting on this blueprint for like a week. Fuck. First world struggles.
You look like a fool.
I know. I was just like, man, this is why I don't do industry. Industry's not my gig.
It's quite the rabbit hole.
I mean, I had fun doing it. I
Which is
dabbled
good
in
and
it back in the
rewarding.
day. I did some
That's why-
dabbling, and well, I say dabbling, and by dabbling, I went and bought every BPO. I hate that noise.
Ooh.
I bought every BPO in the game for pretty much every subcapital module and subcapital ship hull from like cruiser and down. Like I have all of them, and they're all researched to max. Every single one. I have a can sitting over in somewhere.
Wait, how many BPOs do you own, Trade?
Dude, it's like several hundreds
I-
of BPOs,
I have
all
several
researched.
hundreds, and it's not even like crazy value because like just between like regular like items and drones and whatever.
I think
like,
I spent like 7 or 8 billion on BPOs and then researched all of them to max. Like,
I think this is
it's every single frigate, every single destroyer, every single cruiser, half the battle cruisers, a couple battleships, all the modules,
Oh, well,
like
then you're up in the
every,
billions.
like every module, like target painters, armor plates, hardeners, shield shit, micro warp drives, guns, rigs, everything. I was like, I'm gonna dabble in research and then just dump 8 billion on BPOs and then spend like half a year researching them all. I'm like, this is more than dabbling, and then I just built Ishtars for like 4 months and then stopped. Like that was I did not make my
I
money
think
back.
it's still a modest collection, yeah.
Yeah, but now I'm just sitting on a fuck ton of just fully researched BPOs.
Which is
over in
always
Losec.
nice. I like
Yeah.
to do that too. Like, I don't let any of them sit unresearched or not fully researched.
Yeah, so I did not make the ISK back on my investment there, but I do have I mean, I'm sure if I sold all the BPOs with elevated price because they're fully researched, maybe I could, but I kind of just keep them because now it's like if I ever want to build
Now it's
something, I just go
yeah.
make some
Exactly.
copies on it. They're sitting over in some Losec system.
So those
Yeah, that's one of
condensers
those like
are
long-term
a
things. that
very
just
beginning
adds to
part
information.
that end up you're needing for capital blueprint part.
Various
or-
capitals and
yeah.
Navy capitals, yeah.
for the parts, not the ships
Right.
themselves, but for parts. Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct.
I looked it up. Jerry said
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. I
Wow.
did it.
Millen, Darwin says you're full
Wow.
of shit, bro.
Fuck, I know.
No, not you, Dom. It's Millen.
Well, maybe
No,
the
wait, he
reflections
says-
are
he
getting,
says you're
maybe
not
they're
wrong.
getting in his eyes, and that's what's
He's not
bothering
saying
him.
you're wrong.
Oh yeah, graphics. Okay, can we get to graphics now? Or since we've
We've been talking about it.
No, but we figured out the molecular condensers, right?
Oh yeah. Do that.
It's your show, man.
uh,
Your show.
Vol-
Molecular condensers, you said?
yeah,
We did
Yeah,
it.
go
what is
look
this
that
thing
up
again?
real quick.
We did it.
I'd like a list of everything that those are required to build.
Well, there's
got it,
different
buddy. I
kinds
can
of
get
them
that
too.
for
You
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
cover these
Yeah,
graphics.
Yeah,
Link.
yeah. Get
I've got a
me
fleet
give me
going
give me a
Molecular
spreadsheet.
what?
Condensers.
Molecular enhancers?
Condensers.
Condensers.
Not
Enhancers.
No, not enhancers.
Yeah.
Condensers.
Okay.
how?
Okay, how oh look at that. There's a guide on how to get it.
I already looked it up. I just read it.
Yeah, so the graphics, volumetric clouds are going to be a thing. So they're going to be in the home front operation sites. I was hoping they'd be elsewhere, like in some of the anomalies, because they do look really cool. They could be a bit thick. Some of them are pretty
Whoa.
thick.
What do you have against thick?
No, it's fine. I mean, some
I
people
like curves.
some people
Yeah,
prefer that.
Stick.
I like
uh,
curves.
Yeah, I mean, like you
clouds.
get these sites, it's like it's like I mean, it looks cool. It looks like all you're immersed in the cloud, but I mean, it could be real thick. Like you can't even see through it sometimes. So
I feel like you're
you just get that
You running into
like
shit.
thick-
This is
that
awesome.
that thick cloud, you know.
Once again,
Yeah.
good job, CCP.
Yeah, art team. They know what everyone wants.
They fucking know what they're doing there.
That's
I
right.
love them. So I mean, I know I'm biased because I love this game, but some of the best artwork in the whole all of gaming is just fucking awesome.
Also, missile. Oh yeah, this was a thing I remember seeing as a bullet point weeks ago when they were talking about Viridian, but I don't think we ever really covered it.
Missile
Just a
effects.
quick little
Those are pretty
missile
cool.
effects. They want to improve missile effects and actually make them look
damage specific animation.
Yeah, damage specific animation. So like thermal missiles are gonna have like a fiery effect. EM's gonna have like crackly lightning stuff, and it's gonna. So this is also the thing. Like the missile will now explode outwards in the opposite direction of the impact vector. So it's actually gonna like hit, and it's not just gonna be like a circular explosion that just happens when the missile. It's gonna like hit and kind of like I'm assuming do like some kind of like conal explosion.
Sure.
I don't. It sounds really cool.
It
Again,
definitely
you got to
does.
zoom in on ships to see it, but I do.
Well,
I mean,
that
if
change
I'm-
is just making it more realistic when the missile hits
If I'm
and
not
explodes.
flying anchor,
If
then-
nothing else,
Yeah.
people are gonna make some cool SE videos. Out
Oh
of it.
yeah, for sure.
yeah, I mean, if I'm able to anchor up on someone else, then I tend to zoom in because,
Pay more attention to my own shit.
oh yeah, because like if I don't have to pay attention to where the fuck I'm going and I just got to pay attention to broadcasts, I like to have shit look cool. So I
That's how I die.
zoom in
I do
on
the
my
same
shit.
thing.
I zoom in on the enemy.
Same.
I zoom in on just stuff to see the cool effects. So
I cannot be that simple. But
I mean,
play
because
it.
it's like that's what I'm saying. Like if I'm just anchored up, I don't have to really pay attention tactically to the battlefield that much. But I mean, I do zoom out and check stuff out. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Missile
planets-
impacts will illuminate nearby surfaces, so they're gonna have light effects on them.
Gonna
Like,
be
So
sick
if two
if
ships
you're
are right
running a
next to each
graphic.
other, you'll see this shit. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's badass. Like you said,
gonna look
cool
good on some
videos coming.
oh yeah, and then the frigates are getting some headlights and stuff, which sounds kind of like meh, but like when you looked at some of the before and after of some of these frigates, it's
That's
actually
cool.
it makes them look better. So I mean, there's
lights sticking out.
nothing wrong with making models and textures look cooler. I'm
As
all
long
for
as you
that.
let people play on Potato, yeah, there's nothing wrong.
Yeah,
with it.
yeah, and
Don't
I
play with
obviously.
Marauders have
obviously-
received FX and lighting updates. Lighting effects have been so that's
Right,
great.
you
So
can-
what they're saying here is most people are flying either frigates or Marauders, and that's what
Right.
they're focusing
Well,
on.
the thing with the Marauder is that
Citadels.
the thing with the Marauder is that they're mainly doing the effect to where they want it to be very visibly obvious that it's gone into Bastion. So there's a whole new lit up effect
Like
when
the mode, like where the plates move and there's like fog
Well-
or something. Yeah.
well,
they're
yeah, but there's
badass,
also
right?
there's going to
Yeah.
be a whole bunch
It
of like
looks
different
real
light, different light thing going on. So it's
Yeah.
like you will, if you're looking at the
It's like
visual
seeing a
ship,
Dread and Siege. You can tell.
yeah,
You
even
go- yeah,
those are
like-
harder because all it
yeah.
is like when a dread sees, it's just like the guns extend out. That's pretty much all that
Yeah.
really happens.
I mean, but it's a
you can
visual
tell,
cue. Is
yeah.
all I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah,
I think
so I mean,
that's
there
similar.
was a visual cue for Bastion before, but it was not very apparent. This is supposed to make it to where it's like very obvious that it's gone into Bastion. So
That's cool. I'm happy. with that.
I agree. Yeah, I like that.
Of
Uh,
course,
I would love for
Citadels,
people to not
namely
know
Astro
Siege, and I think it's
Luces, Floors on Keep Stars, and again.
oh,
same thing.
planets will now cast shadows, so that's cool. So if you're fighting on the dark side of a planet, it's gonna darken it. Like the shadow's gonna go off.
I'm excited
over the
about that
ships.
one and nervous about that one. That's gonna be weird, right?
Oh, it's like everything. It's gonna be
You're
dark,
fighting in the
right?
shadow. Yeah, that's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
That could actually affect
any
things, honestly.
shadow mechanics that they add to this game. I agree with, or reflection mechanics. I think that's really cool. And I play on Potato, but I love to see it. I've seen it in
You
Upwell-
don't
screenshots, when I
have
see
to
it in
play on
videos.
Potato. You choose that.
Upwell
I do.
Citadels are gonna
Correct, I
do Upwell
It's a
Citadels are
heat
gonna have
thing. I'm
shadows
on a
too.
laptop, so it's a heat thing. I just try to
Okay,
keep my
yeah,
heat
yeah.
low. I on occasion for like a special occasion, I'll turn things up because I want to see it. Not usually in huge.
I had
graphics
heard
by
about
anything.
that on top.
But I do like to see some things. But I just like those as possibilities. At some point in the near future, I'm just gonna build a new desktop and like build something that I can rationalize high graphics.
No, laptop, like you said, it's a heat thing. I get it. Because I know for a fact that you don't have to have a monster computer to play
You don't.
Eve on max graphics.
At
right?
least on a single account, yeah. No.
No,
Yeah,
I
it
tell you
depends-
what,
yeah,
I
it
don't have
depends-
a monster, and
it-
I've got 3
It
going
depends
max
on
graphics.
how many clients you have running. It also depends on what's going on. Like, I mean, I don't
I
have
don't
a,
go to potato mode for big fights.
I don't have
but
a,
I've never had a problem.
I don't have a super high end computer. It was a really nice computer 7 years ago, but nowadays it's kind of getting older.
Mine's probably that old. 8.
It's not bad, but it's I would say middle of the road at best. Maybe worse than that. But I mean, I can run 2 clients on max graphics perfectly fine. Now, if it's a big fight going on with 800 people and it's starting to tie dye and chunk, then the frame rate drops significantly if I don't turn graphics down. But
Does it? Okay. Oh.
I mean, I usually don't. I'm
That's
just like
good,
I'll play on 15 FPS if it looks nice. Like I hate turning my graphics down to low because then the ships look like pieces of Play-Doh. I don't like it.
No, yeah, I've never had a problem personally, but it just, and my laptop's the same thing. Ackroth, I can run 2 clients on it in high graphics as long as I'm like sitting in the station.
Yeah.
If
And
start doing
I have
anything, it
before, I
warms
just-
up quick.
Yeah, I just don't like to abuse it is my main thing. So I preventatively, run lower. But there's the dream, right? Like that, one day I just won't have to.
So
Like, I won't even feel the need to. You know what I'm
Otop is saying that he has basically the same middle of the road 8 years ago. He can't freeze. Is that the computer issue though, or do you think it's your connection issue? Like, are you dropping and then it freezes up, or because like I said, my computer's I have a computer that I let my kids use, and it's got a 960 in it, and I've run 2 clients of Eve full graphics and not had a problem. So that's why I wonder, is it actual computer issue, or do you think it's something else? Drayden is reading something important.
No, I was just scrolling on some Discord. Catching up on things.
Oh, that's
I missed.
interesting what Darwin just said. So
About to have to go
on
catch up
low
with sleep.
is an entirely different implementation for everything. It's not like just turning things off. It's more like completely swapped out. That's interesting to know. I did not know that.
Oh yeah.
I bet no one knew that. We're the first to tell everybody. You heard it
This-
first.
I think this
right
is
like-
here.
yeah. I think this is the first time people knew that.
That's
Yeah,
like
I
a
think so.
super like watch it be some like NDA leak and like CCP.
He loses his job. Gets his
Yeah,
sword
like,
taken away.
Darwin just like is never here for a show again. It's like, oh no, they shot him at his desk. Oh fuck.
Oh God.
Yeah. Turn your sword in, Mister. You're done here. Oh, speaking of that, okay. Did anybody see this? CSM.
Speaking of
of NDA.
rare Icelandic
No,
assassinations,
of NDA. Did anyone see the? And I don't usually go to Reddit, but somebody linked this to me. The summit presentation for the industry from Angry Mustache. Right. I'm going to read you the first sentence. You tell me if this doesn't sound right to you either. Right. This is a non-NDA version of the presentation. Does that mean he's telling us all the shit he shouldn't be telling us?
Non-NDA. No, it means like that's the stuff he's allowed,
He's
to
allowed to,
say.
yeah.
So it's basically like that's the
So
stuff.
this
that's,
is an NDA version. It's gonna
Well,
be
no, it's-
following
he's
the-
reserving the right
following
to
it.
let
so,
you
so
know
he's
that
calling it
something that he
non-NDA,
cannot tell
meaning
you.
that that's the stuff that's not covered by
Okay.
NDA.
That makes sense. Now
Yeah,
you say
so,
it, but that's
yeah.
not the way I was reading it. I was thinking to myself,
Right.
what the fuck? Is he quitting? Is he mad? What the hell's going
Yeah,
on?
no, because the NDA isn't
How I
just.
get it. I think
Yeah,
that's
a lot of
double
times the
negative,
NDA
but
isn't
whatever.
necessarily just your job. NDAs can include the right to be sued.
I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does.
I remember when
Come and take it, Iceland.
well, I remember when we were on the INN network back in the day for our show. I had to sign an NDA with Goons, and it now I mean they would never use it that way, but it technically had the clause in
Because of
there
his
that if I
multi-shekel empire.
did something
Hey,
and
you know
released
what?
if I did something and released information that I wasn't supposed to that caused INN to lose drastic amounts of revenue, they had the right to open a lawsuit against me in the court of California. So
guess who wrote that NDA? A lawyer. That was
yeah,
the real-
yeah,
that
it's
was
definitely a
the-
lawyer. So they would never do that, and honestly, they would have to prove that I somehow cost them a shitload of money. But it was just, it's one of those just like, hey,
But
we're gonna
INN
have
was
they,
run
People
by a
do
lawyer.
that, and it's pretty.
they're
easy
gonna
to
have a
show them.
protection clause in there to cover their ass just in case.
Yeah, because it could
I
happen.
mean,
where
if-
you,
if
they-
I-
you
if
made
I
it
did
so
something-
you lost all of their fucking viewers.
That
they
block
probably
was
would've
run
sued-
by
well,
a former lawyer.
Well, I know, but it's one of those things like if I did something that got their channel permanently banned and now they lost
Sure.
the stream of revenue,
I
they
understand
could
the
then hold me
stipulations
reliable. Yeah,
and-
so.
They
covering
probably
your
would.
ass and
He might have
whatnot.
come after you if they
But
were
it's fully
making money at the
understandable.
time. Might have. You never
Yeah.
know.
But honestly, it's like I wasn't worried about it because I'm like I'm not going to do anything that's going to cause this
Yeah,
to come
but
into
you had
effect.
people
So.
on there that might have.
But I'm just saying,
Yeah,
like, so
you
there
were
are
Yelled at me when I
responsible
took
for-
off my pants.
right. I'm just saying that NDAs are not just like, oh, if you disclose this information, we'll fire you. Sometimes it can proceed to legal action past being fired. So you have to watch out for NDAs when it comes to that. So
You know what? I'm gonna raise your glasses to CCB Darwin,
I didn't
taking
grab this.
care of one of our listeners' problems in chat like a fucking
Dude's a
pro.
legend.
He's a pro.
Yeah.
Look at that.
He's got to be the senior vice president by now.
He's
do,
like-
do a ticket and put my name on it. That's
he's like
fucking
off work,
customer
done for
service.
the weekend. It's like what 5 a.m. over there. He's like, hold on, let me do some like PR customer
Thank
Thank
service.
you. I was trying to
Give
write
him a
out thank
baby.
you, but
He's
I
like
couldn't do
doing
it.
some customer service work.
Yeah, fuck yeah, good job. You know what? That's why I think Eve kicks ass. And
That's
CCB
why they
does.
pay him the big
Yeah.
bucks.
Well, I mean, I see why they put him with us. It's important, right? I mean, he does important work here. So I get it. I know. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean that we finally got half an hour after the show's over. We got through all the Eve news. Can you believe that?
That's amazing.
LB's gonna be so mad.
We fucking actually get good information, help the fucking.
Yeah, he was here
listener.
last week, and we had a bunch of
yeah.
good stuff to talk about last week with the T2 treads and shit.
Thank you. I'll do another one with you though. I got. I don't have. I'm just drinking.
I'll pour an actual shot. Why not?
Well, you know what we didn't do tonight? It kind of irritates me. Maybe we need to talk to our audience
Hmm?
about all the little things you can push the button on, like the Drayden science question. I can't think what it's called. What is it called? The rewards and challenges. There you go.
Sorry about the cameras. I was typing. Rewards and challenges for what?
Like you. What is it? Take a shot. Ask a science question. Praise
Oh,
Dave.
yeah. What about it?
We need to inform people.
He's saying
about
we
it.
had a distinct lack of
I had
channel
to use.
point
I
descrip-
used it tonight
like
to try.
distraction.
Oh, yeah. We had someone praise Dave. Yeah, I mean, like, there's. I
That was
figured that.
Malkith.
Yeah, there's a.
They can be good, but they can also be
Are you saying we
distracting.
should add more?
No. Actually, we need to tell people about them so they do it like
Dave-
that. Bam.
oh, yeah.
Where's Dave?
I mean, you can use channel
Dave.
points. There's stuff to do.
I got lots of.
There,
channel points.
yeah. There's take a shot. That's actually probably one that people would use more
I
often.
did that earlier, and you guys didn't do it. Well, you
Oh.
did,
What
but
he's
I
saying
had
is
to
maybe
yell
a
at
lot of people don't know about it.
Yeah. So,
that's
so
fine,
here's
yeah.
the weird thing. So Stream Elements has a bunch of plugins, and
you. I hoard my points.
it has a bunch of plugins and widgets you can use. One of them supposedly on Stream Elements was that if someone redeemed channel points, it would pop
Praise
up on the
Dave, drink.
screen. It would pop up on the screen and show what thing got redeemed. And I was like, oh, that, because I mean, I have OBS open and that's mainly what I watch. So I see the alerts come in. So if someone like, subscribes or raids, or I can see it come up. I don't really, I do watch the chat a bit, but I can't watch it 24/7. So, and it's not very, it doesn't have like a super obvious thing when a point is redeemed, because it's gray text that just has a little thing off to the side, so it can be sometimes hard to see it. And if the chat's moving quickly and it moves up, then I'll never see it. So it's like I tried to put that widget up that would show it on the screen, and I'd be like, oh, someone redeemed this. It didn't work. It like the widget's fucking broken. So what's up,
Fucking
Chisumi?
widget.
Yeah, so it's like, and I tried finding other. It's like I couldn't find anything else on Stream Elements that worked like that. So I'm like, well, I just try and keep an eye on it. But
So somebody said this, something's wrong with Stream Elements. Did they do a big change or something? Just recently, like in the last 2 weeks.
not that I know of.
Somebody was saying they're not using it anymore because they can't do doesn't do something that it used to do.
Well,
I don't use it, so I don't know.
Streamlabs had an issue
No,
long
no.
time ago, but that's because Streamlabs is shady as fuck.
Is that like
Because they were talking about having to go to start using OBS for whatever.
Well, Streamlabs made their
Something
own
happened.
version of OBS, because OBS is supposed to be open source software that people can use and implement. But what Streamlabs did was they just literally copied all the code, made their own essential like direct copy of OBS, and then OBS told them like, "Hey, can you not do that?" Because like, yeah, it's open source,
provide
but
that
like
code.
that's really kind of shitty. Can you just not make your own OBS and just run your stuff through the normal OBS? And Streamlabs told them to get fucked, and so that's when OBS came out to the public like, hey, this is what Streamlabs is doing, and this is what they told it. We tried to go under the radar and not make it an issue because we didn't want to call them out, but if they're gonna be dicks like that, we're gonna call them out. And then everyone's like, wow, fuck Streamlabs. And so that's why we went to Stream Elements.
Yeah.
Because Stream Elements is like they, yeah. So Streamlabs lost a lot of clout with that, but they're still around. I mean, people still use them, but that's the only thing I can think of. Stream Elements, I haven't heard anything. Like everything seems to be working fine, as far as I can tell.
maybe XSplit Broadcaster.
XSplit is
Something that-
XSplit
something
is
changed on it, made people like couldn't use it.
Yeah,
It's not doing something it used to do.
XSplit is like OBS though. It's the actual broadcast software.
That's
it's
what I'm
not,
talking
it's
about,
not
yeah.
the third party site that like.
No, that's not. I'm talking about the software. One of the big streamer softwares did something recently.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. There's OBS and there's XSplit. I think there's like the two main ones. There's another one. I don't remember what it's called. But yeah, XSplit and OBS are the two most popular, I think. Alien
thought
Craft
Stream-
Whistleblower. I actually don't know anything about that one. Top. I haven't heard anything on it. Thoughts on the Alien Craft Whistleblower?
Yeah, it sounds like bullshit, but we'll
Maybe
see how it
no.
develops.
Aria got it. That's what it was. There was some.
Araya.
Aria, yeah. I'm sorry. Shut up! Quit making fun of me.
Oh yeah, maybe that's what. Yeah,
Monetizing,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what I was hearing about.
That's what it
People
was. Yeah,
talking about
Streamlabs was trying to They basically made a copy of OBS and tried to monetize it.
I
And
make fun of it.
OBS was like, "Hey, don't do that with our free software, please." And Streamlabs told him to get fucked, basically. And so
What old time? The
So you're
Alien
not my
Craft
real dad.
Whistleblower. I'm looking that up.
That's what they said to him. They said, "You're not my real dad." What a bunch of bitches. That being said, I gotta dip out. I got a fleet going on.
yeah. I mean, it might be.
Talk to you guys soon. Yeah, I'm trying to beat your guys right now in fleet. Dom,
You
thank you.
dirty
You should get in that
bastard.
fleet
What,
so I can shoot at
didn't-
you.
I didn't get a ping.
What if we
No.
just hug in the middle and then like everybody stops
Okay.
like it's in the middle of like World War
World
II,
War
which is
One?
like
No, World
football.
War One, where they did the
World War
soccer
One,
match.
yeah. What if we just cause peace in the world?
Oh, I was like,
You want to try real quick while we're fucked up?
Do I? Yeah. Well, I don't know. There's no fleet over here. I don't know where it is.
it does, Chi. This is my it's a G fleet. So this is like the G fleet, the Berlin Eve meetup. I never went there, but the guy and his wife that run G Fleet were on the Alaska the Eve cruise that we went on in Alaska. And so they gave everyone, it's basically a shot glass, but it's a Stein shot glass with the G Fleet logo on it. So, and I could just hold it like a shot glass, but I mean, if it's got a little handle, I do the little, just hold it by the handle. Yeah, it's cool. I got 2 of them actually.
I used to have a shot glass with boobs on it. No handle. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you have to pinky out.
No, for sure. Yeah.
I don't know why, but I fucking just do that. If it's like something I'm holding, I have the pinky out. Just, I don't know. It's not to try and be fancy, I promise. But yeah, I mean, like, we can call it. I mean, we covered a
Do you
shitload
have
of
to?
Eve stuff. I mean, I don't got anything really going on, but
Redline left again. He said something about playing games. He fucking left us.
I mean, I don't really
I
have.
don't want to play games. I don't care.
I don't
he left
really
us.
want to play Prop and Seek.
I won't play that.
And to be honest, I did get Diablo 4, and I've been playing a little bit of that.
Dirty.
Goodness.
I'm actually.
Although
thinking
I the way I play Diablo, everyone I know is like, they're like, that's not how you fucking play Diablo. I'm like,
Map hack.
no, I don't care about just grinding up to max level and just rushing through everything. Like when I played, I like
Just like to find
I
cool
like the
loot.
story and the lore of the Diablo games, and so I play through all the stuff, and I like to read all the dialogue. I like to find all the things, fully explore every zone, do everything like that. And they're just like, let's go. I'm just like, no, I want to listen to this fucking. I want to know why this guy is trying to like help his wife not die. I mean, who does that?
Why, guy? Why?
Yeah, I mean, I like seeing all that stuff, and they always want to rush, so I end up just playing. I basically, when I play a Diablo game, I play it single player, play through the campaign and all this stuff to get the lore and the story, and I'm like, cool, that was a fun game, and then I stop playing, and they're like, but that's not the game. The game is like when you get to max level and you just gear up. I'm like, I don't give a shit about that. Like, watching numbers go up on my gear doesn't fucking interest me at all.
So
I
you
don't
prefer playing it solo as opposed to
yeah,
groups.
so I like Diablo games to me are single player games. I like to play it like an RPG. I play it for the story and the cool lore, and then I enjoy that, and then when it gets to that, it turns into like just the item grind at the end. I'm like, fuck that. I'm not like, I don't have any interest in that. That's 90% of Diablo players, that's what they're there for. So
the story or the grind.
no,
Well,
the grind, they're just there for the gear up and like
I
getting
guess,
the max.
I don't think your take is that weird because that's the way I like it.
Yeah, but then every game I play, with the exception of Eve, like I'm a lore nerd in every game I play. Like fucking love the lore.
Well,
Eve-
Eve's lore is hard to
But
put.
Eve, I
put
don't know.
together.
I don't know any of the fucking lore in Eve, and I don't really have an interest in it. But every other game I play, I do. So I don't know.
No, it's you're not. That's not weird, Drayden, because the lore in Eve, like in the in game, is hard to like get it right. It's like in teeny tiny snippets in here and
Yeah,
there.
it's
right?
also in like missions that
So-
are like very grindy and like repetitive. So
Yeah, and you have to do multiple missions and different ones to get all the little pieces of lore, and then read all the descriptions of everything to get all this lore. Now, granted, there are third-party sites that have put it together for people, you know.
yeah.
And that's
So I mean,
awesome.
like, and like, there's a lot of
It's just
people that are
not
really
easy
into the
in-game.
lore at Eve, and like, cool. That's cool. But I mean, I just don't. But like every other game I play, like all the Elder Scrolls games, like I don't just do the quests. I'm like also the dude that like picks up all the books and like reads all the
Get outta
fucking
here.
books. And, like,
Oh, I'm not in there, buddy. Sorry, Ziggy.
yeah. So
No,
it's,
and you know, I'm not saying.
it's like I'll go
Drayden.
online and like look at like wiki, fandom pages, and like I want to find the timeline of like. So it's like.
Sure.
Like I go into that deep, super turbo nerd lore on most of the games I play.
But you know why you don't do it in Eve? Because we are the lore.
Right? That's
Because
true.
we've started the game, we jumped right into nullsec, right into big groups. We've always been creating our own lore the whole time. So the other
And,
stuff hasn't been important to us.
Well, and like
You
for a
know
long
all
time,
about your alliances you've been in, right? You know.
yeah. And like for a
Yes.
long time, I was like, when I was pretty active, I lost track of all that. But back in the first like 5 years I played the game, and I was like super invested, I was paying attention to a lot of, at least as much as
The
I could
metagame
get
stuff,
from, at least as much as I could get from like the line pilot. Because I mean, when you're just a line pilot, you don't get all the intel and the juicy details of like command chat and the actual like diplomatic dealings between groups. You just see like, oh, we're fighting these guys, and you get some snippets. But yeah,
Oh,
I was really into. I do get into that kind of aspect of Eve, and I'm getting back into Eve enough to where like that is an interest again, where I'm like starting to try and pay attention to, you know, I'm actually starting to have to like relearn like who all is in the game again, like not just players, but I mean like alliances, because you know back when I was playing super active before, it's like the landscape has changed and the groups
time,
are different. There's new groups out there like Blob. Like, fuck, I don't
Lots
know.
of
Like,
new groups.
like I don't know who Blob was, and you have these other like Dracarys is a pretty I don't know if they're super new, but like they're a prevalent player these days, and like I don't know really who they are, and like you know I'm having to.
Do you know why I know you?
I'm
love
having
this
to
shit?
relearn like the nullsec scene, and I've been looking at Sov maps and trying to get an idea of like who's where and all this stuff. So it's like it's fun. It's like I'm getting back into the, like you said, the player driven lore as opposed to the NPE lore or the NPC lore.
Do you know why I know you love the player-driven lore?
Hmm.
You've been doing a fucking stream about Eve for like what?
True.
8 years.
Longer, probably like 9 or 10.
You started right away. As soon as you started playing the game, you started doing this.
Yeah, yeah, like
because you were all in on the fucking player-driven lore because it's fun.
yeah,
It is.
it's because it's actually real. It's I mean, not saying that like, you know, like fictional lore isn't fun also, but just when it's like how the groups interact and you get these wars that happen because of grievances in or out of the game. I remember, what was the one war that happened because someone insulted the other guy's girlfriend at an Eve meet, and then the fucking
Montolio and
Montolio, but yeah, like that's how the big
I
fountain war
was
started,
there at
right?
that
Yeah, like I mean, that's the kind of stuff.
Phobos house in Chicago. I was there. It was
Yeah, like that's the
crazy.
kind of stuff that that just kind of drives like it's exciting because it's actually real as opposed to just fictionally generated.
And even back then, when it started off with the real life argument or or interaction, it didn't get as personal as some of the ones that have been recently, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's personal for those two, I'm sure, but it didn't get weird. Like a couple of these last wars have gotten a little weird with the rhetoric and the calling people names and stuff.
Yeah.
Even
No,
though
I
that
mean,
one
like, it
started with a
can-
real life issue, it didn't get to that point in the war, right? It wasn't
Yeah.
like. I mean,
I
it was
mean,
a lot
things
of
can get nasty, but at the
propaganda,
same
don't
time,
get
like
me wrong,
it, even aside from like just the nasty, like toxic, shitty talk, but I mean, there's also like just the weird wrenches that get thrown into systems. Like, I mean, you have the one war. I think it was also the Fountain War, and then what was it? Pan Fam. I don't know if they were called that back then. I think they were like N3 or like the. I mean, it's kind of like Test and then like PL.
like the 2
and-
wars ago, right?
no, this is like old Fountain War stuff too. Like Test and then PL and NC Dot went to go help Test against Goons,
I don't
and
think
then
Pan
and
Fam
then they
existed yet.
hire, and then like since Goons were starting to get the upper hand, and then they hire Black Legion to go start hitting CFC stuff up in the north, like start a second front. You know, it's like that's just kind of like weird stuff that gets thrown in because of just real interactions. Like, hey, we'll just pay you a bunch of money, go. And Black Legion had the assets and the manpower back then to like, you know, actually put structures at risk, which then caused Goons to have to start setting jump clones and having to go back and forth and defend 2 different fronts for timers. And
Yeah, I was part of that. It was
that's
fun.
I mean, that's just kind of cool,
No,
realistic things that happen. So
The actual player-driven history or lore of the game since it started is a very interesting story. I mean, I'm glad they made it into books. I wish they could have covered more because there's so much more out there, right? I
Yeah.
get it that they depict certain, just a certain
well, it's
time or
continually
whatever.
going too.
Well, but even at the time of like the Bob Wars, there was still other shit going on that would be just as interesting to know about, but no one, that stuff has not been passed along. Or like the big, the Test Goon War, that first one. Yeah, there was other shit going on in the, in the space.
Yeah. Well,
But it's just,
Well, and that's the other thing is like
It'd be great
there
to
are a
capture
lot
those
of
old
smaller conflicts that really do have some stuff embedded in them, and I have been part of major alliances and coalitions for a long time. But back when I first started, and I first went out to Nullsec, I was not.
who were you with?
I was so I very like I think it was like 3 or 4 weeks after I started playing the game, I ended up moving out to Nullsec and joined Persona Non Gratis. Now we were part of this was back when Solar Fleet had just taken over XX Death and like owned all the drone regions, and they're like the big Solar Fleet empire back in like 2012.
Okay. I was just gonna ask the date. Right.
Yeah, like so around that time. But they owned, like, they were like in the Spire and all those ones in the Far East, and then they had basically like a body shield of alliances versus what was called the Dot Bros back then. So it was like NC Dot, Evoke, Ewoks that were up in the north.
Oh, I remember them.
Yeah, they had like Tribute and Veil and
We kicked them out of
Geminate and stuff like that. And we had the Drone Lands, but they had a buffer, like a buffer of like a conglomeration of small alliances, and Solar Fleet had a buffer of small conglomerate. So like we had like Ethereum Reach and Malpais and Peregrine Falls. And this is back when like IRC had Peregrine Falls up at the top. Ethereal Dawn was with us. Core Alliance, Black Core Alliance. We were Persona non gratis, so we had like some of Ethereum Reach, and then Dot Bros had like their meat shield of smaller alliances. I actually forget the names of pretty much all those. But like we were constantly having border skirmishes and wars going on between each other when like you had these big like Goon Wars and Bob and all this stuff going on, and like we were just like having this big struggle because we were trying to clear out all the XX Death structures because we just like XX Death had basically collapsed, but they still had a bunch of stuff like Poco. This is back like Pocos were still a thing. Like, well, I mean they're still a thing, but like SBUs were still a thing. So we were having to clear all this stuff out, and then we kind of had this border with the other coalition, but it was constantly like just poking around. And then a war got initiated. I forget what started it, but it was like I think they started dropping SBUs on some of our systems because I think they wanted some systems. They thought that there was a certain constellation that they wanted all of it. We're like, no, but we had these. And so they just kind of like pushed in, and then we pushed back. And then it like literally started a war. And it was not a war between Solar Fleet and Dot Bros. It was a war between the Meat Shield and the Meat Shield groups just going at it. And
I wish that those stories were captured in detail, right?
yeah, and so like
Those would be interesting to know too.
and
All
we
those
would
little
have these wars, and it was like going well for us, but then there was a couple times where like Evoke and Ewoks came down to help them with a few NC Dot dudes, and then we're like, then that kind of was like this whole weird like, okay, this is no longer a proxy war between the two big. Now you have like the actual group coming down. So Solar Fleet was like, what the fuck? Why are they coming in here and doing that shit? Like this is supposed to just be like skirmishes between these guys. So then when we're trying to hit some of their structures back, Solar Fleet's like, okay, well, to speed this up, they would drop some super fleets on the structures. And then
kept escalating. Yeah.
Dot Bros were like, what the fuck? Solar Fleet's dropping supers. And like, well, you were. And so now you get this like tension and potential war building between the big superpowers when it's just because of the little skirmishes going on with the body shield alliances. And then you have this whole thing where goons always hate NC Dot, so there was a thing where goons were just coming up and fucking around, like trying to third party shit, right? Because this stuff was starting up, but then there was a thing where Solar Fleet and us were going to hit some timers, and goons were like, well, and NC Dot and them were going to come and defend it, but goons were like, well, fuck NC Dot. So they jumped in to fight them, not necessarily because they wanted Solar to take the, but then just because like, hey, we can fight this NC Dot fleet. NC Dot pushed it as, oh, Solar Fleet and goons are teamed up now. And then that caused some of the other alliances that were in Solar Fleet's group to be like pissed off because they didn't like goons, and Solar Fleet's like, we're not with goons. But then that's when you have Gypsy Band flip down in the south. Gypsy Band and some of the groups down there flipped away from Solar and started attacking Solar assets in the south, and now Solar's like, fuck, now we're on a two-front war, and then it just went downhill. And that was like the downfall of Solar Fleet at that time, because now we're having to contest with the NC Dot Bros and the coalition up in the north, and Solar is having now trouble in the south, and then like Solar Fleet ended up just folding and losing all their space, and we got our space kicked out because PL starts coming in and took all of our shit, and it's like that
they weren't really allies with the
So it was just kind of funny that like I mean, it was just this weird avalanche, escalation of, just started out as just like border skirmishes between inconsequential small alliances that just escalated to their larger overarching overlords that then got into a massive, huge war in the east that caused the downfall of a major player in the map. So it's just kind of funny like how that shit can snowball.
is funny. It's awesome actually.
Yeah, so I mean, like that's the kind of stuff I love as far as lore, because that is player driven, and it just kind of has these like unforeseen consequences that come about. So
Yeah. Seema says hi. I don't know if you're reading or not.
oh yeah. What's
Hi,
up, man?
Seema. How are you doing, buddy? You should join us on here. I think we're the only fucking
Yeah, that was a funny.
yeah.
There was a guy we had in our alliance. His name was Giles, a UK guy, and he would because we were not a super skilled band of pilots back in those days.
No way.
Yeah, and so we would have our thing, like, because it was like it was our coalition was like I said, it was IRC, Ethereal Dawn, and a handful of other groups, and we would go on these fleets, and we had it was an Armageddon doctrine that we built, but it was pulse laser Armageddons, and so yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Well, so it's meant to be brawling Armageddon. If they got on top of you, they did a lot of damage, but if they didn't do anything. So super slow armor tanked brawling battleships don't always work, but I see,
Usually
Seema.
don't work.
But it was funny because it felt like every other fleet there was just some weird screw up that just went horribly wrong and just was like comically bad for our fleet. And so Giles started making, he called it Adventures of Drone Fleet. It was just like this MS Paint doodles he would draw with like captions about the fleet for the night of like I used to have
That's
a bookmark
fantastic
for it.
stuff.
But there was things where it's like we had these brawling like pulse laser Armageddons, and we get into a fight with an enemy fleet, and we anchor up on I think our RFC was Argus. He was this Swiss German. He got mad if you just called him German. He was Swiss German. Yeah, he was very adamant on that. And like it's like we have these brawling Armageddons, and we get into a bubble, and he's like, "Time to burn out of the bubble." So he's burning away from the enemy fleet, and it's like he's like, "Fire at them! Why are we not shooting them?" It's like, we are, but we're 60 kilometers away from them shooting with pulse lasers. Like we need to go back
not
at
hitting
them.
them.
Like we have to go at them, not away from them. Like if the bubble's there, that's fine. Like get on top of them. And so it's like we were trying to kite with pulse geddons. That didn't work out. We got annihilated. And then there was another fleet where we had our own bomber wing accidentally bomb our fleet. And
Well, that happens a lot.
it does.
Schweizer Dutch.
Schweizer Deutsch.
Schweizer Deutsch. That's funny.
And there was another one where he had us set up, and we were supposed to be in a POS bubble, but then we were anchored on him, and he burned us out of the POS bubble and sat like 20 kilometers off the POS bubble, and then we started getting shot and dying. He's like, "What the fuck's killing us?" It's like, well.
You should have said you.
So this is a different FC, not Argus this time. But it was just all kinds of like just shenanigans like that. There was another time where we were in perma drakes, like perma cap stable MWD drakes that just But this was back when firewalls had just become a thing. Like people found out that smart bombing missiles off was really good. And so we were shooting all our missiles, and they were just running smart bombs, and no damage was getting applied. And instead of us going like, "Well, this isn't going to work, time to extract," he was just like, "No, he's like, we brute force this." It's like
We get closer.
you can't shoot missiles through 50 smart bombs. Like their whole it was one of those things. It wasn't like a handful of like smart bomb fit ships. It was like they were in. I forget what they were in, some kind of AHAC, but like every ship had one smart bomb, and their whole fleet was just running their smart bombs. So it's like
Jesus.
you could not get, and their Logi didn't have to worry about damage from us. So all their Logi had to do was just like throw some reps here or there to like rep up the smart bomb damage that they were max tanked against. So it was just kind of funny that he's just like, "Keep firing, assholes," and we're like, but none of them,
We're going to die.
none of the missiles are hitting. It was just like weekly. You had something along those lines of just
What she just wrote in chat. I was on that fleet, Chi. I was so pissed. I never flew with him again. Jump through the gate. Jump. Oh, if you jumped, you're dead. I'm like, fuck. Oh, I was so mad.
Yeah.
So mad. Keep firing assholes. That's funny.
Yeah, it was
Jumped, you're dead.
like I wish he actually said that, but he didn't. But yeah, it's like most of the fleets did not go well for us. But there was one time that with the Polskeddons, we were actually heading to a gate, which there was a stop bubble on that we hit on accident. Because I think one of the renters or something like had a bubble up, and we're like, oh fuck, okay, well shoot this bubble. So we're sitting there trying to clear this bubble as the enemy fleet jumps through into us, like, and they're in like, you know, railgun fit something Rokes. I think because this is back when Rokes were a thing, so they're in like railgun Rokes, and they jump on top of us when we're in Polskeddon. So we're like, yum yum yum, you know, we just fucking ate that whole fleet up. And it was like, okay, that was like our one major success in that war, which felt really good, because we like, I think we lost like 3 Geddons and killed like 60 Rokes or something. It was fucking great. But
That's funny.
yeah, like that whole war, like that's like big nostalgia for me, because that was like, you know, I was a bright-eyed bushy-tailed newbie back then and just embroiled in the first war I've ever been in. So it's like a whole bunch of fun shit, and then there's just a bunch of just silly shenanigans happening because it wasn't like 2 competent forces fighting each other. Like it was just, you know, like clown car shit on both sides.
But those could be some of the fun.
Yeah, it was fun though. Yeah, because it's like it's a bunch of like inexperienced people on both sides trying to like figure out what the hell to do.
I'm trying to read something. I can't do it.
And then that's
There
when
was plaid.
yeah, but then PL started hitting our PL started fighting us, and we tried to fight them, and they were obviously kicking our ass.
Back
but
when they all played a lot, and they were.
yeah, and
they
this
were
is
very
back when
effective.
like
I won't take that away from
yeah,
them.
this is back when like I think Elise was running the show back then. But I mean, you had the whole group back there, and we were fighting them, and they would bring like, you know, really nice ships, and we'd bring Whelp Canes. And we would have not really success, but we wouldn't lose horribly. We would kill some shit, but just, you know, lose. But we were in, you know, Whelp Canes were a lot cheaper than what they were flying, so we would kill like, you know, half of what we lost, but the ISK war would be fairly close. And they basically were like, we're not here for your space, we're just here for good fights. Keep fighting us, and you know, we'll be fine. And
So we can't.
there was the
can't
iconic that they were like, you guys fight like Vikings, and we love it. And we're like, yeah, see, if we just keep undocking and feeding them ships, they'll leave us alone. And we kept doing that. And then after, and like, even though we kept fighting them, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, they just reffed our jump bridges. It's like, well, hey guys, if you want us to give you good fights, it's kind of hard for us to get down there and give you good fights if you kill our jump bridges. That we can't, like, now it's hard to get our members to burn, you know, 20 some odd jumps to go fight as opposed to like 6. And they're like, oh no, it's fine, we're not after your space. And then all of a sudden it's like SBUs start getting dropped, and they start start taking systems, and we're like, you're all a bunch of liars. And they took our space and made it a rental empire. We're like, I see what's going on here. They
Well, you don't have to leave. We'll rent it back to you.
Yeah, they're like, as long as you
just
keep,
know that we own it now.
yeah, as long as you keep fighting, we're not after your space. As they take our space from us, it's like, all right, I guess we got evicted. That's when we went and joined TNT, because our options, once we lost our space, it's like, well, this is Blue Donut era, so it's like, okay, our options are join NC Dot or PL, who just kicked us out of our space, or go join CFC, who were pseudo helping us. So we went and
Well,
joined.
that and they were much more approachable than those other groups at that time.
Well, and also we had a friend in TNT. We had a friend GB who had a corp in there, and so he was like, "Yeah, I can get you in TNT." So it was an easy
He's
move.
still in TNT.
So, what?
GB's still in TNT.
Is he still there? Damn.
Yeah, very active.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So he got us in there. Yeah, it's
What are we talking about? We were talking about something important. weren't
I
we?
don't know. I need to go get a drink out of the fridge to mix this with.
To wash that.
No,
Take
just
that
just for a
in?
mixer, because, you know, like, as fun as straight vodka is, I can't just drink that all night.
I've seen you do it actually.
It's. I'm not saying I can't. I'm just saying I shouldn't.
All right, I'll try to keep people entertained. I don't know if I can. I'm fucking stupid. So what do we got? Any questions in there? Apparently, Dom is the only guy that understands. What do I understand? Oh, the planet thing. Yeah, no. I think.
Oh man, I got old man candy. Like the freaking
What the fuck is old man candy? Oh, Werther's. Yeah, that's old man
Werther's
candy.
original hard candy, like the hard ass butterscotch things. I was just in there. I'm like, oh man, fuck. I actually
Yeah,
like.
I figured it out.
I was like, I like
I
those
figured it
things. Am I super old for liking these?
No, they taste good. I mean, I wouldn't get caught with them by my friends, but they taste good.
Although I thought they were butterscotch, they're actually just caramel. So fuck, I don't know.
Oh, don't they? I thought they had a toffee
I-
one, didn't they?
Well, yeah, they're just. I thought they're just butterscotch hard candy, but it's actually just caramel, which is very similar. Like the only difference between caramel and butterscotch is one uses white sugar, one uses brown sugar.
One tastes great, one tastes okay.
Well, caramel is it's just actually just white sugar. Brown or butterscotch is brown sugar and butter
I hate
with
those
I think
cheese.
with I think some
cheese
cream.
is the grossest. Fuck no. I remember, like, all grandmas had that bowl of fucking candy, and she'd have those be in there. I don't like those. They made me gross. I do know the name of it. It's Spaceballs. I got his comment. I didn't understand his comment. but
Oh
now I
yeah, the
get it.
strawberries, the gooey center. That's some old. That's not old man candy. That's like old.
That's grandma candy.
That's like old, yeah, old grandma candy or candy you used to get in like trick or treat bags when when I was a kid in like the early '90s.
grandma candy. That's what that shit is. Gross.
My grandma
Dude,
actually did, like when I go
you
to
can't
visit my
have
grandma in
perfect taste in
California, she did have
everything.
a candy bowl that was full of those things.
Yeah, they'd have like
It was
a few
like
good
those with
ones.
it was like those with a lot of other ones, but like
Yeah, yeah.
that was our favorite, was a little strawberry.
Hers or yours?
Well, she had them a lot. That was the favorite thing, that because other ones she had like little, just like the peppermint circles, which are like just like the little peppermint hard candies.
I mean, they're long before you. They still make them. Don't try to age me. Kegden, you know what? I'm going to slap you the next time I see you. Ribbon candy's the grossest. Worse than those strawberry filled with fucking goo. Or spooge, or whatever the fuck it is. Strawberry spooge.
It's like strawberry. It's not even. It's not even jelly. It's like liquid. It's not even liquid. It's not a hard.
Banjo, because we started 3 hours ago and we talked about Eve for over 2 hours, which is the biggest record.
Oh
of our
yeah,
fucking
Banjo.
careers.
Yeah, Banjo. We started 3 hours ago. We spent 2.5 hours talking about Eve.
And we did a good job. You would have loved
Yeah,
it.
so,
And it was
like,
fucking perfect.
So
It
yeah,
was amazing.
we did a pretty decent coverage of the Eve news,
Nah,
but,
we're teasing you, Banjo.
yeah,
We're
no,
just-
it's
we're
fine,
not-
but yeah, it's like we finished it, so we kind of run out of Eve stuff to talk about. Well, at least the current Eve news to talk
if
about.
we tried to talk about it now, it would be wrong.
No, that's not true. It'd just be
I don't think-
rehashing, or just be us
No.
pretending to know.
Yeah,
That's what-
exactly.
that's what
we
I
wouldn't
do.
really
That's-
read it.
there's-
We'd think we'd know, and we'd say it like it's a fact. That's what we're
I do.
do,
I'll
I do
read
too.
something, and it'll be
Trust me, I'm
something I
good.
have no knowledge in, and I'll just read it and be like, oh yeah, this is how this works, and this is how people are going to use it. And it's like, people are like, no, that's not true. I'm like, shut up. Don't you tell
know.
me.
It's funny.
Things like, fake it till you make it. If you sound confident, people believe you. No, I mean, like, but I mean, I think we covered it pretty well.
Try to reach it. Sorry.
Why are you mining, G?
Yeah. Why for 10 hours? Jesus.
That's a lot of. He's got to
I
farm
do.
up.
I do appreciate.
He's got to
that,
build a T2 Dread.
the 30s comment, but yeah. I wish. Oh, fuck you. He says I do look old. God damn it.
Your beard is white.
It is white. I mean,
On the-
there's a
on-
little
on
bit,
the- on
there's
the
a little bit
bottom
of
it-
brown in it.
On the bottom, at least. Yeah.
Oh, no, it's not even gray. It's white, right? I thought about dyeing it. Would that be weird?
Just put some touch of gray, or are you just going like just for men, like full on?
I don't know. Which one do you think I should do? Touch of gray? I've got a touch of gray. I don't need more gray. I should
Well,
dye it
touch of
dark
gray is like touch
black.
of gray gives it like the peppered look, where
How
it's
about
like a
dark
mix.
black?
Yeah, just go black.
I haven't made Escaneve since Deck. Who the what? What's that mean? Declan. Oh, sorry. I knew that. I was just testing you. I was testing you.
I've actually been. The funny thing is, like, I'm sitting there going like, oh, I got to ISK up. I keep spending ISK on other ways to make ISK. So it's I keep like doing these like, oh, okay, well I'm gonna spend this, okay, and then ISK back up, and now I'm gonna spend this, and then ISK back up, and then and it's like I keep investing in ways to make ISK, but then I'm like, well, this will help me make even more ISK, but then it's like before I can like start elevating my ISK, it's like, okay, now I gotta spend this other thing. So it's like I keep building this infrastructure of like more and more ISK making, but it's gonna take a while for that to actually pay off. But when it does pay off, it's gonna be good though. Because instead of if I just sat there and did nothing but rat, it's like maybe I could make like a 1.5 to 2 bill a month ratting. But now it's like I'm gonna be able to do the 1.5 to 2 bill a month ratting on top of like 2 bill a month of PI on top of, you know, some other shit. So it's like building the base takes a bit of work, takes a bit of time, but then I'm setting myself up for faster ISK making later. So that's the ticket.
I think I'm going with the fucking goose farts, black with the fucking fire in it. That's a good deal. I tried to answer the question. I think I answered it honestly.
Yeah. And then today
I do the same thing.
Today's one of those like I was talking about like dabbling in industry and then just dumping like almost 10 bill into it on blueprints and then making like I think I made about 150 mil on industry before I gave up. I was like,
did you spend 8 bill?
Yeah, I spent like 8 bill on blueprints, and then I probably made like a few hundred million selling Ishtars because I was making like I think I was making like 30 mil profit on each one. I think I was making like 5 to 10 a week and did that for like 3 months and then just stopped. So
what's the percentage on that?
I don't know, but this was back when like 30 mil per Ishtar was a lot back then because ships didn't sell for as much. But this was back during when AFK tars and geckos had just come out, so people were just out there AFK Ishtaring and like literally because the rats didn't attack your drones, so you didn't even have to like sit there and pseudo pay attention to like watch your drones. You just like drop drones.
I do remember that.
Yeah, and it was just like ISK printing. But the thing is, like, since people knew that there was most of the Ishtars out there were just AFK and not paying attention, they would just start roaming around killing a bunch of Ishtars, and people didn't really care because like, okay, I lost 2 Ishtars today, but I made enough ISK to pay for 7, so fuck it. So people didn't really care if they lost some, but that made it really nice for if you're building Ishtars because like the demand for Ishtar, like, you know, tons of them were selling every day.
But after 3 months, you didn't make your 8 billion back.
No, I didn't make it because I was literally I didn't
whole
have
3 months though.
I didn't have an industry empire. I literally had one guy, so it's like at the most I could have 10 jobs running. But I was not just building the Ishtars. I was also importing moon material and building the Tech 2 components because that was the other thing. I bought BPOs for Tech 2 components, so it's cheaper to import the raw products and build the Tech 2 components than it was to buy the Tech 2 components from Jita and ship them out. So I was just shipping out raw moon goo, building the T2 components, and then building the Ishtars. So like 7 or 8 of my runs on my character were building the components, and so I could only be building like 2 or 3 Ishtars at a time.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, but it's like it worked out to where I think I was making about 5 to 8 a week, and it's funny. I'd spend all week building these like 6 Ishtars, put them on the market, and they'd be like sold in like an hour and a half. Like I was like, oh fuck, all right, well, should
have upped the price on them. Fuck.
No, because like that was selling them at like as cheap as expensive
Where
as I
were
could
you-
get.
Where
While
were you selling them in like major market or?
Yeah, this was up in Declan when Goon still lived there. This is like at what was the fucking capital they had there?
I wasn't with them then. I know what you're talking about. I forgot the name of it.
The big
VFK?
major
V something.
No, it was like the big major capital in Declan that Goons had for fucking ever.
What's the system? Banjo knows.
It's
knows.
it's Volta now, but no, not that's Volta now. This is like 7 or 8. This is like 8 or 9 years ago.
Yeah, but what's the system? We don't care who owns it.
VFK.
Yeah, I said V something. You
Yeah,
said no.
Yeah. Oh no, I was saying no to Banjo because he was saying Volta.
Oh.
But yeah, VFK. That was
I
the
think I
capital. And
said
like this is back when like
VFK.
VFK, like Jita was the main trade hub. VFK was a close rival, not in total trade, numbers, but in what's available there, like it was like if you went to VFK, there was very few things aside from like officer mods and stuff like that. There was very few things you couldn't find in VFK.
It was the beta run of 1DQ.
Pretty much, yeah.
But they learned what to do there and did it again.
Yeah, I mean, 1DQ is even better than VFK was, but
1DQ is nearly
yeah,
as
one
good as
yeah,
VFK.
like but yeah, like VFK was like everything is there. Like if it's not there, you don't need it, pretty much. So, but yeah, so I just take them over there and sell them, and it was like 30 million profit because you could do about 5 to 10% markup from Jita was generally what was normal, and I don't know what they
I
went
gotta ask
for.
Hiram a question.
Yeah.
The T2 fighter BPCs you used when you were making them, were you researching those yourselves or buying them in packs? Because I mean, if it was, just curious.
Oh yeah, carrier ratting. I mean, people still do it today, but it was something else back
different
then.
now,
Yeah.
I did do some PVE.
Because now you have to watch your
training.
fighters.
Proud
Like
of
I said, like back then, the drones didn't go after drones or fighters. So like back then, it's like carrier was basically an Ishtar that was even faster because like, oh, they're gonna attack your carrier. The carrier's not gonna take any fucking damage from the rats. Like,
Okay, I was just curious if you were buying them or not. So, Hiram, no, who said it? Sorry, Jesus. What was I talking about? Fuck. I had something fucking super good to say. God damn it.
yeah, I'm gonna.
What were we talking about?
I'm gonna show you all the blueprints I got. I'm gonna log into Eat real fast.
Well, I lost it. I don't remember. It was something very profound. No, it wasn't that. I know we were talking about that. That's not it. God, I don't know. I'm fucked up. Just leave. I'm sorry.
Oh, I guess I already had Eve. Oh,
What are you doing? You
There's
streaming
probably-
this shit for people? You are streaming it for people.
well, I was gonna. Yeah, I probably shouldn't stream like everything with all my other characters on there. I was just gonna show the BPOs that I got.
That's funny. Yeah, the problem with T2 production of ships, it is
Skill training completed.
Ooh.
so a lot. The margins really razor thin. It's hard to make a lot of money fast like that, just because making the T2s cost so many of those parts and shit. Even the T2, I know the rare, but they're out there. The T2 ship BPOs, right? Still aren't that great to run them to make ships and stuff. It's not a really fast money maker.
Yeah, it's like I had so many BPOs that like you only have so many numbers of items in cans that I had to make like multiple cans to fill them all in there.
You can consolidate them now. They don't have that anymore.
Oh really? Oh fuck.
I'm 6% sure of that. I don't know.
Yeah, before I think there's
I
like
don't
you
know.
can't have more than like a few thousand or like a.
I was 1,000.
It was like a few hundred or something like that, but.
1,000 items, I think.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
all
you have
these
stacks
like
of
this is
them,
all
but you-
this is like so ammo and rig, like every piece of ammo and rig BPO fully researched to max. Then you got T2
Well, hold on.
materials,
Go back up and how many were in that can?
148.
You don't have all the rigs then.
Maybe not now, cause subcap rig. I don't have any capital rigs and stuff, but
No, there's like 400 rig blueprints.
oh, maybe I didn't have all the rigs.
You know why? I know that.
It's a shitload of them.
I've got them all.
I think I had the rigs that were like important, but not like all the
I got all the rig
scanning
blueprints.
rigs and stuff like that, and then all that with the. That was it. Module's only 59. Okay, maybe I don't have everything that I thought I did, but
We lost them somewhere.
no, this is everything. Research mats,
It's like no, sorry, it's like
Oh.
300 and some of them.
ships. Yeah, here's all the ships. Like, quite a bit. The weapons, like. It's like I picked up all this stuff and researched every single one of these to max because I wanted to quote unquote dabble.
You did the research on them?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, I researched everything with that character. I think I did a couple with my main guy, but yeah, it's like I was like I'm gonna dabble in industry. That was my dabbling, and then I did when it came to actually doing industry, I did just dabble.
He's trying to flex on us, but he wasn't.
That was a little. I mean, actual industry guys would be like, "Oh, that's nothing. I got like 50 times that." But
Yeah. I'm trying to do a quick count of mine. Hold on.
it's like I could sell them, but it's like I feel like I have the like I don't want to call it like FOMO, like fear of missing out. It's like I don't want to get rid of them. I spent all that time researching it. It's like, but what if I need to build some fucking large antimatter? I don't know.
You never know. Yeah, no, I agree. I still have them. I don't use
But
them
the thing is, like, I don't want to bring those BPOs out because they're just. I think they're just sitting in like a Cora or something right now. But it's like I want to leave them there. So it's like now if I want to build something, I have to go down there and like make copies and then bring the copies out, which is fine. It's easier
That's
to do
what
that
we
these
did.
days. Back before when you had like the because this is back in like Dominion Sov. It's like Citadels didn't exist when I did all this shit, so you couldn't just go into anywhere and just make copies and stuff like you can now. Like the stations had certain services, and it's like so you couldn't just. You had to go to certain places to get shit done, and also you had like pauses. You had like basically like do everything in pauses at the time as well.
Yeah, I did try both. I've got one industrial character and then 2 combat ones, and I did enjoy some of the aspects of it.
I had fun with it.
Not the resource procurement. I fucking hate that part. I like doing the research on blueprints. I thought that was kind of fun.
I had fun
I did
inventing.
like building stuff. But that was
Yeah, I actually liked doing you get the copies and then you do the invention. I actually really enjoyed invention with the different data cores and coming up with different things to do.
I did too. Yeah.
I had fun with that. The main issue I had though was it felt like nothing was worth building. Like the profit margin was so minuscule, if there even was one. Sometimes I would look and be like, okay, unless I mine the stuff myself, but at that point, it's like if I mine it myself, I could probably just sell the materials for more than the profit I'm going to make off building the ship, unless I do it locally or something like that. But it's like you would look, and it's like, okay, it's going to cost me about 38 million to build this ship, and it sells for 38.2 million. It's like, why? There's no reason to build that. I don't know why people are building it. So. And that's with like max skills for like reduction of cost of production and everything like that too. So it's like, it just felt like the profit margins were so bare bones minuscule. Even on Tech 2 ships, there's a lot of Tech 2 ships where it's like, it's going to be more expensive to build this ship than what that's selling for. So that's probably someone with a Tech 2 BPO that's just got a corner on the market with that. So it just really felt like I was really excited for industry. And then it just felt kind of like less than 5% of the stuff that I had BPOs for was even worth building at all.
A Fury frigate.
Invent civilian stuff? Is that a thing?
So the civilian modules, right? You get like on your Ibis and those.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of fun to be able to, do that.
I mean, like they have the basic, like that's
but you can't make the civilian ones. You can make.
That's the weird thing. Like I was looking at like some of my alts to like they were just doing like I was doing skilling spree stuff, so I was just fitting up frigates for them to go do like high sec sites to go kill a rat or something like that. But they don't really they were just like industrial sidewalls, so they don't really have any combat or fitting skills to put shield. Like some of them can't even put shield extenders or hardeners on or anything like that. But I was like, oh well, they can fit this basic one, and I was gonna put that on a ship, and it's like the basic shield resistance amplifier is like 160 million ISK, and it gives less resist than a meta version of that module. It's like, why is this cost so much when it's worse than like a Tech 1? Like,
well, no, yeah, because I mean,
it's because like I guess it's like
or...
okay, so you can fit it without skills, like you don't have to have shield operation skills to fit that module, but it would be much cheaper to just spend the 50,000 ISK for the shield skill, train it for about 30 minutes, and then fit a Tech 1 module for 50,000 ISK, then spend 160 million on this module that has shitty 15 or 20% enhanced resist on it. It's like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you're right. It doesn't make any sense, but
It's like I don't know, but they're on the market for that. I don't know if people buy them or not. I hope not.
have you done? She's saying something about running relics. He'd like to do that. I have not done it.
I
Have
like
you
hacking
done it?
sites. The downside with relics is that everyone gobbles them up so fast that it's hard to find relic sites. It's
So which one's the relic? Is that the hacking or the survey skill?
both the relic and the data are both hacking, but the relic sites give you salvage. The data sites give you like data cores and sometimes random blueprints for shit, stuff like that. The relic sites are worth more, which is why everyone farms them up fat. Like a lot of people just skip the data sites; they don't bother, and so like it's hard to find relic sites anywhere. But data sites are still kind of scarce, but more like prevalent.
Sorry, I'm trying. I guess I could just say it. I don't know. I'm typing. So, Millie, does that still work, or is that an old mechanic that no longer works? I hope that was legible. I don't know.
Well, yeah. So I mean, I like just if I'm going out scanning, I just assume them would be doing relic site or data sites most of the time. But if I find a relic site, then yeah, you do it because you tend to get more money because the salvage is worth more. But I like the data sites too because it does give you the data cores. Like that's back when I was doing invention. That's the thing. Like you could buy the data cores, but I didn't do that. I just went out and scanned. You go scan like half a dozen data sites and you get the data cores you need.
Didn't you get them from research points too? Isn't that data cores, or is that something else?
I don't think so. Maybe, but I would just get the data cores from the data sites, the hacking sites. And there were certain data cores that were a lot better than others. I forget there was like two that were like my favorite ones to use. One would give compared to all the rest of the stat, not the best efficiency, material efficiency of all of them, but it would give a good material efficiency bonus, I don't know if it gave maybe a light time bonus, but it only gave 2 runs on it, but it gave a decent percent of chance of success. I think there's like 40% chance. I forget Paragon or Parity. I think it was Parity. Parity was a solid one to use for the data cores. I liked that one because you'd get like 2 runs on the Tech 2 BPC, and I think it would give like a +6 on the material efficiency and like a +2 or a +4 on the time efficiency. So Parity was my favorite one. And then there was another one that was, I think it gave 3 runs, but only like 30 or 40.
You're talking about the decryptors,
Yeah.
not the data cores.
Oh, yes. Decryptors. My bad. Yeah, decryptors.
Yeah, the data
Yeah.
cores, those are the round things. You need them to, for each build or each.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking decryptors.
They're the ones you get with research points, I believe. I'm
Yeah, that could be.
70% sure, maybe 65. I'm not gonna look it up. Yeah, the encoder things are.
Yeah, I was definitely thinking decryptors. But yeah, I'm kind of tempted to maybe do some more industry stuff. Who knows?
Yeah, I might too.
But it now that I don't have a jump freighter, that makes it harder because it was a lot easier when I could like, import the shit I need to build stuff. But also that made it more expensive because fuel, especially. I mean, before it wasn't too bad because I was like 1 midpoint away from Jita. Like I could just jump down to not Mila, but what's the other one?
I don't know.
It's the one that where MTech O goes down into HiSec. There's like the low sec system right next to HiSec there.
Looking at a map, I don't know.
But yeah, it's like I could just jump from. So it was like 1 midpoint and then 2 jumps back because from Jita to the midpoint and then midpoint back to home. So it was like 3 jumps in the jump freighter.
From Delve?
No, when I was up in the north. This is back when like goons were all still in Declan and Tribute and all that shit.
Yeah. You said MTech O, and I heard MOTech, which is in.
Oh yeah, no, MTech O is
How the
Tribute.
fuck you get 3 jumps in Jita? You're cheating.
Yeah, no, it was like 1 midpoint from Jita back and forth. So it was like super cheap to jump stuff. Yeah, moving stuff over to drone lands is a lot more expensive than a jump freighter. Like it's
If
not
you were
super.
to buy a jump freighter, it would cost you a lot of ISK right now.
I would not buy a jump freighter. They're too expensive, and I wouldn't use it to an effect of making it worth it. Because before I was not only doing stuff with, because to make it also worth it, it wasn't just doing stuff with importing stuff for production. I had a couple towers that I was just doing reactions. Like I wasn't mining, because like those this is back when you had to rent towers or rent moons. Before Citadels,
Yeah,
you just had
that's
like
not a game. That's not a game mechanic.
yeah, you just had like a POS that you set on a tower that would passively mine the moons. This is back before Citadels and
Oh, I used to do that.
yeah. So I wouldn't mine it. I would just rent the cheapest moons that were like garbage. It was just like, sulfuric acids and like hydrogen or whatever, like, the garbage moons that no one wanted. And I was like, that's fine. I just need a moon to put a tower up. And I would put a large tower up and I wouldn't have it mine anything on the moon. I didn't need anything off there. I would just do reactions. So I'd import moon goo, low end moon goo in, and then react it up to more expensive moon goo and then ship it back out and sell it. And it was just profit,
Really? Hold
Yeah.
on, not to you, Millie. You can blop out of Parchment. You can jump out. You can't jump in. Moon drill. Yeah, I used to do moon mining. I made billions and billions of this, making armor, like the plates for making caps.
Yeah, so that's what I would just do that. So that's what most of my jump freighter is used for, was just importing, exporting moon shit that I was reacting, and it would make me, because I had to buy the stuff for the fuel blocks. But like I said, I had BPO, so I just built the fuel blocks for cheaper. But so
Yeah, I got my jump freighter.
I think I had 2 moons, and then I think I was only they were only like 150 mil a month to rent, so it was like 300 million a month for 2 moons, and I was making like almost $1 billion in profit off of those 2 moons from just doing reactions. And then I would kind of just because I wouldn't quite fill my jump freighter full each time, and then the extra space is where I would bring in the stuff that I needed to do production.
It's pretty much the reason I got mine too.
Yeah.
So I don't think the mobile siphons are around, but I don't think so.
Oh yeah, I remember the siphons being a
You
thing.
don't mine the moon like that anymore.
Yeah. The siphons aren't a thing anymore, I don't think.
I used to do it all the time, Banjo. I loved it.
Yeah,
I
nowadays
do have
like,
mines in my museum I made. Yeah.
But nowadays, then later, what I would do with my jump freighter, once I was done with all the production stuff, I would just import Doctrine fit ships. Just like go buy all the stuff in Jita, bring it back out, and then just fit the ship up, mine it, and put the rigs in the cargo, and just like put it on contract for 10-15 million over what I paid for it. And then just because people just that's like how people do shit now, is they're just like, oh, need a Doctrine ship, just buy it off contract. So
It gets real expensive real fast though.
it can, but the thing is, like, it's super simple. Like, I mean, like, it's like people's option are like buy it off contract for a little markup off Jita, or find a jump freighter service to haul it out for you, which is going to probably cost you just as much. But it really
depends on the group you're with. Like currently, yeah, buy it off contract.
I mean, like for you down in 1DQ, you could probably just buy the ship and all the fits right there locally. And
Well, we
fit it
can,
up.
but it's easier to buy a contract because it's already done for you.
Right, it's already put
the right
together.
fit.
But
When I was in Black Legion, that was kind of the same attitude. Oh, just leave it behind. We'll go buy new stuff at the next place.
Yeah.
That got real expensive
Yeah.
real fast. I blew through a lot of this.
yeah, it's like that's what I feel like I would just use my jump freighter for nowadays. If I got it back, would just be like bringing fit ships out for people to buy, but because I don't really do anything that
moving
needs
services
exporting or importing anymore.
Moving services might change, right? Because of this change with the capital parts. You can see I think you'll see a lot more movement.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's if it's gonna make jump
Maybe
freighters cheap. No, I mean, like, they're still gonna be super expensive. They might not be 13 billion. They might go down to like 9 or 10, but that is cheaper.
So, who's it? Millie says you got some anaconda mines. Yeah, I got 20 python mines.
What are those?
They used to have mines in the game a long time ago. They don't work anymore. But they didn't take them away, so I've got them in a museum can.
What are the Python mines?
Python mines, yeah. They used to have like mine.
Oh, like mines. Yeah.
Mines, yeah.
Damn, that's old. They,
I wasn't around when they had them. I got.
I was saying, yeah, they got rid of those like way before I started playing.
Yeah, waves. Yeah, it's a long time ago. Nice, Rayo. That's funny. Yeah, nerdy. That's somebody else was saying that's that's what they think too. So.
8 billion for jump rate. Yeah, it's
Which that's down by 4, right? Because aren't they 12 right now? Or are they more than that?
they're like 12 to 30. They're like 13 billion. I mean, I at least. So when I came back in and looked at the ARC because I thought I was going to sell mine before I realized I didn't have it. I was looking at JITA prices because the guy I was going to sell it to. I was like, I told him just to move it quick. There was a guy I met at Evnola, and he was like looking for a new ARC. And I was like, oh, I'll sell you one. I have one that I'm not going to be using. And I was like, I'll sell it to you for like $1 billion under JITA. And I was like, fuck it, just to move it fast. He's like, yeah, I'll buy it. So I was looking at like I think ARCs were going for like 13.2 in JITA or something like that. And I was like, okay, I'll sell it to him for 12. And then that's when I found out I don't have an ARC anymore.
He's like that.
Yeah, so
was messing with
I
me.
had to message him like, well, sorry, dude. Apparently I don't have that ship. I thought I did. Unfortunate, especially for me because I really was counting on having that ISK. But it actually worked out because all the other shit I had in asset safety. I was
hell
thinking,
yeah, I'll give you bro deals. Yeah, you're.
yeah, I mean it wasn't a super bro deal,
Alright.
but it was like a discount. But the thing was like I was expecting I was like gonna have like 8 billion ISK worth of stuff, and I was like, okay, but then plus 10 or 12 bill for a jump rate, that's gonna put me like close to 20. That should be plenty to go buy all the doctrines and stuff I need. And then I
Get
was
all
like,
my ships out of hot.
I was like, I don't have a jump freighter. I'm like, fuck. So I'm only gonna have like 8 billion. But then I ended up selling all my shit. I had asset safety stuff I didn't realize I had. When goons got kicked out of the north and they like slash evac deployed to. This is like during the viceroy
Saren?
shit.
Yeah,
Was it Saranin?
I don't remember. I was.
It's somewhere up there. I looked at that. I had like my.
I remember.
I had everything that I'd moved from that war that I apparently never got. So there was like 6.5 billion worth of shit just sitting in that station. I'm like, oh fuck, okay, I didn't realize I had that. And then there was stuff from my Black Legion days that I didn't realize I had. And like by the time I got done, and I even fire sailed like a bunch of it for like 70%. I just put on appraisal, took like 70% value, and just put a contract up. As we're like, I think there was like maybe a bot or some kind of phishing thing that someone had because I would put the contract up and I would just name it like discount sale on ships and mods or something like that, and it would be a public contract and I put it up for like 70% of appraisal value. Within like 5 minutes, it sold. I'm like, what? I didn't even broadcast to anybody that was there. It's just like put the contract up. It's like you got this much money. I'm like, who the fuck? How does anyone know that was there? Like, someone must have been perusing the contracts right then and there. And then
Just
like,
hitting refresh, yeah.
yeah, and then like an hour later, I made another one from another system of stuff I got, and then like I sold, and like that sold. And it's like I was like, holy shit! All this stuff that was like up, like stuff from was it K3J up in Venal when I was in Black Legion. I had a bunch of stuff there that sold. There was some other stuff in like Mila and on Nenin and shit like that sold. I was like, fuck, I didn't realize any of this stuff would sell so fast, and so I ended up.
That is funny. I mean, especially those are some out in the middle of nowhere areas.
Yeah, and like one of them, some frat guy, like I put the contract up, and like a minute later, some frat guy mails me in game, and he's like, because I put the contract up for like 1.5 bill. It was like 2.5 bill worth of stuff or something like that. And he's like, how about 1.2? I was like, fuck it, yeah, okay, just to move it. So I just like remake it up to so. And it's like I was thinking I was gonna have like 8 billion worth of stuff, and I ended up like coming out with like 18 billion. I'm like, oh fuck, okay, I had way more shit than I thought, so I'm good. But
Very nice.
yeah, so I was, but it's
So you
sad.
gotta start over in your ship hangar, but that's no problem.
Yeah,
That's
but
what
well,
you need now.
that was like now I'm good in my ship hangar, but fuck, it was expensive. PL doctrines are fucking expensive.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically the same thing as Black Legion. They only fly, expensive
I-
doctrines. It's just
It's cool because I like the ships that we fly. That it's it's like we're not just like flying Hurricanes and Tech 1 stuff and it's like we're flying nice, like high end, like really effective ships. But it's also really fucking expensive. So it's like getting all my doctrine shit set. Fucking oh god, it was like and also I had to rebuy. I bought a Revelation, and that's expensive.
What'd that cost you up there?
I probably spent more than because I no one was selling one. So what I did was I bought all the fits I needed from Cheetah and imported those. And I was like, now I just need a hull. Well, a hull apparently unfit hull is harder to come by. So I eventually got one. I think I got it from Akaroth for $4 which is, I think most of the hulls are going for like 4.5. When you find them in low second shit. So I was like, I got a little underpriced there, but the hull was like $4. The fits was like $2.
Yeah, $4 about average.
So it was like $6 all said and done.
So that's not much different than down here.
Probably a little more
About the same price.
expensive than I could have gotten it if I probably could have got a hold of the Alliance and maybe they had one sitting around I could have bought for cheaper, but whatever.
Maybe, but I mean,
But I got it.
that's actually a pretty good price because I'm sure it's a good fit.
Yeah, it's and that's also including not just the fit, but also all the fucking smattering of shit in the fleet hangar that you got to have for like refits and
Yeah, exactly.
because like you got to have like the travel fit and then the other fit and then like in case you swap these modules out and this one and that one, it's like you end up fitting the fit's like 1 billion and then you have like another billion worth of like random shit in your hangar that you might have to refit to.
So it's called an invisible cloud. That's funny. The bombs that blew him up. That's funny. I'd have bitched him out too. Get me fucking killed by an invisible cloud. Fucker.
Yeah, bullshit.
That's bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm all set with fits now, but it's like now my wallet's it's not empty, but it is like
I joined the FC program to start FCing again.
it is one expensive ship loss away from being empty.
or a deployment, right?
Well, we were already deployed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
a new
so,
deployment where you're not gonna be able to take all your shit with you. You gotta just go buy it new.
well, no, we're on deployment, so if we go back, then I'll just like I got a suitcase now that I can just bring everything back. So I should be set, but and I'm just flying Logi right now because Logi's reimbursed. So
Gee, you probably die quick. I'm just telling you right now. I'm rusty. It's been years since I've FC'd. The days have changed a lot since I've FC'd. So I'll be very rusty, I'm sure. Flex, hell yeah. Yeah, it sucks. Dom's got all kinds of skill points. Not very many skills, though.
insane.
So, Drayden, you bought Diablo 4? Or
I did. But I'm also, like I said, I have to find everything. So I'm still in the first zone, even though I'm like level 35. Because it's like I see a side quest, I'm like, oh shit, well I gotta do that. So it's like I hate moving on when there's still stuff to do. So most people like they just do the main quest and move, and then they come back for shit. I am like, it's like I can't leave until this zone's 100% complete. So it's like I feel like I'm gonna be like level 40 by the time I move on to like zone 2.
I love killing these fucking tiny goblins.
So yeah. And then I can also like every time we run around, it's like, oh, there's an event. Fuck, I guess I should probably do this. Oh, there's a dungeon. I should probably go in there. It's like that's a barbarian.
There's a lot of them in each section, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. It's like I'm playing a rogue, and it's like you go and there's like a barbarian dungeon. It's like this isn't gonna benefit my character at all, but
I'm doing it
I haven't
anyway.
done it, so I'm gonna do it, and then I can unlock that thing. So if I do play a barbarian, which I probably never will, I've never liked the barbarians. But I will have that fucking unlock that they get from whatever. It's like, I don't know. It's I can't say no to progress. All right. Well,
I think I'm gonna try to pass out.
yeah, I got a shot poured, so I might as well drink this.
Do it. I mean, I got to drink. I'm not gonna drink the whole thing though.
Yeah. All right. Well, cheers.
Here, cheers to Open Comms, not customers. What are they called? Viewers.
View customers.
It's to you guys. 'Cause we love you.
Cheers. We'll catch you guys. Thanks for hanging out. We will be back next week. Then we'll catch you then.
Cheers.
See you,
guys.
everybody.
I love you.